So my name is Ricardo Aguilar. Really excited to be here with you guys today. Born and raised here in Kern County, here in Bakersfield. Not only that, but we're very blessed to be running an insurance agency here out of downtown Bakersfield. But we can't wait to show you guys what we got going on today. And I can't wait for you guys to be entertained about the conversations we're going to have to help the Latino community elevate in all communities, all minorities. Doesn't matter who it is. And actually, it doesn't even matter if you're a minority or not. If you're just somebody who wants to grow in business, we can't wait for you guys to hear this conversation.
My name is Alejandro Aguilar, and I specialize in the financial service industry. I've been in the industry for 9 years. I originally come from the oil fields, though. My parents are from Mexico, Michoacan. And after high school, I stumbled into the oil fields. And after a few accidents in the oil fields, and I couldn't go back to that industry. Some people took me under their wing. I got my license. I learned the financial industry in Siston. I opened up 15 offices across the United States. We have over 300 active licensed agents now. And we've moved over billions of dollars of insurance and retirement plans. So things have been pretty good for us.
All right, guys, welcome back to another podcast here at the Elite Level. I'm excited because today's podcast is a little different. If you guys noticed, the setup is different. And that's for our special guests, Ricky and Alejandro, which we're going to get into the introduction. I'm excited because I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but this is your guys' first podcast together, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. So we're going to dive into them, talk a little bit about where you guys are from. Obviously, you guys are pretty well known already, but for the audience that doesn't know, what are your names? Where are you from? And then we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah. Well, my name is Alejandro Aguilar. I'm the younger brother, of course, right? And we're from Mexico, Michoacan. And yeah, man, we come from parents who, my mom used to work at, I always say something that's funny because I say my mom's side of the family listened to Chalino Sanchez, right? Worked in the field. They were Spaniard looking, light-skinned, dark black hair, hazel eyes a little bit. And then my dad, straight paisa, man. 5'4", dark little Mexican, 50 Shades of Dark, you know what I mean? And but he listened to Vicente Fernandez and to mariachi. And so they were entrepreneurs. And then my mom, who's like, the Spaniard looking, they were more in el campo. My mom worked in el campo, my grandparents worked in el campo, la pizca, that's all they did their whole entire life. You know, then my grandpa, after years, my grandma worked at Boat House as well. Yeah, we're from Lamont originally. And then, and then my grandma, then they eventually opened up a little rancho, and then we started peeling goats and cows and pigs, and that's what we did. That's what my grandparents did. So that's my mom's side of the family. But my dad, crazy, man, paisas, you know what I mean? But straight, short, dark little Mexicans. Yeah. But they opened up restaurants, man, opened up dealerships, came out in Times Magazine and got into real estate as well. Okay, cool. So my dad, believe it or not, we know the real estate industry because of my dad. Yeah. Rick, as a matter of fact, he was always I feel like my brother Rick has always been savvier than me in a lot of things, more aggressive to a lot of things. Like I was always like, if you see Rick is a big guy, right? Yeah. So thanks to him, I was always kind of protected for a period of time in my life. Yeah. So I always had like an older brother who was big, can beat up the bullies, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's funny because we turned out, Ricky would listen to like Little Rod, for example, and I would listen to like Linkin Park, you know what I mean? And I wore skinny jeans, and Ricky would be like, yo, 501s, right? So different, bro, but at the same time, parents gave us the same principles and morals, work ethic, discipline, entrepreneurship. So even though we have two completely different perspectives on some things, we have the same guideline as far as saying, hey, this is a map to become the person you need to become in life, which is, entrepreneurship.
For sure, awesome. Well, how do you feel right now? Obviously, you got your younger brother with you. You guys are in the same industry, and it's funny because although you guys are in the insurance industry, we're in the real estate industry. I feel like there's a lot of similarities. So you being the older brother, bro, how do you feel working with your brother? How's that relationship for you guys?
So I think that the biggest blessing that you can have is being able to build something with your family, sure. Right? Regardless if that's with your father, with your brother, cousins. Not a lot of people, it's a privilege that not a lot of people get to have, right? One thing is working side by side, doing something else for somebody else, yeah. Right? But to know that you're building a legacy along your family is a different feeling because our kids, like for example, like he was mentioning right now, on my dad's side, all my uncles are entrepreneurs, yeah. Right? Every single one of them. And so all my cousins are entrepreneurs, right? Because of that. And we grew up seeing that on my dad's side. My dad's the original owner of El Jacalito, in Lamont. He's the original one. So you'll see them all pop up. The only reason they're popped up now is because my dad didn't register the name. But the popularity of El Jacalito back in the late 80s and early 90s, I mean, football players, NFL players will stop by. My dad had a line for 2 hours of people waiting outside. El Pueblo restaurant in Lamont is my uncle's as well. They own like half of Main Street in Lamont. Yeah. So that's on my dad's side. So now that we're grown, a lot of my cousins, like I have a cousin Ruth, she's out there in Miami. She's a engineer for British Petroleum. So, and then we have a cousin in Mexico that owns a pharmacy, and then another one of my cousins, Haida's husband, he became the president or the mayor of the town. So that's the way we were raised, to have high standards.
You guys grew up with that.
Yeah, we grew up with it.
Entrepreneurship
right.
Your family.
But like Alejandro said, we saw both sides because on my mom's side, her cousins and all them, they're entrepreneurs and other things, right? That's a different. We grew up with a lot of that too.
Salino Sanchez straight up, bro.
Yeah, but like the life, it's a different. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that. But her immediate family, brothers of her worked in the fields, but her cousins and all the 90% of our family on that side is it's a different story, right? Yeah. So we saw both sides of it, entrepreneurship, whether it be legal or illegal, we saw it on both sides. Yeah. But my mom worked in the field since she was in 6th grade, so we saw the outcome of both lives, and I said, you know what, entrepreneurship is the way to go. And we saw our uncles work together and build something together. So my dad and his brothers built something together, and so that's kind of the direction that we wanted to go into, and very blessed to be able to do that now. And now it's cool because when our uncles call us, hey Ricardo, this and this and this about business and the relationship that we have with them, we can relate now. Right. Yeah. It's a respect now. Same thing with my brother. When my dad calls me, hey Ricardo, esto y esto y esto with the business, I can understand those conversations. And because there's a saying that says when lions speak, how many people could understand? Exactly. And my uncles and my dad, they're lions. So I didn't want to be a wildebeest. I got you. But going back to the original question, being able to build something alongside your family is a different feeling that unfortunately most people will never understand. Yeah. But obviously, hopefully with today's conversation, we could inspire them to do so. Right. Yeah. But at the same time, also understanding that you don't need your family support. We have an older brother. I don't talk to him.
Oh, you guys have an older brother?
Yeah, we have an older brother.
Sure, I didn't know that.
Yeah, half brother, but he's our blood. He's my dad's son. He doesn't live the same life that we live. So
have a work ethic, bro.
Yeah, and doesn't have the work ethic. He's been more of a
That's surprising.
Victim.
Yeah, victim mentality. Oh, because of this, because of that.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. What's the reason behind it? Do you know the reason behind it?
Well, he just I don't.
He was raised by his mom.
Yeah, he was more of a victim.
Single mom, never had a
So same dad, different moms.
Different moms.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And would you guys say that obviously being raised around entrepreneurs and people that are go-getters is what shaped you guys to be who you are today? How'd you guys?
It can, but I also know a lot of people that were raised by entrepreneurs that are lames. Okay. Yeah. And I know a lot of people that were raised by simple-minded parents that are entrepreneurs. Right. So you have to want to adopt that. That's not something that I'm just gonna throw out there, and this may not sit well with a lot of people, but either you're born with it or you're not. That's you can't. I'm sorry, you just can't. I just look. I've traveled the world already. I've met millionaires, billionaires, CEOs of companies, governors. I've been to the Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump. I met some of the elite. I've met people that you only see on TV, and they make decisions behind the scenes, right? That take all the power without a gun, And some of their kids, you look at them and their names. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like
more like entitlement at that point, bro.
It's entitlement, but at the same time, it's just like I said, either you have it or you don't. Yeah. Like if you look at Donald Trump, right? That Donald Trump Sr., the dad, had 2 sons. One became an alcoholic, ended up killing himself, and the other one was successful with successful kids. Right. So it's just it's just if you have it, you got it. You don't, you don't. I don't think that you can. If you don't have it, I don't know if you could ever get it. Yeah, and that's hard to hear.
I got you.
But that's just the reality behind it. Luckily, we've been.
You just truly have to accept that, right? That's really what it is.
You have to embrace it.
But let me, brother. I'm not trying. I'm not.
No. Of course,
this is my perspective.
Everybody's perspective is different.
So let me tell you a different perspective. Okay, I agree with my brother to an extent, though. Let me tell you why I agree and I disagree. I agree that yes, either you have it or you don't. But let me tell you something off the bat. I'm gonna tell you guys. Ricky Aguilar can ditch school all day long, come back, never pay attention to class, and ace the test. Oh, nice. My ass would be in class, trying to focus, trying to pay attention, study all day long, go back and fail that test. Yeah. So the thing with I learned is that Ricky, one thing I respect about my brother is like, his brain works at a crazy caliber. He can figure out things without him having to do like without el matándose, because of the way his brain works, which is respect. Yeah. Mine has always been more, I'm like a bulldozer, bro. I'm gonna get through that wall regardless, but I have to put way more work ethic. Yeah. Like whatever my brother does, I have to do 3 more laps. Right? So mine was always like that. Yeah. Ricky could go to a group of friends and right away be the alpha and be the, mine was like, no man, I have to earn my spot even at the table. Yeah. I'm not saying he doesn't, but it just, something like Ricky has it. Mine, I had to earn mine. Yeah. And what I mean by earning, just like my brother, mine was like, Ricky knows this, I've always had to go 100 miles per hour nonstop just to keep up with some of the top entrepreneurs. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like I have to do more than others. So my work ethic and my discipline at the highest caliber allowed me to catch up to those who were smarter than me. Because guys, I don't know the difference between there, how to spell, right? Where the commas go, like people are like, that's not the way you spell it on Instagram. I'm like, I don't care, idiot, I make a lot of money, right? But the point is like,
I'll hire somebody for
right,
this
bro,
shit.
like exactly. So that's the thing for me. It's like, I agree with him, but I also believe that even people who are lames, if they just make a decision to buckle down, I'm not saying
you've never had a lame mentality.
That's true.
You've always
wanted more.
Always wanted more. Because you have it,
true.
right? You don't have to have the wit. This guy's a hog. I tell everybody, good luck outworking him. Good luck outworking him. He's gonna outwork you every day of the week, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Yeah. He's gonna outwork your ass. So he got it. Right, but you can't. That the desire, you can't install that in people. Yeah, you can't. So the one thing about him is that even when he was younger, like I remember when I got into the oil fields and I was there for 8 years, Alejandro was determined to get in, and the reality is he got in on his own. You know, he's like, I'm gonna get in because to me, I'm like, it's a dangerous. I don't want him out there. It's brutal, and but he got in, and they loved him. The oil fields, and then he got into my company. And then they loved them. They're like, damn, it's a second version of you. Yeah. It's because he's always had the desire. For sure. Let me retract. When I say you got it, either you got the desire or not. That's what I meant. It's a desire, not the smarts. I know a lot of smart people that are stupid.
No, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Bro. People with degrees that they're fucking like, you'd be surprised, man.
You can be book smart, but then there's also street smart.
We hire them, bro. Don't worry. If you're book smart and you think you're smarter than everybody, don't worry. We will hire you.
We have a spot for you. Yeah. But you have to have that desire to want to get ahead. Yeah. And if you got, and like that's the part that I meant. The more if you got it, you got it. And if you don't, you don't. Yeah. You know, not so much smart because I dropped out of high school my junior year. I was already doing time by the time I was 19 years old. I got out. I went in 2008, got out in 2009. So, you know, I'm a felon and I'm a high school dropout. So, and if I could be a millionaire, why can't everybody else? Exactly. You know, if I did it, everybody else can do it. That's the way I look at it.
You know, it's funny, bro. We have very similar stories. I dropped out my, my freshman year, my sophomore year?
My sophomore year, yeah.
I dropped out.
Decided to become a dad, you know?
Bro, I was the worst at school. I hated school, man. It was like one of those things, bro, where I'm like, fuck, like, why do I got to come? And I seen one of your podcasts and you had mentioned, like, school doesn't teach you how to become a hustler, you know what I mean? That's just in you, bro, you know? And it's like, I always felt that. I didn't know what it was, but I knew school wasn't for me.
The system's to teach you how to be an employee.
And I'm not saying drop out of high school. That's not what I'm saying, guys. I'm saying, obviously finished. I still went back and I graduated, whatever, but I just knew that high school wasn't going to teach me what I already felt like I knew, you know? Yeah. But that's being a hustler. So I got a question for you. So you got into the oil fields first, and then obviously your brother came in after. Now, I know your brother, from what my understanding is, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, you got into the insurance industry first, right?
Yes.
And then you brought your brother in with you?
Yeah, let me tell you what happened, okay? So you have to remember that have you guys ever seen the movie Slumdog Millionaire?
I have not.
Oh, it's a great movie. So it pretty much talks about this guy, they're asking him questions, but everything from your life that you experience makes you who you are today. Example, my dad and my mom got divorced when I was 5 years old. The 4 years old, Ricky was 6. Yeah. So my parents got divorced, it's just me and Ricky. And my dad would take us to Michoacan, driving to Mexico twice a year. Yeah. We would work there's 3 months of 2 months and a half vacation during the summer, right? So June, we would be busting it in construction. Yeah. Like my dad would be dressed in the clipboard and all good dressed, and then he had like 15 workers in construction, and he would buy houses, flip them. So my dad would pick us up and hey, a trabajar since 6 o'clock in the morning. But my dad was dressed good. We're the ones out there con la pico y la pala with these construction workers, right?
Good, bro.
So that's our whole life. And then and halfway through the summer, he would then drive us to Mexico. Yeah. I'll never forget my dad did this. One, he used to say, hey, he used to pray. Two, he used to put the money in our socks. Por si nos asaltaban. He's like, hey, if we get hijacked, you guys got the money. Remember that?
Yeah, Mexico's crazy.
And three, he would say, hey, if something happens to me, I have life insurance. Yeah. So we heard that, twice a year? Mm-hmm. Since I can remember, from 4 years old all the way to 17.
Yeah.
And so I remember one time I was 10 years old and I asked my dad, I'm like, Pa, what's life insurance? My dad, every single time, bro, I'm so grateful that he did. I'm pretty sure you guys grew up the same way, but my dad's always something like, ¿Por qué crees que dejé mi tierra? Why did I leave my land? I didn't know English. I had no papers. Do you think I want to leave my mom? You think I want to leave my sisters? You think I want to leave my culture, my food, my clothes, everything that I knew? My whole culture? You think I wanted to leave my culture? He's like, no, I came to America for why? I'm like, for a better opportunity. He's like, do you guys dress good? I'm like, yes, Dad. Do you guys go on vacation? Yes, Dad. My dad was brutal, bro, but he at least tried to allow us to see a different part of Mexico, Guanajuato, Huatulco, Acapulco, Oaxaca, Puerto Vallarta, right? But I mean, my dad was brutal, bro. Like, we couldn't even have friends. He used to smack the hell out of us for everything. We couldn't even talk the wrong way. If not, we got our ass beat. Yeah. But my point is, like, he installed, like, I left everything for you. Yeah. For you guys to have school. He's like, I had no shoes to go to school. You guys have shoes. Right. You guys go to Disneyland. You guys go to all these things that happen. He's like, why? And I'm like, oh, because you love us. He's like, okay. He goes, so if I came to America to give you guys a better opportunity, he goes, if I die, what man is going to give you guys that life? Yeah. I'm like 5 years old. I'm like, I don't know, Dad. He's like, that's why I have life insurance. Because everything that I work for, if in case I die, you guys will still be taken care of. Absolutely. So that, bro, it installed to me at a young age that life insurance was love. See, you do it for other people. You do it for your family. I mean, what's the point of sacrificing everything, bro? And then the day you die, you leave nothing behind. There's no legacy.
You leave that, yeah.
Even the Bible talks about how important legacy is. Abraham, they told him that Jesus was going to come through his legacy. Legacy was installed since biblical days. Yeah. So for me, it's like, dude, if I die and I leave nothing behind, the hell's the point of me even doing everything? What was the purpose? So at 19 years old, bro, without mommy and daddy telling me, before I bought Jordans and had a nice car with rims, and before I had buying my girlfriend all the things that she wanted when I was 19, I had already purchased a $500,000 life insurance policy. Yeah. And I was so damn proud, bro. I called my dad. I was like, Pa, I put $200,000 on you. Mom, I put $250,000 and $50,000 for my stepdad. I was so proud. I was like, dude, if I die, let them cry in Italy, bro. Yeah. Right? So my concept was, so then at 20, and I go into the oil rigs when I'm 18 years old, I go to work in the oil fields, and I work at a company called Key Energy on the rigs. And then from Key Energy, then my brother said, bro, you're working, like, why don't you come work with my company? Like, dude, you work good over there, come over here. I'm like, I don't know, right? And then I apply for his company. I get hired on, and they asked me a question. They said, are you as good as your brother? I said, I'll just put it to this way. I'm fast, extremely fast. They're like, okay. So they hired me on, bro, and I'm there working the oil fields. I get in this car accident, mess up my back, and I go from having money, having a nice car, me and Ricky had our own condo already, to like being on disability, getting a car repossessed, having to move back in with my parents, losing all my self-respect, losing everything, bro. Yeah. I went from making like good money in the oil rigs and working even on my days off to like, dude, I have nothing now. I can't even buy clothes. I can't buy shoes, nothing.
What age was this?
I'm 23 years old. Okay. 23 and a half, so I'm transitioning. And my mom tells me, mijo, she goes, go back. She's like, my back was terrible, bro. My mom would have to put my clothes on, like put my socks on, dress me, because I couldn't. My back was so bad after so many years of working, and the oil rigs, and then the car accident, that she's like, mijo, go back to college. I said, Mom, I'm not book smart, man. I'm an oil field worker. That's as good as it gets for me. I'm like, you see these hands? This is as good as it gets for me, Mom. She says, mijo, you're going to end up in a wheelchair if you go back there. I said, Mom, there's no other option. What else am I supposed to do? So imagine, I'm at the point, bro, my lowest point, broke, car repossessed. Everything's going terrible for me. Yeah. My mom's like, mijo, there's a company looking for people. I'm like, what is it? She's Obamacare, bro. We don't do Obamacare. I don't know what the hell she's Obamacare. So I walk in, bro. Everybody's in their 50s and 60s. They're all Caucasian. I don't know if you remember the guy named Don Clark from the 17 News channel. He was there doing the part of the presentation. So I'm like, yeah, this is weird, bro. I'm like, you guys are all weird. I'm all tatted up from the east side. So what people don't know is that my dad left to Mexico in 2000, like when we were like, I was probably like 10. Ricky was like 12. Yeah. He made his life out there. So when we graduated high school, we didn't have nobody to fall back under. 2008 wiped out my dad, bro. Wiped out all of our uncles. So the last name Aguilar lost its power. So I'm like, dude, there's nothing for me and Ricky to go to. What do we go to? Mom was working at Red Pepper with Marisol. Yeah. She went from having like Red Pepper, raising us at Red Pepper as a waitress, starting a business with my stepdad, losing everything, getting houses repossessed, everything, goes back to being a waitress at Red Pepper again. That was very humbling for my mom. Then my dad loses everything. He has to go to Mexico. Yeah. So me and Ricky are like, yo, I'm like 16, 17. Ricky's like, yo, my dad already left. We're like, what do we do? So what do we make it happen? We have all this desire, all this want, this will, but we have nowhere to go. So we go to the oil rigs. So after the car accident, I go into this office and I'm seeing this person. So I walk in, I don't trust nobody. There's a lady named Erika del Toro, and my mom's like, oh, mijo, this is Erika del Toro. I'm like, look, man, if you guys don't pay them more than $5,000 a month, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
That's how I talked to my mentor today. The first day I met her. Yeah. And she was like, ay, mijo, I used to be in real estate. There's a reason why I'm here. I'll be like, all right, let me just shut the hell up. Right? No, she says, ay, mijo, I used to make $250,000 a year in real estate. There's a reason why I'm here. I'm like, all right, let me just shut up and watch this presentation. Yeah. As soon as I saw the presentation, bro, it talked about financial literacy, talked about insurance. I'm like, yeah, everybody needs it. Talked about entrepreneurship. I was like, okay, I like that. And I said, no, I'm a little skeptical. The office is only 600 square foot office. I said, but I saw potential. I said two things. I said, either one, it's a scam, and I'm gonna come bring my sledgehammer, I'm gonna bring hell if this is, or B, this is actually a legit business. What is it? Like, which one is gonna be easy? Either a scam, or it's gonna be something, like, cause I wasn't sure about any business yet. I don't know anything, like, I don't know these people that are from LA.
So how old were you at that point?
23 and a half,
You were
bro.
23 and a half, okay.
So everybody's older, bro. So I'm not sure. Then I said, you know what? Then I said, mama didn't raise no punk, right? Let me take an opportunity. So I work on my state license. My brother's watching me. He's like, bro, the hell are you doing, carnal? Like, that's not, like, he saw me struggling to pass my test.
I don't want to cut you off, but I seen a video a little while back, and I thought it was really interesting, bro. And you can correct me too on the story, okay? But I know on one of the stories you mentioned, I think it was like a Thanksgiving dinner, right? I think you were having like a dinner with your family, and then you were kind of like trying to put out the insurance thing out there.
Yes.
And I think you mentioned that your uncles and everybody was kind of
laughed
like
at me,
talking
bro.
shit. I'm just,
Yeah.
so how was that experience for you?
Bro, everybody thought I was crazy. My dad was like, mijo, do you trust me as a businessman? I said, yes. Do you trust me that I can give you advice? I said, yes. He was like, who's been in business for more than 3 years? I said, you, Dad. He goes, as a businessman, would you take advice if I give it to you now that you're a businessman? I'm like, yeah. He's like, quit that business. You're going to waste your time. Yeah. I know what I'm telling you. Bro, and I'm just like.
Although he believed in life insurance.
He believed in life insurance. He just didn't believe the way we were doing it.
I remember one of the jokes that you mentioned was like, oh, you know, ahí me
si me matan, me perros, bro. Yeah, con los perros. Yeah, he's all like, bury me. I'm like, hey, you guys know life insurance. A mí tírame atrás, bury me with the dogs. I mean, he's esos tíos que son mal hablados, you know what I mean? Like, all my uncles.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, nah, man, but I saw people winning, bro. I saw people traveling. I saw people making six figures. I saw people doing that. I said, and they were pochos. Like, straight like, hey, no sabo adults making six figures. Like, these fools don't even speak proper English, Spanish. I'm like, and I know I'm a freaking worker. I speak 2 languages. I got slapped around for not speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, you know what? If these guys can do it, I can do it too. Yeah. And they said one thing that I'm never gonna forget. They said, never take advice from people's life that you don't want. So I looked at my dad. I said, well, you lost everything in 2008 in real estate. Yeah. I said, we lost everything. I respect you, Dad, but I know you're trying to make your life. You have to recover again from there. I don't want to be recovering at that age. Yeah. You know, I love you, Dad. I respect you, but I want more than what you brought us to America and born here for a reason. Let me take it to a different level. So that type of determination, bro, I was like, I'm going to make it happen. My brother, though, being older brother, remember I told you guys, he was my protector. Of course. Right? Ricky left Ricky left when I was 15 years old, and I didn't see my brother again until I was what, like 20?
So how did that happen? Just a quick recap on that, if you don't mind me asking.
Bro, stepdad activities, bro.
Okay.
Stepdad activities. You know, my stepdad. You know,
was it something that was voluntarily done? Was it something that just kind of happened with life?
Ricky,
you were making different decisions.
Yeah, I just it's you know, when you're to put all the blame on one thing is very
it's not.
It's a very immature thing to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
My stepdad was he's a good man. We love him to this day. Very phenomenal man. But you know, he didn't know how to be a dad back then. He was a little bit, you know, went a little bit overboard on certain things. Look, guys, by the time I was 17 years old, I was driving brand new cars. I'm a hustler, man, by nature. I've been, you know, I was driving brand new cars. You know, I would nice clothes.
Shotguns and this fool's under his bed at 16.
Yeah, bro. I was like, I had my
shotguns, bro.
Yeah, shotguns.
9 mils, baby.
Yeah, I'm from the east side, my boy. You know what I mean? I'm a hustler. So, needless to say, even though I was on the oil fields, I had other things going on. I lived a very good life, even before. I've always made money. And, you know, he was trying to, like, restrict me on things. I'm like, bro, I make my own money. I drive my own car. Like I said, I'm out, bro. So at 17, I bounced. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not. I said, I don't depend on you. I don't need you, you know. Right. And he was trying to do what was best for us. Now, in hindsight, that I can look back, I'm 35 now. This was 18 years ago. Yeah. You know, he was trying to do his best. He just, you know, he didn't know how to go about it. At the same time, he didn't have kids. We were his only kids, you know. And at the same time, I was arrogant. You know, I thought that, you know, when you're 18, 19, 20, 21.
You got it all figured out.
You have the answers to everything. You know, you think you know it all. You're woke. You know what I mean? And I said, you know what, I'm out, bro. So that's why I left the house. I was not wanting to put up with anybody telling me what to do. Yeah. Especially because I had my own money, made my own car. I drove my, I dressed nice. I always had money in my pocket all the time. So it just, that's why I'm like, I'm out, bro. I'm not gonna deal with this bullshit.
If you don't mind me asking, obviously you guys had, the lifestyle that caused you guys to be who you guys are today, because obviously it was some type of, you guys had role models to look after. Mm-hmm. You guys had examples. What was it that made you want to decide to do what you were doing at the age of 18, 19, 17?
Well, like I told you guys.
Did you have family that was?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I told you guys, my mom's immediate family are field workers. Yeah. But her cousins and all them, they were, my uncles have corridos, bro, originales de San Juan. You go to my page and you can look at all my uncles have corridos.
What did my grandma raise up there in the
well, it's my grandma, my great, if my great grandmother Reina, que en paz descanse, she was actually la partera, which is a midwife, helped give birth to if I said his name, you would know he's the most powerful man in Mexico right now in the underworld. Okay. Right now. And it's not Chapo. That's not. That's social media. If you could think about another name of the most powerful man in Mexico, she literally gave him birth. Helped give my great grandma Reina. My grandmother fed him. They were from the same town as he is. Okay. My uncles grew up with him. So and my they're very close. Yeah. So all my uncles on my mom's side, I saw that growing up. They had their corridos. We go to their weddings. There was famous artistas there. They had big houses, big chains. I post pictures sometimes. My tío Rafa, they have the big, everything. So I saw that growing up. I liked that. Right. So and then obviously having them as my family, it opened doors for me. So, I said, I want to be like them. They were my role models. Yeah. I wanted to be that. That's now, now looking back, I'm like, I wish things would have been a little bit different because I've got my house rated and so on and so forth. Not recently, but, I've had my house rated and so on and so forth. But that's what inspired me to want to follow that because I saw it. I saw the big trucks and the big chains and the big necklaces and the respect when they walked in and, my uncles are in their young 30. One of my
horses, all that
dancing horses. We grew up seeing that on my mom's side. Yeah. So I said that's what I want to do. So that's why I follow that journey.
Right. Yeah. And it was crazy because you have to remember Ricky is probably Ricky's making a lot of money in the oil fields and outside of the oil fields. Yeah. So for me guys it was hustle. For me guys it was okay. I'm sorry to say, as I said. There's only a few places my brother is going. You have to remember, I only have Ricky.
Of course, yeah, he's your older brother.
You guys get. I only have Ricky, right? Yeah. So it's like, and then Ricky, when he took off when I was 15, I had to become my own man now. I got in the oil fields without my brother, respectfully to my brother. Like I did my own. I became my own individual man because I didn't have my protector no more. Yeah. So I became who I became. But also growing up, realizing I said, okay, once I saw opportunity in PHP, I said, okay, time is against me. Why is time against me? See, I have a mom with depression, severe depression, bro. We have to pick up my mom off the bed, off the ground. Mom, it depends on the random day. We call my mom and she's just in tears for no reason. Yeah. So that's one. Dad has health issues. And then I said, okay, if my brother ends up locked up for life, it's already, bro, I had to go put money in the books. Guys, I was already in insurance when I was 15 years old. Do you want to know I was in insurance? You guys know the little Geico? Yeah. Yeah, I put on that little lizard during the summer, bro, just to put money in his books back when, No way,
yeah, bro. For real?
Yes.
Yeah, I got busted in October the first time. Yeah. October of 2008.
Yeah.
I started doing time at 2008.
You know in California right there, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the lizard, bro, dancing around just so I could make enough money to put money in my brother's books.
I got you.
So I said, okay, my brother ends up locked up again. He's going in for life. He's going to go either 6 feet under, I'm going to go visit him in a hospital, or I'm going to lose my brother one way. And if I lose my brother, bro, guess who else? It's just me and Ricky. Guess who else will I lose? My mom. Of course. My dad. Of course. They're going to deteriorate. I said, if I don't do something, I'm losing this and I'm losing everything. Remember, I don't have my wife yet. I don't have my kids yet. Yeah. So everything was against me, bro. So that's why I showed up early, bro. I'm like, if I can wake my ass up at 3:45 in the morning to show up to a freaking job on the rigs, to be on location by 4:50, and I'm already sledging hammers away at 5:50 in the morning? What is this, bro? I walk into my office today at 9 o'clock in the morning, or 8:50, ain't nobody there yet. Yeah. I walk into your office here, 8:50 more, ain't nobody yet. Yeah. I'm like, what I tell you, todos están, con mucho respeto, son güeyes. Yeah. It's so easy to become successful because it's just discipline.
But you know why? Because we come from a place of, I guess hard work, bro. We know what hard work is. And I talked about this with Joel. You've done a podcast. I think you've done a podcast with Joel.
Yeah, with Joel.
And one of the things we talked about was like, bro, we come from a place where we worked in fucking empaques, we worked in the fields. We know what it's like to wake up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
Working 110 degrees, bro.
Bro, that shit builds character. You know
It's
what I mean?
This shit
easy.
here, bro, to be in an office at 8 in the morning is
AC.
the easiest thing ever, bro.
You
AC.
get in your car, listen to a little bit of music.
Yeah, bro, of course.
Come on.
I mean, obviously, there's a difference between physical and mental. You know, mentally, you know, you get exhausted in a.
But look,
In a
you know what
different way,
happens when you're in the
absolutely.
rigs? You get mentally exhausted and physically exhausted. G. So for me, it's like no excuse. So for me, it's like, look, man, if these guys can make it, I can make it too.
Yeah.
I said, but the only thing I can bank myself off is my work ethic.
Yeah.
So I busted, and Enrique is like, bro, you're wasting your time. Like that's a white man business,
So this is when you were at PHP.
Yeah, bro. He would tell me straight up, right, Rick? Like, yo.
Well, the thing is that.
Yeah, what was your mindset? I never even asked you. What was your mindset? Why would you tell me to quit that business?
Look, I lived in Rosedale. I had a Hummer, boats, quads. I was already traveling. I've been doing this shit since I was 25, 26 years old. You know, I already, everything designer. Like, I was already living a good life. And so when he joins PHP, look, I always believed in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Insurance, like, come on, bro. It's insurance. Like,
It's essential, yeah.
we're not talking about an energy drink,
Absolutely.
right? It's like when he got in the industry made sense to me. I'm like, it's insurance. Like, you gotta be stupid for like, bro, it's insurance. Calm down. It's not that like, it's just insurance, right? So it's not that I didn't believe in the industry. I believed in it, but it's just like, when that happens, he moves in with me. So he's wanting to recruit me. He's living in my house, renting a room for my house.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro.
Dreams, bro. Shoot,
No. But he was, one thing that I did see him, he was working hard every day. But I just thought to myself, hey, maybe this shit's not for us, bro. Industry's good. And by the way, this is just facts. Insurance makes the most millionaires in America. That's just a fact. People don't have to like it. That's a fact. Yeah. So I already knew that. So, but I'm like, but that's not for us. Like, I told him, I remember telling him, you want to open up a dealership, let's do it. You want to open up a restaurant, let's do it. You want to do anything else, let's do it. But I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. And so, but the reason mostly that I didn't see it is because he was living with me. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, you live in a beautiful house in a beautiful neighborhood because of what I do.
Yeah.
I'm renting out a room.
Yeah, and he's renting out a room.
So at that point, I mean, you can say it was like, just respectfully, ego at that point, right?
Well, because it's not only ego, bro. It's like you're trying to convince me about an industry when you're living in my house.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not, at that point, it's not ego, it's facts.
It's facts.
Bro, I'm
Does it
driving
make
a beat
sense?
up 2005
And let me tell you,
car.
he's driving a white old beat up
car, no AC.
So let me tell you why it wasn't ego. I'm also not, let me tell you what at that point it's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So, bro, I said to myself, I didn't tell him this, but I said to myself, if I go join you, we're both gonna be fucked.
Yeah, right.
Like, the reason that we can live here, I live here, is because of me.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I join you, where the fuck are we gonna live? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so that's the way I was looking. It wasn't ego. It's just like, bro, if I sink, we're both fucked. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're both gonna be in Section 8. Like, I'm not gonna do that. and I said, I'm not doing that shit, bro. Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why ego didn't play a factor, because it's ego's good at a healthy ego.
Of course.
Then when he started in March of 2016. Yeah. He makes his first like $18,000, $20,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And I was already making that. I wasn't impressed by the money. I was like, damn, okay, if he's making that in insurance and he can do that, then I can do it too. That's the way.
Of course.
When I saw the money coming in, it changed my perspective. Because look, one thing about me, one thing Alejandro will tell you, I am not an emotional person. Of course. Yeah. I look at things from facts. I don't give
logical.
I don't give a shit what your idea is. Yeah. I don't give a damn about your opinion. I want to see numbers, bro, and that shit needs to make sense.
Of course.
So when I saw it make sense, then I jumped in. Yeah. I'm like, oh, 20 grand? Okay, then we can still, because here's the reality behind things. October of 2015, he didn't know it. My mom didn't tell him. They raided my house in October of 2015. Yeah. And so I was fighting a case that he didn't know about. Yeah. And so I said, and then I remember the judge telling me, like, damn, how many times do I got to see you here? And I'm not fighting small cases. I'm getting my house raided, you know? And I'm like, damn. And I remember my wife now, Erica, she told me she was not used to all of that. She's when they raided my house, she was there. And she says, yeah, I can't do this, bro. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this getting the house raided shit. Like, I can't do this. So she did tell me, you're going to have to make a decision. Because if you don't, I can't be with you. And at that point, I knew she was my soulmate. Like, I'm like, okay, then not only was the judge telling me, pretty much if I see you again, you're fucked. Now I have my, at the time, girlfriend, fiance telling me, I can't do this shit.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so I had to make a decision. And it's funny because God always lines things up for you, right? Because when that's happening, that's when he starts making money. And I'm like, oh shit, this is my way out. Yeah. To do it legally, right? To do it the right way, not to do it the right way. And I could have started any. I'm very well connected with a lot of people. I have a lot of friends.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yeah, of course.
So check this out. Look, man, look for the people and the viewers. You have to be crazy and psycho. And you have to have vision, regardless of what anybody says. You have to be crazy and you have to have a vision that nobody can see.
Of course.
And nobody can tell you what vision it is. Because that's your vision. And I'm gonna just say this, man. I know for a fact one thing. This is crazy because Ricky's telling me to quit this because it's not working out. Mm-hmm. I'm driving a beat up 2004 Honda Accord that's beat up with expired tags, broken windshield, no AC. Swear, bro. Yana gets pregnant.
Especially in Bakersfield.
And by the way, for everybody, yes, people are like, I know Alejandro. Yeah, you knew me, probably had my crazy days. I was a dog, I was a player, I was all this. So then, and I'm in PHP trying to like be better, going through mentorship programs and whatnot. And guys, let me tell you something though. I told everybody this. I'm broke. It took me a whole year to pass my test. Everybody, all my friends, by the way, I recruited people, they passed their test before I did. Yeah. It took me a whole year to pass my test. Plus I had some misdemeanors as well. So then it took longer for my license to come in. Then when I finally got my test, I didn't know how to use it because the company was new.
Yeah.
So I made $32,000 my first year. Taking mine, I used to making 4, 5 Gs, 6 Gs a month already in the oil field. So I go broke 1 year, not licensed, showing up to every single day to the office and saying, That's bien way. Why do you keep showing to the office? You're not even getting paid. I'm like, you're the stupid one for going to college for 4 years and not getting paid.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this is my college.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I supposed to be a millionaire my freshman year? I looked at business like I did college, like anything else. There's no instant gratification.
Of course.
So I said, I saw a life. I said, man, I'm one day gonna go out there. I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna bring back the Aguilar last name back to Bakersfield again.
Yeah.
I said, and my brother is gonna destroy everybody. He's gonna be the best. He's gonna whoop on everybody. The reason why I knew that was because even though I wasn't the most cash flow bringing in guys on the team, on the company, I was the person putting up the most numbers as far as performance-wise, like the most effort, showing up earliest. So people were like, dude, Alejandro's gonna do something one day. I said, oh, by the way, I should go on stage and be like speaking, right? Like, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do, talk about the vision, manifesting. I said, and by the way, and this is a company conventions. I said, by the way, if you guys think I'm good, wait until my brother comes. He's gonna destroy he's gonna whoop all of you guys' ass. Yeah. He goes, facts. Then I'll go sit down back right to my, and then they'll be like, hey, your brother's in the company. I'm like, no, bro, he hates PHP, but one day. Shit. Bro, I would tell people for years, like for 2 years, my brother's gonna whoop all of you guys' ass. My brother's gonna whoop all of you guys' ass. My brother's gonna whoop all of you guys' ass. For years, bro. And they're like, and then Ricky back home, you better quit that business. I'm like, so I'm telling you, you have to be psycho. I was mad at that.
So let me ask you this. How long were you in the business for until your brother got
2 years and a half.
So 2 years and a half, okay. So you got in the business, let's fast forward, okay? So how was it when you got into the business? Okay,
oh,
like,
bro.
What day made you decide, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm in. I'm gonna try.
The end of March when he cracked, what did you crack? 18.5?
So I made 6,500. By the way, I'm quitting October and November and December.
We're gonna talk
we'll talk about that. Remember, okay?
We're gonna talk about that. I remember that.
January, I make 6,500.
Yeah, but that wasn't enough for me.
But check this out. So Ricky remember, it's his house. Yeah. So he's the one that has the key to the mailbox. And I'm so broke, I can't get direct deposits because Chase Bank had too many overdraft fees on my bank account.
Yeah.
So I had to get my check mailed to me. And I would get it on Monday, and I would tell Ricky, hey, do me a favor, can you open up the check? I already knew what it was. And I'm like, hey, can you open the check, see what it is, please? He's like, sure. And he was like, home, right? He would send me the picture. I'm like, 3,000. Wouldn't say nothing, right? And then I ended up at 6,500 in January of 2016 after being broke, right? And then I make 12,500 in February. So now I'm like, Ricky, can you open up my check, please? I don't know where it's like. I'm doing this, bro, for like 6, 7 weeks. Like, hey, can you open my check? Can you open my check? Can you open my check? And he would just send me a picture. I'm like, these checks were not like 3,000, 4,000 per week, right? Yeah. Still, Ricky still wasn't impressed. I'm like, God damn it, bro.
Well, I mean, when you're making that, it doesn't impress you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm
like, and remember, and I'm like,
my shoe collection's more than what you make this month. Like,
yeah, bro. It's like,
give a damn bottle 12,000.
And then so I'm like, all right, and I'm like, damn, he's not saying anything, right? And then I started making. Then in March, I make $18,000 in the month of March. And this time I'm like, he's now watching about $4,000 or $5,000 weekly checks now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the last check that he says, "Good job, little brother."
Okay.
But
The reason I told him that was not because of the money, is because I seen him struggle for so long.
Of course. Right.
That I'm finally watching him get paid out. I'm like, he deserves it. You know, it was not because of, the money. It was like, okay, good. Now he's finally able to get him, because he has a kid now. Yeah. Like he's finally able to get himself out of the. Yeah.
My son was born in March 3rd. 2016, the same month that, and by the way, he was premature a month, so he was in like, I think called an
incubator. Yeah.
He was there for like a week and a half, bro. And I made 18 grand, and for like a week and a half I was in the hospital. Yeah. And so it was a game changer, bro. Like I get emotional thinking about it.
So then you decide to get in, right? You got in the business. When you got in the business, let me ask you guys this, and you guys can get as personal as you want, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, I just, I like to be raw, right?
Ain't
Realistic. No bullshit. Okay, so why BFG and why TCO? Why not the same team?
We are one. We are one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just a clarification that I want.
So whenever you hit broker with us, like, would you guys have brokers? Yeah. You have your own team. Okay. And then you have what's called a hierarchy, meaning that all my brokers, myself and all my brokers, are under the BFG title. Yeah. So we're all one team. So, but once you become a broker, you can branch off, right? So that's the way it happens. So, but still, everything is still the BFG organization.
Still respected.
Yeah. So the beginning of it. So when Alejandro, and by the way, I freaking love the name, Born for Greatness. I'm like, that's sick, But whenever, like now, I have. Alejandro probably has, at this point, probably about 70 brokers under him, 70 give or take.
Combined with yours?
Yeah, combined. I have about, give or take, about 40. But now they all have their team names, but they're all still under the umbrella of, right? The TCO, BFG,
so it's not like real estate.
Yeah.
You guys are brokers. You branch off.
You branch off. With us, they stay with us. Yeah, they stay with us. And then we don't, well, I'm not going to get into details, but the point is they stay with us. They don't leave. Yeah. Unless they go to another company, which, very rare. But anyway, they stay with us. So TCO is still a branch of BFG.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So BFG is origination, and then TCO
not
is
even
a branch.
No, there's two more.
I know. Obviously, there's a higher up, like Erica.
It's Conquistadors.
Gotcha. Okay.
So imagine PHP being a tree, right? And it has branches that grow, right? Yeah. So Conquistador. So it was first my mentor, my mentor who mentored my guy. His name was Jose Gaitan and Marlene Gaitan. Theirs was the Great Awakening. The Great Awakening, because like if you think a lot of people are they're living life, but they're asleep, bro. They're on airplane mode. So his was the Great Awakening. Then he trained his brother-in-law and Erica, who also hated PHP for 5 years. Yeah. So then, for 4 years they hated PHP. Brings them on board. Then Hector and Erica, they're like, well, we're used to making money in real estate. Hector and Erica, they're monsters in real estate, bro. They would take number one prizes from their firm. Like they were killers, bro. So then when they come, they're from LA. They come to Bakersfield. I was the first one to say, okay, I don't trust you, but I'll work with you. Yeah. I was like that, like, I don't trust you, but I'll work with you. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but I don't trust you. Yeah. Hector and Erica trained me, bro. They molded me. They're called Conquistadors. And then I came out, and then they're like, okay, I remember when I went to a meeting one day, and they're like, Alejandro, you're not born to be an oil field worker. You're not born to be a server. You're not born to, you're born for greatness. You're not born for just being an average Joe. I've never heard, nobody has ever spoken life into me like that, bro. Remember, I'm a DNF student. I was called stupid my whole entire life. So somebody said, you're born for greatness. I'm like, dude, what? And that tattooed that in me where I was like, okay. Then when I became who I became, then I brought my brother on board, and then my brother comes, kills everybody. Literally, Ricky's been, and I'm gonna say this in front of everybody, Ricky's team has been the #1 organization for the last 5 years straight, back to back, broken every company record. Yeah. And so he became TCO, but the thing is this, I don't say, oh, we're all BFG. I'm like, no, bro, like he's his own entity, even though it's all under the same umbrella, and they know who we are. Like, there's respect, there's a matter of respect, but at the end of the day, bro, my brother's who he is, and he can be his own person without me having to say, oh, that's still my company. Right. It's not like that, bro. It's like, for me, it's like we're one company. My brokers that I have, I've merged some of my brokers under his umbrella. I said, bro, you're a better trainer with these guys, take them. Gotcha. So I'd rather, like I always say, I'd rather get 25% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape.
Yep. Of course. That's real shit, bro. I've heard that before so many times, and it's real. People don't understand that. Obviously, it's a lot better to get 25% of a watermelon that gets you a lot more than 100% of the grape, right? So it's some real shit. So if we're to backtrack a little bit, you know, obviously you were in the business first and you were doing your own thing. Did you ever realize like I didn't want to be what he's doing, or how do you even come across that? Because for me and my brother, it's one of those things where I've seen my brother fuck up so many times in the early stages of his life that I looked at him as he's my role model to this very point. But at that point in time, it was like, I don't want to do what he's doing. I don't want to live the life he's living, and I don't want my kids to live the life that his kids are living.
Right.
And unfortunately, it was one of those things where he knew he wasn't doing what he wanted to do, but he was just living life. And I seen it as like, shit, it was a really bad time.
Put it this way, bro. I used to borrow money from my little brother.
Right. I used to give him my car. In high school, I used to bust my
I didn't
ass
have a
off,
car.
And I gave him my car.
His car, bro.
And you had to drive around.
I had a kid at that point. I had two kids at that point.
Yeah, right.
I had 2 kids at that point, bro.
What?
Dude,
Yeah.
I used to see my brother, like I loved my brother, but I was like, I don't want to be like that. And I used them as an example of what I didn't want to be like.
Wow.
It's fucking crazy, bro, but he was like the role model of what I didn't want to be.
Yeah, I was the same.
Yeah, it's probably
I
fair to
was
say
saying
it's the
because,
same.
like, I'll be honest with you, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm so grateful that Ricky's always been good at throwing hands. He's always been good at throwing hands, right? Always.
That's
like,
Eastside mentality.
bro, that's nice to know. Like, I never wanted to accept it because he was my older brother. Like, you a punk, whatever, bro. Like, I could beat you, like, because he's my older brother. But
course.
like, Ricky always throw hands. And one thing that happened, and kind of going back to that, I remember being in high school and he left. I'm 15 years old. I'm wearing skinny jeans. This is my sophomore year, and I'm wearing skinny jeans. And I'm wearing like the Old Navy sweaters. I used to buy at Old Navy, the striped ones, and I'm wearing Vans, and And Ricky would dress like 501s. Like Ricky grew up like in that era, like the 80s, right? Yeah. Like that was his, and I more was like Lincoln Park. So I remember, bro, that I hated gangsters so much because of Ricky. Yeah. And because he left, I feel like, yo, you left me for them. You left me for that life. Yeah. I said, I was your little brother, bro. So I now intentionally had spite against the gangsters. Right. So in high school, I intentionally poked at them and would try to pick. I'm like, what are you guys gonna do? I was like, I'll knock all 3 of you guys out. What's up? Because I hated them because of Ricky. And then, so as Ricky goes and takes off, and I always respected my brother, but I respected his fearless, his aggressiveness, his power, his strength, but I hated the way my brother was. Yeah. Because he had caused us so much pain. He left, like, bro, he left.
Right.
But it wasn't just a leaving; it was what I was doing.
Yeah, dude, like he caused pain, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Right, because he could have left to the army, and you probably wouldn't have felt the same way.
But the things he was doing, like I used to be in high school, bro, and you're like, oh, your brother's cool. You're like, I'm 16, 17 years old now. I'm a junior, senior, and people come like, hey, bro, your brother's cool. Like random ass dudes. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, some fool pulled out a gun on him, and your brother pulled a gun right back at him at the party, bro. Pff, respect for you, carnal. I'm like, bro, get the hell off of me. Yeah. And so then I used to hear the ambulance, and I grew up in Osborne, Virginia, right? Like if you go to Osborne, Virginia, there's 4 corners. I lived in a corner house. The ambulance used to pass by. And you have to remember, bro, I'm seeing my mom cry every single day. Yeah. I'm hearing the ambulance. I used to ask myself, is that my brother? Yeah. So from age 15, I didn't have a cell phone. Ricky didn't have nowhere to contact me. Ricky's not going to call home because of Steve and my mom. So I'm not hearing notes from my brother. So I start to resent and to, not hate, but so anger towards my brother, resentment.
Of course, it's normal.
So then as I get older, and I'm gonna move out, my brother says, hey, why don't you come live with me? Like he kind of buckled down already, got married. As soon as he came back from prison, got buckled down and got married fast. Yeah. I'm like,
6 months.
I'm like, damn, bro, like we just got you back home and now you're gone again. Yeah. So when I moved back.
But I needed it though, because I was gonna go right back to,
bro,
I needed to calm down.
So would you say your significant other was lo que te tranquilo, or what was it?
Yeah, it was a responsibility of it. Of course.
So then I moved back with Ricky, and I have a lot of resentment towards him because I remember one time we were fighting. We were playing PlayStation and it was my turn. I was like, give me control. I was like, and I'm never gonna forget this, bro. I'm never gonna forget this. And we're still in the oil fields and we're playing PlayStation. I'm like, it's my turn. He's like, you'll go right now. We're playing Tekken, And then I was like, bro, give me the damn control. It's my turn. He was like, well, just chill. I said, it's my freaking turn. At this point, I'm already in the oil fields. At this point, I'm also positioned in the oil fields. So I'm like, I'm not a punk no more, bro. Like, don't treat me like you did when I was 15, when I was a kid. So I'm like, and we started going at it. He grabs the control, throws on the wall. I said, he's like, and we start arguing. I said, I'm not your little brother no more, bro. I'm not your little, I'm like, you're not, and then I can see Ricky like confusion, like what the happened? Yeah. And then we start arguing. I said, let me get my shit, I'm leaving. And I started throwing my stuff. And Ricky, I'm not gonna, he's like, and that's when Ricky says, you know what? He starts crying and I'm crying too, but I'm like, I'm mad, I'm enraged with him. He says, I'm sorry I left you, bro. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that to you. Yeah. At that moment I forgave him and I didn't resent him no more. But I didn't start to appreciate who Ricky really was till he became my business partner. Of course. And then I saw traits of my brother that I'm like, wow. Then it went from like, damn, respect to like, damn, I admire him to like, damn, that's my freaking brother. To like, now it's like, Ricky Aguilar? Yeah, you know him? Yeah, that's my older brother. Yeah. It was an evolution, bro, and I'm sure you experienced that. 100%. You know what I mean? And now when I'm so honored that he's my brother. I'm so honored the way, I'm going to tell you this, not just because he's Ricky and he's my brother and I'm going to hype him up, but I've never have met somebody like Ricky Aguilar. I've been in business, I've recruited, trained, built, developed hella people. You've seen how many people we've trained, make $250,000, 300,000, 250,000, single moms making 150 grand. I've developed hella people, and he's as well. I've been I sat down with the CEO of Blue Cross. I sat down with the finance director of the Pentagon. I sat with these guys. I'm telling you this, guys. Never have I met somebody like my brother. Even my CEO, I will tell you the relationship between my brother and my CEO is very different. Yeah. Even my CEO, with respect, he knows that he approaches my brother in a different way. Because Ricky has, that's why for now, bro, it's like, how would I have ever seen that if I would have never stayed in business and never been able to develop something with them? Like I walk into your office, bro, it's badass. I'm like, dude, this is sick, right? Like I walk into your office, it's like, yo, this is sick. Sick. I see the foosball table, I see everything, how big it is. Like YouTube, I'm like, after that ended, I go way out there. Dude, and you're like, yeah, this is the office. I'm like, bro, if I were your little brother, I'd be like, yo, that's sick, that's my older brother. You know what I mean? And watching you guys have a Lambo now, watching my brother drive Lamborghini, he has his Ghost, right? He's had his Bentley, his Lambo, his Urus. Dude, it's crazy to see where my brother was at to see where he's at today, man.
Of course. There's levels to this shit, for sure. Obviously, you were at a different level. Say, hey, you know what? I appreciate where my brother's been.
Yeah, bro. I always tell people look, guys, success, there's no lone wolf, there's no self-made. That crap does not exist,
bunch of bullshit.
bro. It's crap.
I hate when I hear that shit, man.
Self-made.
It pisses me off.
No, there's no such thing as that, bro. You need people, bro. Regardless of the industry that you're in, you need people, bro. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. The people that say that they make it on their own, bro, that's bullshit. 100%, bro. You need people regardless of the fucking fact of whatever level you're at, bro.
Right. Look at the Jeff Bezos of the world. Look at fucking anybody that's on that level. They got a team behind them. They are the phase, but it's not just
Jesus
them.
had a team, bro. He had a team of 12.
Absolutely. 12 disciples, right?
Yeah,
so
he needed
regardless of the fact, bro, you need a team, bro.
Yes.
You need people. You need that support because you'll only get to a certain level, bro, and you're done.
Yeah, bro. So when I'm recruiting, bro, and I'm like, because you have to remember, I believe in expansion. I believe in brotherhood. I believe in projects where like, for example, in school, bro, I'm so DNF student, right? But every time they say class project, I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Yo se acabo los desks. I'm like, hey, man, I got the pencils. What do you guys need some water? Right? Just kidding. But because I knew that the way I can pass any grade was with the group. Right. And so when I'm recruiting, bro, and I'm making calls to like recruit people to bring them onto my team, because I'm a recruiter, I'm gonna keep finding the best of the best. And if you reject them the call, good. Maybe you're not the best of the best. I don't need you. I don't need that mindset. I need people who are like-minded. Yeah. What I'm gonna say is this on the last point, then I want to talk about that whole Florida immigration thing. Yeah. If that's cool with you. But what I'm saying is, like, when I tell my agents, who's the most stubborn people on your list? I'm like, why? I said, we need those. Yeah. Because think about how, like, we grew up in the East Side, right? Yeah. Think about how many brothers, like, in my condition, that we're not able to save their brother. We're not able to get to it on time, find an opportunity quick enough. How many of those older brothers were freaking have been killers in business, bro, but they never had opportunity? Yeah. How many of those que no tienen papeles, they work in el campo, bro? They're stuck. Yeah. And they feel like they're stuck. They're not necessarily stuck, but they feel like they are. And so what happens, bro, is like, those stubborn people are the best ones to become entrepreneurs, believe it or not. Because if you're so stubborn on your ways, when you lock onto an idea and a concept, pa que alguien te mueva, good luck with that, bro. It ain't gonna happen. Yeah. And that's the thing with Ricky. The moment Ricky came into a position and said, I'm gonna crush it, there was a decision. Ni que lo moviera, bro.
Dude, you know what's funny, bro? You guys remind me a lot of us. Like the
I was gonna say that right
bro,
now.
Bro, the way you guys, look,
you
guys are from Michoacan, right? Yeah. My grandma's from Michoacan. Okay, you guys are very familiar with Lamont. We grew up in Lamont. Like,
yeah, we're born and raised in Lamont and shit.
No, not born. We were born in the East Side.
Oh, yeah,
raised in Lamont.
KMC, born in KMC.
We were born in KMC. Okay, so we grew up in Lamont, so I know exactly the restaurant you're talking about on Main Street, bro. Just put it that in that perspective, okay? So we grew up in Lamont, and then we moved over to the East Side. We grew up in the East Side.
Same concept.
Same concept, bro. Little Cuete, little Rob, bro. All that shit, bro. We were there. We done that. You know what I mean? So,
for him, two perspectives of life, too. Keep in mind, you know, we had our mom, and we actually lived off of the system, bro. We lived off of fucking welfare, food stamps, like anything that you can think of, free money. That was us.
That was us, bro. That was
like
us.
fucking that shit that pays off your light. What is that thing called?
The care program.
Care program. I don't know what the fuck. Bro, we lived off of everything.
So
we
we did it all, bro. We lived in a studio in the back. It was a studio
of my aunt's house, which we appreciate my aunt for being.
I love her, bro. Shout out to my aunt, bro.
To be honest with you guys, we actually lived there through food stamps, bro. We paid our rent through fucking food stamps.
It wasn't even a fucking studio, bro. It didn't have rooms. It was just a sala. It was a kitchen. It was a bathroom, and that was it, bro. And it was me, my brother, my younger brother, and then my sister, my mom, and my dad, bro.
Yeah, it's 4 of us total,
bro.
Siblings.
So we got to. Fucking
Upbringings,
bro. Upbringings, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? People that are coming into the industries, not making it, hopping into another industry, not making it in that industry. What advice do you have for people like that?
You can't. Those. What do you mean? As far as for people that don't. What do you?
Looking for the next best thing.
Yeah, it's look, man. Man, it's just we live in a time right now with so much instant gratification that now look. Okay. So as humans, we are not good, and this is all of us at taking accountability.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've heard people say diets don't work.
Yeah.
I've heard people say college doesn't work. I've heard people say, I go to the gym, every single day, and it's not working for me. No, bro, your diet sucks, right? So people will not sit and say they are the ones that suck. Nobody's gonna say that, right? So when like people join us, for example, and then they leave talking shit, or they join you, and they leave talking shit, it's like, no, bro, you just don't have what it takes to make it. Yeah. So you're not gonna talk. I'm not gonna sit with my boys and have a conversation about how I was undisciplined, how I didn't put in the work, how I wasn't trying hard, how I wasn't studying, how I wasn't learning my craft. I'm not gonna say that with my boys at Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, that shit doesn't work. That's why I quit. Of course, motherfucker, because you suck. Yeah, right. So you're not gonna say I suck. Have you ever had a conversation with any of your friends where they tell you I suck? No. They're gonna tell you that sucks.
Yeah.
So or it doesn't work. And so people have to justify their bullshit, right? So coming into PHP, coming into insurance, real estate, solar. I've heard people say solar, right? Or anything, everything. Car sales. People are not buying cars. No, bro, you suck at selling cars. People are buying cars.
Yeah.
You just suck at it, and you don't want to get better, right? Oh, solar sucks. No, bro, you suck, right? So I've seen people jump from company to company, industry to industry, and they don't make it anywhere. Yeah. And the beautiful thing, I don't mind those people, bro, because time will always tell a story.
Yeah.
If you see somebody growing in an industry and you see somebody else not growing, at the end of the day, their shit talking already fades away. Like, for example, us, we've been in the industry long enough to right now to where maybe what you were saying was valid 7-8 years ago. Yeah. Is it valid now?
Absolutely not.
No,
it's
another.
So what I'm saying, is it valid now in the fact that the people that were talking shit when they joined you and quit, or joined us and quit, like, it's so obvious the separation.
Absolutely.
So at this point, if you're still asking yourself, does that shit work? My friend said, fuck your friend, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on, is it not obvious?
Right.
How much more do we have to do for you to realize that the people that told you that this shit doesn't work were the people that don't work?
Yeah.
How much do we have to do this? I had one of my boys. It's funny. I'll tell you a quick story. We're sitting. We when I got into insurance, 3 of my boys. It was me and 3 of my boys. We all went to the gym together. We all met each other at the gym. We sat down at the Starbucks on California and Easton Drive, and we're all like, we got to go do something different. All of us. We all took different journeys. Okay. I took insurance. One of them took real estate. And if I said his name, you would know, not because he's big in real estate, because a lot of people know him because of the fitness world. One of my other boys did solar, and one of the other ones went to go do Bitcoin or whatever the fuck was going on at that time, right? Ironically, out of the 4, 2 of us are successful now, right? Well, me and the guy in solar. Was it the industries that you joined? No, bro. Is it the other 2 fuckers had no discipline?
Yeah.
So then now both of those guys are out of the. One of them is out of real estate. The other one's out of Bitcoin or whatever the fuck he was doing. And the guy in solar and me are here, right? And we've been able to progress. And it wasn't the industries that were chosen. It was the work ethic that wasn't put in.
Thank you, and that's what I wanted to get
That's
to,
the
bro.
work
Okay,
ethic.
so
you
regardless,
can make anything work, bro.
Yeah.
You can make anything.
So pallets.
So regardless of the industry,
No,
then
it
you would
doesn't
agree.
matter.
It doesn't matter,
No,
right?
it doesn't matter.
So because
You could
there's
be
this
selling
bullshit,
tamales,
there's
you
this
could be selling
bullshit,
whatever the fuck.
there's
you're
this
gonna make it.
bullshit that's been going on for a long time. Real estate versus insurance,
There is
and
no
I'm telling you, bro,
versus.
there's no versus,
There's no
bro. It's
versus.
your fucking work ethic,
It's your
bro.
work ethic,
It's
bro.
regardless.
It's work
We
ethic.
talked about it this morning. You came in. Where the agents at?
That's what I told you.
You went to your
But
office.
if you walked into
where the
ours, you would
agents
say
at?
the same thing.
That's what I did. I walked in this morning.
No, but
It's
if you
the
went to
fucking
our
work
if
ethic,
you
bro.
went to our office right now, you would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Where are they at? I tell them all the time.
Where you at?
Like, dude, come on. I live in Seven Oaks. I live in a beautiful house. I drive exotics. I travel the world. My wife, when she walks out of her house, she has $50,000 worth of jewelry on her and all her shit in her bags. Like, bro, and we're at the office at 8 o'clock in the morning. Where the fuck are you at?
Exactly.
It's not the industry, man. It's not the industry.
Can I give a perspective?
Go ahead.
So here goes my perspective on things. Have you guys imagine we're fighting Conor McGregor? Yeah. How many days a week should you be training?
Oh, full every day.
Okay, every day, yes? How many
day.
days should you be sparring?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
So every day you gotta get punched in the face. Every day you gotta show up, you gotta diet, right? To fight Conor McGregor, right? So life is a Conor McGregor. Yeah. You have to fight, and you have to fight every freaking day.
Yeah.
Right? And so what ends up happening, bro, is that have you ever seen a UFC fight or somebody fighting? Because I enjoy UFC. Have you ever seen a fighter gets in after the second round, he's like gassed and he's sluggish? Right? And what do you think to yourself? Like, oh, look, he's gassed. And the spectators are saying, oh, look, he's gassed. He's getting tired. He's bringing his hands down. He's breathing with his jaw open. Why? What happened? You're barely in the second round. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the people are like, oh, you know what? The coaches must have not trained them well. The coaches must have not given him a good diet.
No.
The coaches must have not. No, it's like, who takes the blame? The fighter does.
Of course, absolutely.
So when the guy gets knocked out, who's the person when the other guy wins and says, I won, I wonder who had more discipline. Who took care of their diet more? Yeah. Who showed up to the gym more? Who showed? So what happens, bro, is like, life is the same way. I see a lot of people coming to entrepreneurship and they get gassed. This just hasn't been working for me. I had this one idiot. He told me, Alejandro, look, man, I tried this for 2 years and a half. No, 2 years. I'm not lying, bro. It hasn't worked. I just can't keep up with you. Those are the best words I've ever heard in my life. Look, bro, I just can't keep up with you. Okay? And then look what happens. Then he takes off, starts talking a bunch of crap about me and all my people, starts calling all my immediate agents to tell them, hey, look, I think we have a better opportunity here. Starts talking so much crap. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, I remember when you showed up late. I remember when you took a 2-hour lunch. I remember when you were doing soccer mom activities, even though you're the man of the house when you should have been there. Why were you not training? See, every day, like we train Tuesdays and Saturdays, bro.
Yeah.
Why? Because we need to get their mindset right. Then we have to teach them skills. Then we have to teach them how sales work, and then have money. And we have to teach we have to compress, like for somebody to make 250 grand a year is a doctor. A doctor makes 220, 240 a year.
Yeah.
Bro, they have to go to school for 10 years. We have to these fools want to make the money we're making, but we have to compress it, those 10 years in 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember the first time you cracked $250,000?
Of course.
You remember the first time you made $400,000? You remember that time, right? When the first time we made $500,000. My point is this, we had to compress time, bro.
Yeah.
How do you compress time? By work ethic, showing up. Doing it, like I have 3 kids, bro. I have a 7-year-old, I have a 5-year-old, 3-year-old. Do you think my kids don't jump in my bed, throw up, piss, kick all night? Like, they're kids, bro. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is like, thank you. What I'm getting at is like, what am I gonna do? Say, I don't wanna show up because my kids are, like imagine me saying, oh, my damn kids, nah, I don't wanna be a dad today. No, bro, it's my responsibility. So people are so like, I just don't feel good. I have a headache. I have a strep throat. I have diarrhea. It's because my mom, my dad, my dog is having kittens. All these excuses are not validated, bro.
No, absolutely.
That
Like,
shit's fucking real,
like
bro.
what? Like,
Absolutely,
like stop, bro. Cut
Absolutely.
it out. Your family depends on you.
Excuses
and then you
are,
wanna
like,
talk
are
crap?
like assholes, bro.
Then you
Everybody
want
has
to talk
one.
crap that I'm holding you accountable? Like, I have a guy says, coming to me, and I don't even want to say his name. He's like, bro, you don't know how bad I want to win. It's my mom, my dad, and yes, and I spent 2 hours like boom, 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 boom. And then the next, hey bro, where you at? Oh, bro, I got up late off of work. I said, and? I'll be here till 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, I'm get off like at 7:30, bro. I'll be here till 10 o'clock at night. Doesn't show up. Oh, bro, it's because I had some things go. I hear this 24/7. So that's why when I tell people when they talk crap, if you talk crap about PHP or one of your friends said it, tell him to come look at me in the face and tell me that they kept up. Que me diga a mí en mi cara, bro. I would love to see it. Does that make sense? Because I'm there, bro. I saw it. Kobe Bryant says, the reason, it was crazy, he says, the reason that people say I'm a ball hog, no, I saw the time you showed up.
Yep.
I saw your energy when you practice. I saw your effort. I saw the time you left. I saw how you treated the game. And I don't give you the ball because I don't trust you.
Of course.
So these fools want the ball when they've half-assed everything they've done. It's not my fault your mom and your dad gave you low standards. Right. I'm trying to recreate the whack mindset you have by teaching you habits. And if you can't keep up with the habits of entrepreneurship, you can't leave and talk crap. Because the people that wired you were your parents. The person you should go blame is your damn family, not us. That you don't have the discipline.
Blame yourself, bro,
But
regardless.
I would say, look, yes, themselves. But let me tell you something. We also have some grit in us. Your dad started a business. Your dad started a business as well. My dad started, what I'm getting at is like, even some people that parents don't have a business, let me tell you something. Even people that never had a business, they taught them discipline, bro. They taught them, por los huevos lo vas a hacer. You like it or not, I don't care, you're gonna do it. So the things of the having to mentality and then the reward is not being installed anymore. Yeah. The have to mentality is not being installed. Yeah. So when there's have to guys like us, like we have to make it. Like Andrew Tate said, there is no option, bro.
There's no choice.
There's no choice.
There's no choice.
People have choices, bro. They have plan Bs and that's why they don't win. Exactly.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, bro, because yeah, you're right. My dad was an entrepreneur. And just so you guys know a little bit about my story, before I even decided, hey, I want to get into real estate, my dad had a company, pretty successful guy. I got to see two perspectives, okay? Again, like he mentioned, my mom was on welfare, my mom was on food stamps, my mom was on any financial aid that you can possibly think of. And then I had this side where, again, every other weekend I would go with my dad, mansion, Mercedes. You know, I got to see two perspectives, right? And that fucked me up, bro. It fucked me up mentally because I'm like, shit.
In a good way or a bad way? What do you mean?
He grew a lot of resentment towards his dad. We have different dads.
I did.
Different dads.
But I would say in a good way because it allowed me.
So your dad was the one struggling? Or was it your dad?
My dad was the rich one.
Okay, rich dad, poor dad.
Again, I have mad respect for him to this day because of the fact that, you know, he came from nothing, grew up, fucking...
The guy who has the real estate, that's your biological.
That's mad respect, but at that point, bro, when you're young, you
don't appreciate it. Same thing.
You don't appreciate that, exactly. So you're young and you see both perspectives. So I'd go from a mansion to a fucking trap house basically at that point, you know, on the east side. I'm like, fuck, you know, like...
Same.
You know, it was mind-blowing, bro, because it's like, shit, you know, like, I was happy here with my... What was like 17 and a half?
Yeah, you're like 17.
17 and a half, I decided. Whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Although we lived whatever we lived, we didn't
had fun.
understand what
Bro.
the fuck we were
Yeah,
going
yeah,
through.
it's
It's just
normal
what
to
we
you.
knew.
Yeah, it's
Right.
what we knew, bro. It was
Yeah.
To the insurance industry, and
To
then they jump to my
solar,
industry,
to-
then to solar, and they just don't make it, bro.
Yes.
Bro, it's you versus. Regardless, if you want to be a fucking millionaire making car sales, you can. You want to be a fucking millionaire making solar sales, you can. You want to be a millionaire doing fucking insurance, you can. You want to be a millionaire doing real estate, you fucking can. But guess what? It's up to you, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things where.
Well, but it goes back to, I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother.
No, you're good, you're good.
But it goes back to, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the documentary, The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. Okay? So if you guys haven't, you have to watch it.
Yeah.
And ironically, Michael Jordan, I don't give a shit up what anybody says. Not LeBron. I met Kobe. We met Kobe. Michael Jordan is the best basketball player who's ever existed. Yeah. Now, you can sit here and say, oh, LeBron broke his records. I'm talking about leadership. Yeah, right. Okay? Michael Jordan is a fucking leader. Yeah. LeBron will never be that. Okay? My respect to Michael Jordan is a million. I have no respect for LeBron for other reasons too. Okay,
of course.
That are not basketball related. Okay,
yeah. So shout out to LeBron.
Yeah, he acts like a fucking victim, bro. He's a billionaire basketball player. Acts like a victim, crybaby. Yeah. Fucking hate that. Anyway, he's a bad example to a lot of people. As ironic as that sounds, but whatever. That's my opinion. My point is Michael Jordan, not only because of what he did, because of his leadership, he's the best basketball player who's ever existed. Okay, and Kobe's second to him. Then it may be LeBron, but I have my reservations. But my point is this. When they're filming the documentary of The Last Dance, I think it's a 6-part series, bro, there's people talking shit about Michael Jordan, including Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen's net worth is $20 million. Michael Jordan's worth $2.5 billion. Here's my point behind that. Insurance, real estate, solar, tech. Brother, if Michael Jordan isn't going to be, they're going to talk shit about Michael Jordan. When they played next to him, what do you think they're gonna do to us? If you can have your right-hand man jump on a podcast, on a series about your life and talk shit about you, when you fucking made his career, right. What do you think they're gonna do to us? That's why I don't give a fuck about it, bro. Yeah. Talk your shit, boy. I'm going down the freeway in my goddamn Lambo. I'll be in the Bahamas next week. I was in Paris. I was in Paris, Monaco last year. Before that was in Jamaica. Next year I'm gonna be in the Bora Bora. I just bought my mom a brand new freaking Lexus. My dad, his car, my in-laws. We travel the fucking world, bro. Talk your shit, my boy. Say whatever you wanna say. Yeah. If they did it to Michael Jordan, they're gonna do it to me. Yeah. I don't give a damn. Say what you wanna say. I'm so past that shit, bro. Yeah. Like, and we have to address it. It needs to be addressed.
No, 100%. That's what we're talking about.
But it's like, bro, Kobe. Okay, so when Michael Jordan left the Bulls, Michael Jordan was on his last year. Trip on this, okay? When Michael Jordan left the Bulls, all the players, who was with him? Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. I can't remember who was with them exactly, but the point is this. All the guys that were on his team got super high contracts with other teams when they recruited them. Then, when they got to those teams, they didn't perform the same way as when they were with Michael Jordan. And they overpaid for these guys. They're like, hey, what the fuck, man? When you were with the Bulls, yeah, bro, but Michael's not there anymore. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Their worth came
the leadership.
From the leadership is what got them there. And these guys are now the ones in turn talking shit about Michael Jordan. Yeah. This motherfucker made you a millionaire, made you relevant, and you're still gonna jump on his series about his life. and talk shit about him.
But Ricky,
That he was hard, that he was aggressive, that he didn't have a heart, that he was mean, that he didn't give a fuck. You're really gonna do that, bro?
People like that, bro.
Yeah, those are the people
you
that
need
fucking
people.
100%.
That's what I was going on with that.
Like that,
dad
bro.
that you need.
Exactly. That's what made him who he was.
Yeah.
And
Accountability,
but
bro.
Think about this, but trip out on this. Here we are, 30 years after he stopped playing, 20 years after he stopped playing.
Yeah.
And even then, this fucking dumbass Scottie Pippen can't look back and say, dude, this guy made my career.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't even do that. You still 30 years later. But you know why? Because he has to justify his lack of success.
Of course.
You're worth 20 million versus 2.5. Dennis Rodman's net worth right now is $500,000. $500,000.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is this, to all the audience here, if your friend or cousin or sister or brother talk shit about Elite, PHP, Sunrun, Solar, Bitcoin, no, bro, it wasn't the industries, it was them.
Exactly.
And they have to justify by
Exactly.
talking shit.
Exactly.
If a $20 million basketball player, 50-something-year-old man, will jump on a series of the life of the man that made him and talk shit to justify his failure, what the fuck you think they're gonna do to us?
Yeah, exactly, bro. 100%.
What the fuck you think they're gonna do to us?
100%.
Like, come on, bro.
100%, bro.
Oh my God. Oh, que esto que no sirve, que no trabaja. You don't fucking work, bro. You suck.
you should see when I bump into these people at store.
Oh, they're like this.
Look, bro, their head bowed. You don't want to make eye contact, dog, because guess who knows the truth? You
We
can
know
lie
the
to,
truth.
You can lie to your family. You can lie to your kids. You can lie to your friends. You can lie to the girl that you try to impress. You can lie to everybody. But you can never lie to the real ones. You just
Absolutely,
can't,
bro. Absolutely.
Bro, it's the way that fucked up society has gotten us today in today's world, bro. It's just completely different from what it was fucking 10, 15 years ago.
But if you think-
Today, society is raising a bunch of bitches.
No, but here's the thing though. But if we go back to justification, this goes back to Jesus' time. Don't forget that Jesus told Peter, he said, "You will deny me 3 times before a rooster sings."
Right.
And when Jesus was being attacked, he said, "You were with him," and he says, "No, I'm not." No, he denied Jesus 3 times before a rooster sang when Jesus was being attacked. So if we actually look back in human history, this goes back to then. Right? But people don't do that homework because all they do is watch fucking Netflix all day and drink beers and do carne asadas on Sundays and get fucked up and hungover.
Yeah.
So you do your homework. When you hear a motherfucker talk and he's talking shit about people that are successful, why don't you ask yourself, what the fuck did you not do?
Yeah.
But you don't know that because you don't have any substance in your life. Estás hueco adentro.
Yeah.
So therefore you don't understand that if you look back to biblical times, this goes back to biblical times.
Absolutely, bro.
Like,
It's all
this is human nature, bro.
at
But let
that
me tell
point.
you guys something though. And look, man, I'm not trying to attack any single moms out there. I'm not trying to attack no moms.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah.
Look, I was raised by a single mom. You feel me? My dad was in my life, but co-parent. But at the end of the day, we saw what it is to be raised by a single mom. Look, guys, I go into the oil fields, all right? And this is facts. This is what changed my life. That's why I say you gotta go through pain in life. You cannot avoid the pain. Tienes que, como dice, doler para poder merecer, right? Like that song says.
I'm enfocado.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, right? You have to go through pain. Let me tell you why. I remember my first couple days in the oil rigs. And I remember my stepdad one time, I broke a vacuum. I was trying to fix a vacuum cleaner and I couldn't fix it. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't fix the vacuum cleaner. And then my mom's like, oh, Steve, help him. He's like, no, he needs to figure it out. He's like, and I'm like 12 years old, bro. And I'm like, he's like, Mom, and he's like, Mijo, just you got this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, Mom, I just can't do it. He's like, Steve, just help him. He's like, what am I gonna do his whole life? Hold his hand? Protect him his whole life? He needs to figure things out. It's like, he just can't do it. Yeah. I'm watching my mom attack my stepdad. My stepdad's like, move. Okay, fine, I'll do it. He does it and fixes it. See? And I'm like, right, I start vacuuming after, right? I go back to the oil rigs. Now, fast forward, I'm in the oil rigs. I'm 18 years old, 19 years old. I'm doing something. And I can't figure it out. Bro. And these guys are screaming at me. I'm one of those cussing me out a storm, bro. Call me a worm, worthless, baboso, estúpido, menso, tonto, like all these words, bro. And I cannot figure it out. You know the first thing that came to my head? Yeah. My mom. I said, this is what my stepdad talked about. This is what my mom said. Oh my God, my mom ruined me. I had so much resentment for my mom without her even knowing when I was 18, 19 years old. Yeah. Because when I got in the oil fields, I was not self-efficient.
Yeah.
I was not self-efficient, bro. These guys destroyed me and I couldn't quit because I'm not a quitter. Yeah. And I hated the way my mom raised me. I'm like, she made me weak. And the first thing I could hear in the back of my head was my stepdad saying, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Yeah.
And then as I got older and I figured it out and I stopped depending on my weakness, I said, and by the way, I thought the world was going to cater to my pain. Yeah. Like, I have a strap throat. My stomach hurts. Some of the like, bro, I think that. They're like, we don't care. And I'm like I just couldn't comprehend why these people were so brutally mean.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, damn, but it's me, like that little boy.
Entitlement. At that point. Entitlement, bro. Yeah.
So it wasn't until I was like, oh my God, I'm a freaking punk.
Yeah.
I gotta snap out. And that's when the moment I said, okay, ¿sabes qué? Let's go. It's game time. I'm not a punk no more. And it was literally a switch, bro, saying, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna be a freaking man. And I went through a lot of pain, bro, in the oil rigs just until it took me like 2 years to convert into that person.
So would you say it was the oil field that made you
Hell yeah.
flip that switch?
Hell yeah, that switch was the oil field. It was a high level of caliber of pressure, 110 degrees, bro, pulling pipe out of the well, wells blowing up, hot freaking oil falling on you, burning on you, and you gotta go pick up a Kelly cock that weighs, I don't know how much it weighs, like 100 pounds, pick it up, slam it, grab the rig,
pounds.
Let's go, bro. And you're getting burned the whole entire time, and then I come off the rig, and my guys, I had to close it because now these guys weren't gonna get burned. So it's hot water, boiling water on you, falling on you. It's 110 degrees, bro. And you come out, bro. Now there's a picture on Instagram where I'm drenched in sweat.
I seen that.
That was the day that I was born in the oil fields, bro. Because that was the day my team came out to me. They got the rags, bro, y me empezaron a limpiar, bro. They're like, don't worry, bro. They're like, thank you. Yeah. Bro, I'm getting chills even talking about it, bro. Because I got accepted because of the pain that I went through. That's the thing. Mentor mom's trying to protect them. Say, I could be mom and dad. No, you can't. Your boys need guys like us. So if your boys are weak, put them in around environments like this. They need a brother who says, let's get snap out of it. We ain't your mom. I told a guy named Robert on my team. He's awesome, bro. Prolific. I said, hey, I told you to get here at 9, bro. It's 10. Oh, yeah. I'm like, and I said, I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. Stop. Yeah. Because he's a badass.
Right.
But in case, if I don't check that mentality and I don't get that mindset right, that potential is, he's gonna be making only 100 grand a year for the rest of his life.
Oh, absolutely, bro. You need accountability regardless. Absolutely.
He'll make 100,000.
Absolutely.
But for him to get $250,000, $500,000, $1 million a year, that mindset needs to change.
Turn it up a couple notches.
We don't care if you have diarrhea. We don't care if you're throwing up. We don't care if your heart's broken. G, show up. Yeah. But you have to go through the pain to understand that caliber, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a fire ass point. And then obviously you're saying this in a leader's perspective, right? So let me ask you guys this. Being a leader, obviously you guys work your ass off to where you guys are at now. But now that you guys are in the leadership position, would you say that affected your position or your income in any way to where you're like, fuck, I'm not doing sales anymore. I'm just putting all my focus.
I guess the question he's asking is like, are you guys focused more on sales or recruitment right now?
Because now it seems like you guys got to, you guys are basically babysitting people to be who the fuck they want to be.
And I'm asking this because we just started to adopt this model here at our company where we started doing team leadership. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we got team leaders, and our team leaders they recruit. You know what I mean? So they bring in their people. And it's just a model that we just started to adopt, okay? Awesome. But we noticed that their sales, bro, some of them, not all of them, okay?
Have dropped
because they're more focused on recruitment.
Whose?
I don't want to say names.
No, not names. Whose?
What do you mean?
You said their sales have dropped. Not whose, not the names.
Leaders.
Oh, okay.
Leaders.
Let me tell you.
The leaders.
Okay.
Because they're focused more on recruitment. They're focused more on babysitting, bro, instead of...
Okay, let me put it to you real simple. We have the same issues, okay? I got a couple guys on my team that are making what did Nico and Gio make last month? 67,000?
No, it's more, 69,000.
69,000. I got people that are making 30, 40, 50, 60,000 dollars a month in my team, okay? That I've trained myself. And I've heard all this bullshit already, okay? Oh, this dropped because of this. Okay, so my first question to them is, by the way, I have part-timers, I have full-time jobs making 6 figures with me. Okay? Yeah, 6 figures with me on a part-time. Okay? But so my first question to people that are doing that is very simple, is, are you full-time?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then you're a leader, right? What time are you showing up? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning? Okay. Yeah. All right, perfect. Because you gotta go eat your little fucking Starbucks, huh? Right. Okay, got it. and then you gotta do your kids, and you gotta do your yoga, and you gotta do your fucking meditation, right? Okay, got it. Sound familiar?
Yeah, of course.
Different industries, same shit. Okay?
Yeah.
Because people are wired the same fucking way.
Absolutely.
So everything I'm about to tell you guys is gonna sound. You're gonna be like, you're gonna laugh the whole time.
It already sounds familiar.
You're like, fuck, right? Okay. And then what happens? Oh, I have brunch with my sister because I haven't seen her like in 2 weeks, right? Okay. Yeah. And then, I have my girlfriend's birthday. Oh, my kids' game. Oh, it's because of the, okay.
And the award ceremony.
Award ceremony. And then my prima and her kids and their kids. And, you don't understand. My dog's having kittens and my cows are having horses. Okay, yeah. All right, motherfucker. Anyway, let's go. Here we go. So my first question is, are you full-time? Yes. What time are you showing up? Oh, you're showing. I average 10:30, 11. That's fucking late. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so what time does the people that you recruit, are they full-time? Well, some of them kind of part-time, some of them are full-time, some are trying to figure this out. What time are they showing up? Well, typically they come in the afternoons. Perfect. Why the fuck can't you run your business in the mornings? Yeah. So why aren't you making your phone calls to your leads in the mornings? So if you get here at 8:30, 9 in the morning, could you already start banging out the phones? Because you guys need to bang out the phones the way we do. Absolutely. You need to hit the canvas. Absolutely. So why aren't you banging out the phones in the morning when there's no activity with your team yet? Because if you already know they're going to show up in the afternoon, you can't avoid that. Yeah. But if you already know that, then why aren't you banging out your business in the morning? My point is this, as an entrepreneur, entrepreneurs work 80 hours a week to not work 40. Yeah. So the problem is some of the team leaders are coming in late, and I'm telling you because my team leaders do the same thing. Leaders, and by the way, just so you know, I don't give that title too soon. Okay, you just happen to babysit, but you're not a leader yet because leaders don't act the way you're acting. Okay, all right. So how many hours a day do you have? Well, if you get up to the office at 8 in the morning, right, and let's say and by the way, if you haven't made it, this is the schedule you should be running. If you are not made it, you should be 8 to 8. Yeah. Okay, if you have not made it, you need to be 8 to 8. Fucking period. No questions asked. So if you're not here at 8 in the morning, you're showing up at 11, your guys show up at 12, and then you're recruiting them or teaching them or whatever, when are you running your business? Yeah. So it's not that you're focused on this, that's why you're lacking this. It's because you have time to do all of it. But your yoga and your fucking meditation and your little bitch ass Starbucks is more important than your business.
We got 24 hours in the day, bro. So everybody has the same 24 hours.
You don't even need the 24 hours, you just need 12.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you doing between 8 and 8? Yeah. It's their schedule. I've had this happen to me, bro. I have 1,300 agents. Yeah. I've heard this little bullshit a million times. Yeah. Oh, why did your production drop? It's because I was focused on recruiting. Why did your recruiting drop? It's because I was focused on production. Are you full time or not? Yeah. You're telling me you don't have time to do it all? How can I be the number one in the company, be a company leader because I'm on company leadership calls, I be married, need time for my personal space, for my personal time, be productive, lead 40 different brokers, run leadership calls, still have my production high and my recruiting high. Yeah. Miss me with your bullshit, bro, because there's people doing it. Yes. So there's no way that you can tell me that something dropped because of this. You're not putting in the fucking work to do them both. You can absolutely do them both. It's almost like saying that you're not going to take care of your husband because now you have kids. Right. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? What do you? Oh, I can't. Oh, well, you're going to disregard your kids because you have a husband. Right. No, do it all because you have time to do it all. It's a bunch of bullshit, bro.
Absolutely.
And you got to call it out, by the way.
Yeah. No.
So you do this for an example. You set the example for everybody else.
Of course.
Bro, I show up to your office. They're not here. So the guy, respectfully, and I show up to my office. They weren't there.
They're not there. Yeah.
But you know who was there though? Guess who was at the office?
The staff.
The staff that we pay by week as employees. Because he has his staff, I got my staff. We have individual staff. I got my 3 assistants, he has like 6 of his. Yeah. So the thing is this, why are my girls punctual? But then my agents walk in at 10 o'clock. Like, well, my recruiting's down, my production's is crap. Right. You're like, bro, I'm gonna tell you guys this, when Yana got pregnant, by the way, I didn't know how to be a husband, bro. I didn't know how to be a boyfriend. I was not the best in the beginning. Over the years, I've developed what it is to be an actual husband. We have terrible examples sometimes, but I'm gonna tell you guys this, man. So Yana's pregnant, bro, and I'm about to have a baby, and we're struggling. You know what time I was at the office every single day? 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what time I left every single day? And my brother knows this as facts. I would leave the office at 1 o'clock in the morning every day, or 12:30. Because I would be, in the morning, I would be making calls to the insurance carriers because once you submit paperwork, you got to make sure it's all going in the proper structure.
For you guys to be like the mortgage companies. Yeah, bro. Escrow. Yeah, checking up on your escrow.
Yeah, and then there's sometimes the signature was wrong. Something was off. So I had to be on it in the morning. And then my companies we're working with are East Coast time, so they're 3 hours ahead. So if that's 8 o'clock my time, 9, 10, 11 o'clock their time, by the time if I get there at 9, they're already on their lunch. That makes sense. So it throws off the whole. So I'm like, that first was all about making sure all paperwork is good. Then I had to call like around 9, make sure all my agents were gonna show up. Because they had a paperwork they gotta check too.
Did you have to call them?
Of course. Hey, wait, ¿dónde estás? What's up with your business? Come on, bro. Where you at? I've been here since 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm making calls to the carriers and calling my agents at the same time. Right. Then after I'm done with that as well, then after I'm like, okay, cool. Now I have to start running appointments from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 5 or 6. Then all the part-time agents show up after 6 o'clock. Then I had to train them PDR because now you have to teach them scripts, how to talk, how to move, how to shake a hand, how to navigate, how to move. Then as that's going from like 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night to about 10 o'clock at night. Then some people like, hey bro, can I talk to you? Hey, let's process some numbers. I'm like, oh damn. And then I'm like, okay, after we're done, it's like 12 o'clock, 12:30 o'clock at night. Ricky got started. I would make these guys practice from 9 p.m. to about 11 every single night. For like 2 hours. Let's go. We'd be in an office with our team.
Like role-playing?
Role play, hell yeah. Role play, everything. Selling, how to sell, how to offer this, how to recruit somebody. Leadership, non-stop for hours, bro. And then afterwards, like, hey, bro, can I talk to you? I haven't. So then you have to be a personal counselor to people as well. Right. And like your agents, you are like, not like, hey, bro, I'm just going through a lot. Like, how'd your mindset?
Right. I got my wife doing this.
Yeah.
My kids doing this.
Bro. So then I would get home at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know how many days I went straight without taking one day off?
Right.
120 days without. This is documented.
Are you talking about Sundays too?
On Sundays I was cool. It was like around 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd get there and I'd leave like around 5 or 6 in the afternoon.
Right.
On Sundays. But you know what's crazy? This is all in 2015 while my girl's pregnant and she's working at a gas station, a fast strip mall right on Ming Avenue where the Valley Plaza Mall is at. She's working at a gas station, 6 months pregnant. I'm working like this like a dog. People used to tell me, hey bro, if you're gonna be so successful, why does your girl work at a gas station? I'm like, damn, where's the script for that one?
Yeah.
You give me so it was like bro, so now that I've made it and I see all these people not making it, I'm like, how?
That's why you didn't fucking make it, because you didn't do what the fuck I did.
So how many people are willing to go through that?
Right.
So I tell people, look, if you just want to get your license and make money here and there, that's cool. But the moment you tell me and Ricky, hey, I want to build a business.
A legacy?
It's like you turn on a switch for us. So I'm like, look, don't even open your mouth.
Yeah, don't even open your mouth.
Don't even tell us what you want to do because then we're going to hold you to it. And then you introduce us to your wife. You introduce us to your kid. You know what happens, bro, when we meet men? Like, hypothetically, let's imagine I meet a guy, right? And he wants to win for his family. I meet his kids. I meet his wife. He's like, and their wife's like, they open up to us what they want to do. You know, the struggles we've gone through, you know, our heart goes into like, all right, te vamos a agarrar and we're going to make it happen. What happened to those people that you invest 6 months into them? They start having bad habits. They start to resent you because you're holding them to a standard. Remember, nobody likes accountability.
Of course.
So when you're pressuring them to be better, guess who's the enemy?
You are, bro.
You are, but you're the person trying to help them. Right. So then they stop showing, then the wife starts to dislike you. Then all of a sudden their energy is weird. Then all of a sudden they quit, they stop showing up. Oh, this is this, and then they quit. And then guess what happens? Then on social media, oh, Alejandro, yeah, he's this. It's like, dude, we want to win. So don't open your mouth, bro. Don't say you want to win for your family. Don't say you want all this pain, all your story, your 2 minute, all this is other. You don't know what I went through. And then you do nothing about it.
Yeah, it's the same shit, bro. In our industry is very similar,
It's
bro.
entitlement, bro. That's what it is.
It's entitlement. At the end of the day, bro. We learned something very early on, bro. You cannot be a fucking people pleaser.
No.
You can't, bro. Like, if you're a people pleaser, you're not going to get anywhere in life. You're not going to help people grow. The moment that you start being the asshole, though, the moment that you start holding people accountable to their actions,
Being
like,
a coach.
hey, why the fuck are you not here? Why are you not making the calls? Why are you not showing up on time? Why are you not the fucking first one and the last one out of the office? And then you're going to complain about not having any deals, any transactions, any money coming in. Why? No. That's why I'm telling you guys, bro, because a lot of people, a lot of people are expecting this bullshit. Bro. Real estate versus insurance, bro, it's the same shit. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, bro. The number one thing that fucking comes down to whatever industry you're in is a fucking work ethic. Tell me if I'm wrong.
A lot of people forget, brother. Okay, watch this. How did Amazon start? What was its first product?
Books.
Who the fuck buys books from online in the early 2000s, late 1900s, 1990s? Amazon started from books. It can be fucking books. Now he's one of the richest men in the world. It's not always the product. It's not. Don't get me wrong. There's math behind joining certain industries. Absolutely. It has to make sense. Absolutely. I'm not saying that's incorrect. It's the fucking work ethic. That's what it comes down to. There is no versus. There is no one is better than the other. It's if you put in the work, you're gonna make it work. My friend, he lives here in town. His name is Ruben. He owns all las Michoacanas Plus.
You know what? We were about to get on a podcast with that guy too. Yeah.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Right.
Ice cream. Not real estate, not insurance.
Yeah, my boy's
not
out in Dubai over ice cream.
Bro, ice cream. And the guy he has a store. All the Michoacanas, he's the one that franchises it. Yeah. It doesn't matter the end. There is no versus. And people that are expecting a versus is because they're wanting to validate their bullshit.
Yep. 100%.
Don't try to validate your decisions.
100%.
Validate your work ethic. Some of my closest friends that I have.
This is going to be a twist for everybody watching.
Bro, is it because they're if people think mathematically, if you put in more hours than anybody else, you're going to beat them. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Now, I have my reasons why I joined insurance. You guys have your reasons why you joined real estate. That's fine. That's beside the point. It doesn't matter how good something is if you don't work.
Of course.
It could be the best industry in the world that makes you a millionaire tomorrow. But if you don't work, you're not going to get there.
Absolutely.
Do you mind if I tap into this subject?
Go ahead.
Okay. I got 8 years and some change of some things I would like to say to the real estate agents, if you guys give me permission.
Of course, absolutely.
So, I'm not gonna be nice about it.
No. With
there's no
respect
filter,
to both
bro.
industries, bro. At the end of the day, bro, go ahead.
There's
bro.
money in both industries,
Of
bro.
course. How stupid would I be, knowing that I have a wife, I have kids, knowing that there's America and the world has land, and land has always been something important. And property, and even God's servants, some of the ones that He had blessed had land that was big. So obviously, real estate's a big deal. Of course, right? How stupid would I be if you called me and you say, "Hey, man, listen, I'm in real estate. You're in insurance. Maybe we can collaborate. You can teach me about your industry, but overall, I can show you how real estate works, and maybe we can help each other out." Of course. How stupid would I be if I'm in the insurance industry and tell you, I'm cool, man. I'm just focused right on insurance.
Yeah. Pretty stupid.
I'd be stupid. Because where I'm going to have land, because if I don't make right moves with real estate, I can also lose out on hundreds of thousands, or I can make bad moves. Yeah. So I'm not in the real estate industry, but should I at least understand the basics?
Absolutely.
100%.
Should I understand? Should I have friends like you guys, like, hey, bro, like, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing that.
100%.
Right? Because that's not my strength. Okay. Let me tell you why I've had a hard time with real estate agents myself. Not you guys, bro.
No. Yeah,
some,
you're good.
The majority I want to say
The majority that went into the insurance industry, or you just talking in
general?
general?
Ironically, though, before you continue, ready for this? It's the bottom feeders.
The bottoms.
Okay,
it's never the top. We're all friends. Yeah. That's what they don't know. We're all friends.
The top guys, we
We're
get
all
along,
friends. We
bro.
love
We
each other.
respect.
We have a
We
good
laugh.
time together. It's the bottom feeders that want a versus.
Oh, bro.
Thank you.
Okay, and not only that,
I'm
but
glad that he fucking made
and check this out. Yeah, because bro, when I walked in, how excited was I to see your office?
Bro, I would have never have called you guys on this podcast if I wasn't excited to meet with you guys, bro.
That makes sense. Like when I walked in and I saw you, I was excited for you. I was like, hell yeah, bro! Like this office is sick. How many times did I tell you this office is sick? I'm like, Rick, look at this TV. Look at this. I'm appreciating even the freaking every little thing.
Fucking planta.
Because I know, guys, I know what you guys went through to have what you have.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what I hate. Hey man, listen, bro. I'm in the financial industry. And you're in real estate. It goes well like marriage. Yeah, bro, I'm cool. Thank you, man. Have a good day. Click. I'm like, baboso.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why I think they're idiots. Because I would be an idiot not to learn about real estate. And I still don't know a lot. So you know what I do? I take a few times to sit down with my friends who's a wholesaler in real estate. I'm like, hey, bro, so how does this work? Like, how does this work? I've learned a lot of different things. I bought a house in Georgia through my life insurance. Now, check this out. If you don't know money, if you're in real estate, you know everything about FHA loans, interest loans, mortgage, this, house, right, equity, everything. You learn that world. Badass. If you're in car sales, you're going to learn everything about cars.
Right. Of course.
If you learn about solar, you're going to learn about solar. Cool. But when you're in the financial and insurance industry, even if you're not licensed or in this industry, but you are open to sitting down with people, guess what happens? We know the difference between a 401k, a 457, a 403b, what teachers have, a TSP, what the military has, a 457, what the cops and police officers have, a 457, mutual funds, Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, all these different investments, CalPERS, pensions, stock market, economics, where the market's going, what the recession's gonna be doing, because that's our world. Of course. Right. We know, we have accounts, bro, we dump in $50,000 into.
Not pay taxes.
Not pay, and then they pay us dividends and interest, not pay taxes, tax-free, the money's safe. we pull $40,000 out and go buy a real estate property and get paid interest on all $50,000, even though the money's already out of the account. Imagine getting paid interest, tax-free dividends, and safe on money. Like people, realtors should be using life insurance policies to buy properties, commercial buildings, everything.
You're not wrong about that, bro.
They should be using it, but this is a call. Hey, bro, how you do? I'm cool, thank you. I'm like, idiot. Because at the end of the day, they're going to have these investments. They're going to have money for the future. And guess what's going to happen? If they don't sit with guys like us, if you have $1 million, how much is Uncle Sam taking, let's say taxes, if you have 401k,
probably like half of that shit.
They're taking 30%. If you have $1 million, wrong, you have now 700,000. Plus, if the market crashes, you lose money. So the people in real estate, I would be an idiot not to learn about financial service and education that way. Like insurance, and not stockbrokers, not the bankers. The bankers for me are idiots because they'll put their money in stocks. Stockbrokers from Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, all these good, that's cool. They're gonna put your money in stocks and lose your money if the market crashes, and not their fault. Yeah. Insurance protects your money. We insure your money. Real estate agents help you get into your dream home. I'm sorry, real estate agents help you get into your dream home. Life insurance agents help you keep your dream home. So when people, real estate agents and insurance agents are not collaborating, I'm like, idiots. Yeah. Because it's like marriage, bro.
It's correlated, bro. Absolutely. And that's why I want to counter to that, bro. And I'm going to say the same thing. And we talked about this too, right, bro. Insurance agents, bro, if you're out, you're making a good living, bro, you're making good money, you have your insurance policies, bro, you should know about the industry, bro, in real estate, bro, because we talked about the statistic, right?
It's like the percentage of the world.
Some of the biggest investors, bro, come from insurance companies.
Of course.
Why do you think they do that?
Of course.
So when you get to a level, bro, when you get to a level of like, okay, you're in insurance, you're making a good amount of money, bro.
Of course.
You gotta know what the fuck to do.
Where
with
you
that
gonna
money
put the money?
Of course, you want to park it. You want to be able to park it in the right place.
Absolutely,
I want to
bro.
buy fucking buildings,
We have
bro.
real estate.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah,
have
we believe in
guys,
it.
bro. We have guys that we're building. We're the bank. There is no bank. There is no financing. We're the bank.
Exactly.
But guess what? You know what I do before I send money out to Mexico? I wire it to Mexico. You know what I do? I grab 10 grand, 20 grand, throw it into my life insurance policy. Yeah. Then I take it out, wire it to Mexico, and guess what? Now I'm getting paid interest on those 10 grand, even though they're not in my account. So I use real estate, my insurance, as a vehicle for real estate. So it's go for real.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of people think that like they think, oh, insurance, like I said, as if insurance is just it pays out when you die. Yeah. Bro, no. Stupid. Matter of fact, the NBA started requiring all the players to put their money in an annuity for retirement and investments. That's an insurance product. A new index annuities. By the way, if you ask Warren Buffett, the best investor in the world, where would you park your money? And he actually did a competition with the guys in the stock market. He says, I'm going to put my money in index funds versus your stock market. And $1 million is going to go to charity. Who do you think won? Warren Buffett. It's an insurance product. People think it's just life insurance. You sign it up and then you die and they give you the money. No, bro, it's because you don't know. Yeah. This is investing. Not only, by the way, just so you know, in what we do, the death benefit, meaning that when you die, and the policy pays out, is the smallest thing that we do out of everything that's the basic.
So let's explain to the viewers and show them what does it actually do.
So tax IUL is called Index Universal Life Policy. It falls under tax code 7702. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that insurance is they think that I'm like State Farm or All Farmers or Allstate or AAA. Oh, I can get my life insurance through my job. No, bro, that's nothing. That's not the way insurance should work. So in this IUL, it falls under tax code 7702. When you put money in there, the money's already been taxed on the way in. So 20, 30, 40 years from now, 5 years from now, 2 years from now, when you pull money out, you don't pay taxes. It's been growing interest tax-free. Yeah. So that's what Alejandro's saying. You put money in, I didn't know that you could do that into your life insurance. Well, yeah, because you don't take the time to learn about it. Yeah. So actually, ironically, I'm about to say something I've never said publicly. Go ahead. Life insurance policies, the IUL, not just a regular term, of course. An IUL, these white people made it as a freaking loophole.
The Rockefellers.
They did, absolutely.
So what they did is because you can't pay taxes on something that hasn't got paid out. So basically, the life insurance, bro, it's a shell of what's inside. Mm-hmm. It's a tax-free investment. So when you throw money into your life insurance policy, again, not just a regular term at AAA or at Farmers, an IUL. When you put money in it, it grows tax-free, interest-free. Yeah. So technically, because a shell is a life insurance, oh, well, I haven't died, so how am I going to pay taxes on it if I haven't died? Yeah. So it falls under tax code 7702. So then let's say you find a property. You guys want to buy a property. You have $100,000 in your
Cash
IUL,
value.
cash value, in your cash value account. Then what ends up happening is you pull out 80,000. You don't, and you're borrowing against you're grabbing that money against the face amount. So your life insurance is $500,000, and then outside of that, to the side, in your cash value account, you have 100,000. When you pull out the 80, they're taking it from your life insurance, your death benefit, not your cash. So the 100,000 is still growing interest.
Even though you don't have the 80 grand in there.
Even though then the 80 is still growing interest.
20,000 left.
Bro.
Yes, but you're getting interest for the 100,000.
Yeah.
Bro,
So then you grab that money, you put a down payment, you pay your property, and then what ends up happening is that money that you have, the 100,000, is still growing interest. The insurance companies don't take it out because remember, in order for it to be tax-free, they can't take it out of your cash value account because then it's considered an investment. So they take it away from your face amount, which is your life insurance policy, because you're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Right. And this is still not even considering the equity that you're building on the property that you're going to go.
So when I'm like when people are like, what do you do? The simplest answers I can tell you is insurance.
Life insurance,
but there's so much more to it. Of course. And I'm like, bro, that's what you guys got. We learned the finances now. Now, think about this. Like, if I'm I'm a real estate agent, and that's why we have so many people that are in real estate with us now. Ironically, we have a lot. And by the way, you know what's crazy? It's always the higher ups that are joining us. It's never the bottom feeders. It's not the bottom feeders. It's always the higher ups because they understand. So in life insurance now, for example, National Life Group has been around since 1865. American National has been around since the early 1900s. Bonnie and Clyde had an insurance policy with them. They have living benefits. Yeah. So what happens is, let's say, for example, you're working, right? You're a construction worker. Here we go. Alejandro's my life insurance agent. You're my real estate agent. I'm Juan. I work in construction, right? You just sold me my house, okay? And I fall off the roof and I break a leg, okay? What's gonna happen to my income naturally?
Naturally, you're done.
You're done. Watch this. But Alejandro sold me an IUL or a term that has living benefits. What are living benefits? Let me explain. Accidental rider, chronic illness, critical injury, and terminal. So if I can't do 3 out of 7 daily activities, the policy Alejandro sold me will now, if I have a $500,000 policy, I could take up to 80% of my policy before I die to use it. So now the house you just sold me,
paid off.
I can now grab that money, pay off the house you just sold me.
Nice.
Without dying.
No additional cost.
No additional cost.
Tax-free.
The insurance company, as long as the doctor signs off on it, they will give you. So people don't, like I said, life insurance, the death benefit is a very basic.
So then again, I'm gonna just repeat this again. So the verse is bullshit.
It's bull.
It's bullshit.
It's stupid.
Why? Because it's correlated.
I'm using
Why the
real
fuck
estate for my
would you not
insurance?
want to have a fucking property paid off through your insurance?
Yeah, and they're paying you. Like, let me give you an example. Let me tell you who actually. Remember, for many years though, we were just selling insurance because we didn't know the magnitude of it. Because remember, bro, the Rockefellers. If I'm the Rockefellers, think about this. All right, let's talk money now. Let's have a little financial literacy class real quick.
Let's do it.
I'm the Rockefeller, right?
Of course.
Do I trust a bank? They're broke.
Absolutely.
Right?
There's a lot of bank collapses going on.
Right? Silicon Bank, one of the largest banks, one bank. And by the way, the entity that backed them up with is insurance.
Of course.
Okay, so check this out. So I'm the Rockefellers. I got all this money. All right? I'm like, should I put it in banks? No, they're broke. Should I put it in the stock market? No, because if it crashes, I can lose, and then plus I have to pay taxes. Of course. So I'm not saying they're not going to put some of the money, but that's not their priority. Because they know they can put in the market could lose. And they could get taxed on that. So I'm like, if I'm the Rockefellers, I'm gonna go to an insurance company and say, hey, the insurance company is excited to have me now. They're like, hey, I'm gonna put money. What benefits am I gonna get? What I want my money to be safe first and foremost. No problem. We'll make sure your money's insured. Okay, deal, check. Next thing, I want interest on my money. Okay, check. I don't want to pay taxes on the money. Oh crap, okay. We'll figure out a product, no worries. Check. So I'm gonna have my money safe. It's gonna grow interest and it's gonna be tax-free? Yes. Okay, what if when I die? I don't want you guys keeping all my money and I wanna make sure my family receives money as well. That's called legacy. Okay, the life insurance. They'll receive that and the savings, both. Perfect. Now, what happens now? Tax-free. Now, what if I need to access my money? A Roth IRA, you have to be either buying a home or use it for college. Yep. If not, you get penalized 59.5. So a 401k, tax penalized. Yeah. 457, same thing. Mutual, the same thing. So what happens when I go to a life insurance? You think they care that I'm taking out money to go send to Mexico? They don't give it. I had no explanation. It's my money.
Yeah.
So imagine if I'm gonna have, first of all, I have a life insurance. So if I die, family's taken care of. Legacy is done. 2, I get hurt, I'm taken care of. 3, my money is safe. 4, it grows interest. 5 is tax-free. And 6, when I die, all of it goes to my family. And by the way, when I take that money out and I buy properties, bro, like if I have $1 million and I pulled out 800,000, they have to pay me interest on all million. Yeah. What's 10%? What's 10% of $1 million? 100,000. So if I have $1 million and I take out $800,000 out, and they pay me 10% that year, that's 100,000. They have to. It's like me only receiving It's like me only taking out $700,000. Let me tell you where we learned this from. You already who taught us this? You're not gonna believe who taught us this. You're gonna laugh.
Shoot it.
A realtor taught us this. See, there is an agent of ours whose uncle's in real estate and he makes millions of dollars. He's a millionaire in real estate, has multiple properties, right? And then he's like, hey, Theo, he's like, get a policy. And the Theo's like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm self-insured. I got real estate, I got properties, I'm, right? Remember that? So by the way, probate, all this. And so there's a lot of crap, right? He's like, but I'm cool, I'm self-insured. 2 years later, after him bugging him, he's like, get a policy. The agent gave up. He's like, screw that. My uncle's done. He's not gonna do business with me. Yeah. His uncle calls him randomly and says, hey, I want an IUL. I want an IUL. And he's like, he wants an IUL. And then he's like, okay. Now the realtor calls his nephew, says, I want an IUL. He goes, okay, Zach, give me one where I can dump in a lot of money into, because there's flexible. You could put a little bit or less. You could do $3,000 a year or $50,000 a year. There's a cap. He says, okay. And then guess what the realtor does? He goes and takes, I don't know how real estate works in this way. You guys could probably, explain to me later, but he takes out the equity out of one of his houses. He has multiple houses, takes out equity, dumps in $60,000 to his IUL, right? Then that's maxed out. He can't do more money. He can't even do another $1,000 off, they'll tax him. So there's a max. So then the second year, guess what he does now? He takes out equity from another one's house, takes out $60,000, boom, puts it into his policy. He does that for 3 years, dumps in $180,000. After the 3 years, guess where his account was with interest? $210,000. Okay, pretty cool. $30,000 of interest in 3 years, okay? Look what happens now. Then he has $210,000, takes out $100,000 from his policy and buys 3 more houses.
Thank you.
Okay?
That's what I want to get into right now.
Buys 3 more houses, okay? Mm-hmm. So remember, he had $210,000, $100,000 went to buy 3 more houses. Tax free. But guess what? They have to pay him interest on all what? $210,000. So he took out $100,000, bought 3 more houses. On the 210, what's 10% of $210,000? $21,000. So even though he took out 100 G's out, they still paid him $21,000 on the $210,000.
For that 1 year.
For that 1 year. And they're gonna keep paying him every single year on that account. So the next year the market does 5%, they pay him 10 G's. The market does 0, the market does negative 38 like it did in 2008, the market lost 38%. Guess what he does? They don't pay him nothing, but he gets 0%, but he doesn't lose nothing.
Yeah.
So what happens is, how long is he gonna be getting paid interest on the $100,000 that he doesn't have in that account?
Yeah.
For the rest of his life, bro. To the day he dies. That's why it's called infinite banking, because it's paying you back infinitely.
Yeah.
So, bro, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell have I been doing with my money this whole time? Because I've been sitting with clients. See, when I sit with a client, I've been setting them up for them to have $500,000 or $1 million or $2 million by the time they're 65 years old. Never to take it out beforehand and make investments with it. So the moment that we learned that, I was like, hell yeah. Like, how many times have you developed or learned something in the real estate industry? Like, dude, what the hell? I should have been doing this a long time ago.
Oh yeah, many times, bro.
Many times. So that happened to us too. So now I'm like, yo, and I've been trying to tell, that's why I have loan officers that I recruited out. I think loan officers, like, bro, you're the loan officer. What are you doing? How come you're not licensed to do what we do? Yeah. They're leaving hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on the table. Real estate agents, you're leaving hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on the table for not knowing these financial concepts. Yeah. So when your egos, like when I call these agents, I call a real estate agent, like, well, what do you want? Like that. I'm like, oh, what's up? He's like, really kind, by the way. I'm like, yeah, look, I'm calling from, I have my own office and I have a few offices. I'm in the financial. He's like, okay, let's talk to me. What do you want? Tonality changed the moment he knew that I was not a client and I was more in the insurance. I'm like, fool, my net worth is over 9 million. I don't need to be called your broke ass.
Yeah.
You give me I'm doing you a favor, but I'm like, okay, bro, hey, listen, man. I said, brother, we're not a good fit. You have a good day. And I hung up. I'm like, we need to bring those egos down and get those pockets up.
Absolutely.
That's my perspective on real estate.
And you know what, bro? I'm going to be honest with you. I can say, and I'm going to counter this with the same thing, bro, because I've had a lot of insurance agents that have egos too, bro.
Of course.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. It's the same shit.
Of course.
I'm going to give you guys an example. It's not the same ballpark in terms of numbers, but look, my brother's licensed, obviously, right? And I'm going to give you guys an example on his property and why I think insurance is just as important as real estate, bro. And I think they're directly correlated. We've talked about that. They're so correlated, bro. So absolutely, I think both sides need to bring egos down, bro, because
100%.
this bullshit has been going on for a long time, bro, where it's like, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, bro, I watched this podcast with, it's not a podcast, it was a video. Money Smart guy. Super smart guy, bro.
Yeah, you got.
And I admire his the way that he speaks. And one of his videos, he talks about real estate versus insurance. Mm-hmm. He talks about why he chose the insurance industry over the real estate industry. Makes some pretty valid points. This guy's licensed, okay? And I'm gonna give you guys an example.
Licensed to do what?
Rigo?
Yeah.
He's to real estate.
Oh, okay.
He's licensed to sell real estate, okay?
I don't know, license to kill, license to, I don't know.
I'm listening a little bit of everything. So anyway, he's licensed to sell real estate, okay? One of the things Patrick Bet-David talks about too is like, I always tell my agents, don't buy a property. Don't buy property. Don't buy a property until you get to a certain level or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Which again, I agree with it, but I disagree at the same time, because one of the things he says is like, I'd rather you invest that money into your business, you use that money to grow your business, and then which is great, right? Yep. But I think respectfully, bro, I think that's within a certain area. Okay, let me talk about Kern County right now, respectfully. Okay.
Yeah, give us a look, because I feel like real estate is crashing.
Okay.
So clarify, because I feel like all these people, because I saw 2008 wipe out my family, bro.
Yeah.
86 million people lost their houses.
So think about it. We're traumatized from this. So I'm like, not traumatized, but like, yo, I saw this crash. Right. Tell me why. Your perspective, because I kind of have a different perspective on real estate right now.
All I'm going to say, just to add on to that, bro, 2008 taught a lot of people a lot of different lessons. And obviously you guys know when somebody,
including big.
When people go through mistakes, what do you do normally? Naturally, you adjust, you get better, you get stronger. So we are 100%, bro. And I tell this to all my agents, even last year, bro, we are completely different from last year to now.
Right.
We develop, we evolve. Real estate agents, 2008, bro. Mortgage officers, loan lenders, whatever, bro. We are completely different from 2008 to where we are now, bro. It's a completely different industry. I feel like a lot of the agents, a lot of the lenders, a lot of the fucking products that are out there, bro, they have gotten stronger in the sense where like, okay, it's different, bro. Obviously we learn from our mistakes. We learn from what happened, bro. Why did people lose their houses in 2008 to begin with?
Variable loans.
Variable loans, yeah.
What do you think we're doing right now?
Fixed loans.
Thank you. So it's a lot of fixed interest rates, bro. So if somebody's comfortable with their payment and they can afford $1,700, $1,800 a month, bro, if they're good with that, bro, they're gonna stick with that. You know what I mean?
And then back then they were not verifying incomes. They were not verifying.
Right. Correct, bro. Stated income. Right. If you were breathing, bro, you were 18 years old and you could buy a house, bro. You could say I make $500,000 a year, bro, and correct, 100%. So
banks don't want to lose either, so they have to adjust.
Absolutely. So Patrick Bet-David says, I say you shouldn't buy a property. You should use that money to invest in your business, which I agree. I think you should, if you have a business, bro, you should invest in your business. However, I disagree with it, again, the area that you're in. If you're in LA, don't buy a fucking property.
100%.
Don't buy a property. What's the average median price point in LA?
1.5?
1.6 million, right? For an average 3-bed, 2-bath property, right? In Bakersfield, what's the median price point?
300,000.
Bro, come on.
Yeah.
He bought a duplex as a first-time home buyer. Do you know how much money he spent to buy a duplex? They practically gave it to him.
For free, bro. I literally got to give it to him.
Why the fuck would you not do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously if he's licensed and he has the ability to represent himself, his commissions, he's already getting 2.5% on commission. Your down payment is on average as a first-time home buyer, you're paying 3.5%. Right. That's already most of your down payment. And we still ask for closing costs, bro. He practically got that property for free, okay? It was worth, what did we buy it? We locked it in at $235. Do you know what that property is worth today?
What?
$350?
$330,000, bro.
100,000 something.
Do you know how much our cash to close was?
What?
$3,000. Why the fuck would you not learn about insurance? Real estate.
Bro, you know what the cash flow every single month is? It's not fucking crazy, but we're making $1,500 a month. And that's already having everything paid.
Right.
And this is just...
No, that's profit, bro. I'm not talking about like the overall expenses, because the mortgage on that is like fucking what, $1,800, something like that. Plus whatever we're making on top of that, bro, we're making good money. So I think absolutely 100% that real estate versus insurance shit is like, okay, no, bro, they're directly correlated. Yeah. You should know as much as insurance as about you, just like you should know about real estate, bro. Because when you get to a certain level in the insurance industry where you're making a good amount of money,
we're investors now.
You need to invest that money, bro.
We're
you need to know
now.
what exactly 100%, bro. So that's my thing, bro. Because a lot of people are watching this, they're expecting some kind of debate. Which at the end of the day, bro, there's no debate.
There's not.
It comes down to work ethic, and it comes down to, yes, we're directly correlated with one another, whether they want to agree or not, bro. 100%.
1,000%.
But you know what's crazy though? Like, it's interesting because my friends that are in real estate, like, bro, I don't know. Like, I have like my concuño's a CPA agent, a CPA. Yeah. I don't know shit about CPA, bro. I don't know a goddamn thing. I sit there, I'm like, hey, bro, here I am. I'm a millionaire, right? And I'm sitting in front of him, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like, and I'm sitting in front of, and when my guys, like, I have a couple of my friends that I've known since many years that are really saying, hey, bro, how does this work? Oh, look, do this. Oh, okay, cool. Like, to not have partnerships and not have friends in different industries, you are a fucking bottom-feeding idiot.
Absolutely, 100%.
There's no, and by the way, on both sides.
Of course.
You need to have friends in different industries that understand things that you don't understand.
Right. Yeah.
It is so naive, immature, and stupid to think that your industry, you got everything figured out. I've had friends of mine that have helped me make money in other industries passively simply because they knew more than I did. Yeah. And then I helped them with on my stuff. Like, I have a meeting in San Jose with the three business owners. They own a couple body shops and landscaping companies. They're like, we want to meet with you so you can teach us how money works. But these guys are driving Urus's too. Yeah. That's why I say it's always the bottom feeders.
Yeah.
It's never the ones that are doing it big.
The ones on the top, bro.
The ones at the top understand collaboration. And you don't even have to be in the top to understand collaboration. You just gotta stop being so goddamn stupid when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And now with collaboration, now you're able to make things happen and make moves with your friends. And you teach them, they teach you, and then you grow. It's not a versus thing. It never has been. It's always been, of course, you should be passionate about your industry.
Absolutely, 100%.
And one thing that I can't
100%.
stand, one thing I tell my guys all the time, I have 1,300 agents across the country, and I tell them all the time, I never want to ever see in your posts, ever, talking shit about people that go to college or that work 9 to 5s.
Of course.
Because they're feeding their fucking families.
Of course.
And that is noble.
Of course.
I believe in nobility. Maybe when I was a younger entrepreneur, hot-headed, it was different.
Same.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm like,
Respect.
if you go to college, give them respect because they're doing something. They're not breaking in your car.
Of course.
And they're not living off the government. So give them props for going to college because I want my I said to the dentist, by the way, the owner of it is my friend. I was sitting there and he was on my teeth for 4 hours. I want him to have gone to college. I don't want him to fuck up my gums. Does that make sense? When he was doing my deep cleaning, bro, we need people to do that.
Absolutely.
So to think that your industry is the all
the
that
superior one,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, we go back to the same thing. Jeff Bezos became a billionaire selling fucking books. So if you can't have that perspective, you'll never make it to the top tier levels of anything. You just won't. You know, it's impossible to ever get there when you don't understand that your way is not the only way.
No, bro, 100%. I'm gonna just share this stat, bro. Like, okay, so from both industries, okay, the National Association of Realtors statistic, okay, 87% of real estate agents fail within their first 5 years.
Oh,
damn.
Okay,
bro, that's the same with us.
Okay, hold on.
Same with us.
So 90% of insurance agents fail within the first 3 years.
Yep.
And this is from agency blog. This is from
100%.
Podium.com.
100%.
You Google this shit. What's the insurance agents failure rate, bro? 90% of agents fail within the first 3 years. What does it come down to, bro?
Work ethic.
And heart.
It's work ethic.
It's work ethic.
It's work
Regardless of the fucking industry that you're in,
work
bro.
ethic.
Regardless of where you're at, bro. It's the work ethic. Like,
Can I ask you a question, bro?
Go ahead.
Let me figure this out, okay? Do you have to show up early?
Absolutely.
Do you have to show up early?
Of course.
Do you have to show up early?
I do every day.
I have to show up early, right? Do you have to make calls?
Absolutely.
Do you have to make calls? Okay. Do you have to come up with creative ways on marketing to attract clients?
Yep.
To trust you and see that you're a good person and you want to help them? Yep. Do you have to do the same?
Of course.
Do you have to do the same? Okay, I do. Do you also get rejected?
Absolutely.
Do you get rejected?
Every day.
Do you get rejected? Do you also get stomach aches and have to show up, even have to have fight with Marisol? There's fight, bro. She's your
Oh
business
yeah,
partner.
bro. I'm fighting. We're here in the office and we're here together.
Yeah, right. Like, do you fight with your wife and stuff?
Absolutely, bro.
Do you fight? I fight what? Okay. Do we still have to have a good attitude when we show up, even though everything's going like hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Do you stress out at times?
Of course.
Do you stress out? Okay. Do we all have to still train our people?
Yep.
Do we still have to be leaders?
Yep.
Do we still have to produce?
Yep.
Do we still have to get clients?
Yep.
Do we still have to train and develop? Do we still have to make investments? Do we still have to pay taxes? We're going through the same struggles together, G.
Yeah.
We're just in different industries. Right. But entrepreneurship, you can get anybody in solar, car sales. We gotta be doing, our brain as an entrepreneur needs to be, even this podcast, I hope that people say, damn, these people are actually legit, right? Because we have to become creative. The brain needs to be creative. God You know what's crazy? I don't know if you guys know this, but the universe hasn't been done. I don't know if you guys know this. Do you guys know that the universe is not done expanding? Yeah, you guys know that? Yeah. The universe still is, science is proving that it's still expanding. So planets are still being created. What do you think God is still doing, bro?
Growing.
He's still growing. He's expanding. What I'm getting at is it's God, bro. He's still growing. You and me, we still have to grow. Yeah. We still have to expand. And like you, bro, you used to be a fat boy. I'm looking at you, I'm like, this guy's big biceps, he's big, like muscular. What I'm getting at is, bro, even every day you still have to go to the gym. You still have to watch what you eat. You have a wife that you don't want to take off your shirt and not look good, so you have to look good for your wife too. You got kids, you still have to do. You have kids, so then we still have to be parents. Yeah. By the way, I still got to go to Bible study on. Not I have to. I would choose to go Bible study.
Of course, I get to go to Bible study.
I get to go to Bible study. I did Bible study with my kids last night because I got home. So I did it late o'clock, like 10 o'clock at night. Bro, I gotta be all these characters. I gotta put all kinds of different masks on. What I'm getting at, bro, is
hats.
I'm sorry. There'll be yeah. I say hats, masks because sometimes you have to put like, hey, how's everything going? Oh, we're great. But inside, like, this crap.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at, bro, is like that attitude, man.
It's like you just want people to think, oh, he's faking. You know, you're gonna get those dumbasses on here for sure.
Yeah,
it's just like the pain, bro. Like when I cry, I don't know, like my wife's seen it. I don't like my kids seeing it, so I don't show. Those are like, you have to put on as a manhood, like us as men. Man, we go through a lot, bro. We have a lot of challenges, everything. And then wife, there's so many different characters that's taking place. Yeah. For us to be attacking each other, for us not to collaborate, like a brotherhood is important. We need each other, bro. This is balance. This is therapeutic for the people who actually want this. Yeah. There's guys out there that don't have dads, bro. They don't have older brothers. They don't have nobody. They have nobody to give examples to them. Bro, we're struggling too. We just figure out how to make more money.
Absolutely.
And we just picked up some traits that taught us to make more money. And we have some, so I think that this needs to continue to expand. Us paisas, bro, look, man, Jews, and I said this with Edgar, I don't know if you know Edgar, one of the loan officers. He has a little podcast too. Yeah. I said this, when one Jew makes money, 5 Jews make money. When one Indian makes money, 5 Indians make money.
Man. Yeah,
bro, especially here in town. We
talked about that on our last podcast, bro. I got mad respect for our Indian community, bro, because they are very fucking united, bro. 100%.
Same.
If one of them has an insurance company, they all go get insurance with that company, bro. If one of them has a fucking real estate company, they all go and buy real estate with that company.
We just need to keep them away from the trucks, bro. Yeah, bro. They need to stay away from truck for the 18-wheelers, bro.
But I'm gonna say something.
The fuck off the wheel.
The Swift the Swift trucks, bro.
Oh my God.
But I'm about to tell you this, man. So the thing is, it's like, but us paisas, one paisa makes money, one paisa makes money. Right. Yeah. And the moment is like, this is the stupidest saying. Well, they make money off of you. Bro, life, mentors, coaches, it needs to be a brotherhood, make money together. Yeah. Imagine one Jew says, oh, they make money off of me. No, stupid. You need to work together. So if, again, same thing with the blacks. If one black makes money, one black makes money. If one one paisa makes money, one paisa makes money. Man, the Jews make it together. People make it together. Muslim people make it together. I don't know about you guys, man, but I think we should freaking work like the damn Muslims and Indians. We need to collaborate.
No, 100%, bro. That's been on like fucking every podcast that we've talked about, bro. The Andrew Tate podcast with PBD, bro. They talked about the same shit, bro. The unity, bro. Yeah. That's important as fuck, and that's something that I feel like our Latino community hasn't figured out yet, bro. No. We're already hard workers naturally.
But do you know where that comes from? Our skepticism? Bro, imagine like mi abuelita. My abuelita comes from Mexico, jumps the border, has 5 kids, 6 kids, right? And then she's going to work, and then she sees a white van. That was an electricity van. She didn't know it was an electric van. You know, those ones that fix the electricity poles. Yeah. She's hiding there for 6 hours behind a trash can thinking it's immigration. They drive a car. What is it? Oh man, what if I get pulled over? I'm gonna get deported. Deportation. All right, ICE. The fear when they came to America, bro. Yeah. They came with so much fear, not knowing the culture, not knowing the language, not knowing everything. So much fear. La migra, el cucuy, eso. You're gonna go to hell if you behave, which is bad. If you're bad, you're gonna go to hell, which the Bible doesn't even talk about that. But regardless, there's so much different things that we have past trauma, right? And so we're so scared and skeptical of everything that even when something good, it's like, no, mejor no. Yeah. And it's like, dude, we need to get we need to get over that already. We need to let go of that trauma and say, el cucuy, everybody's out to get me. I'm a victim. The people are gonna screw me. Well, you gotta watch out because they're gonna screw you. That needs to cut it out. Because if we don't get that over that face, us as Latinos, bro, we're never gonna get to the next level. And all we're gonna do is like lobsters, bro. Have you seen when lobster tries to get out of a tank?
Yeah, bro. We talked.
So they pulled down.
Crabs in a bucket.
Same thing.
Crabs in a bucket,
There's gonna be
bro.
viewers right now. There's gonna be viewers that on the comments gonna talk hella crap about me, hella crap about him, hella crap. They're like, Alejandro talks loud. He's crazy. They're gonna talk crap. They're lobsters, bro. They're lobsters. And that's all I'm saying, bro. Like, we should not be lobsters with each other. We should be praising each other.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I 100% agree. And
And it's upsetting that our community is like that. And it's just not our community. It's.
Bro, I'm so sorry. Before you even asked me to be on your podcast, I think before you even, I shared Marisol's post of her Lambo. I think that was even before you asked me to be on the podcast. I told her story. Why? Because I'm like, dude, Marisol was a server. I saw her folding napkins, counting her tips, bro, working late. I saw her attitude, bro. I saw your girl. I was by her side. I was a kid.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And now to see her winning, how am I gonna sit there and be like, oh man, bull crap? No, it's like, dude, good for her, good for you.
See, and again, I'm gonna rephrase this shit. It comes down to your fucking work ethic, because look at the route that she chose. Look at the route that you guys chose. And you were in the same position, right? Because you were her busboy. And look at you now. Look at her now, bro. She, again, insurance industry, real estate industry, regardless of the fact of the industry that you decided to choose, work ethic is what separates somebody from the rest of the fucking crowd. You know what I mean? Regardless, bro. Again, you can make it in solar. You can make it in fucking... Bro, you can make it in whatever industry you want. As long as you're working for yourself, there's no capacity. There's no limit. You can make it, bro.
I know
you know
people
what I
that,
mean?
that sell fruit on the stands that have a few, and they make $100,000 a year.
Oh yeah, bro, 100%.
Paisas, bro,
Again, I'm gonna go back to
speak
fucking
dialect, dog. They speak dialect.
La Michoacana Plus, bro. Come on, bro. 40 fucking plus locations in Dubai and this for ice cream.
But can I ask you
Bro,
a
you
question?
can make it in whatever you
And
want.
Rubas is really doing it, you know?
Let me ask you this a question.
What's up?
Let's say they grabbed us right now and they take us away from our industry, right? And they grab us like a little machine, they put us into a restaurant right now. Let's say right now, with respect, I always say this, bro.
Of course.
The guys who sell cars, I said, you're lucky that I'm not in your industry because I would annihilate all you fools. Yeah. I said respectfully to people like, look, because at this point, like from our insurance agents, right? What would happen if we were to grab a guy like you and put it into solar? What happened if we grabbed the guys like you and put them to real estate? Bro, we will annihilate wherever we go.
Regardless of the fucking fact. Bro.
It doesn't matter.
You know
bro,
why?
I say, put me in real estate, man. I will eat all you fools up alive
there's
too.
There's no
all
capacity,
of them up alive.
There's no limit. At the end of the day, bro, regardless of the... Look, I honestly believe, in my perspective, the insurance industry, and again, any sales fucking job, bro, is very similar to what we do. It's it's sales based, okay? If you don't work, you don't eat.
Facts.
Right? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, if you don't come in, bro, you're not going to make any money. That's just the way it is, bro. It's your work ethic, bro. It's 100% what you put into this business is what you're going to get out of it. You know what I mean? So regardless, if they put me into fucking insurance, bro, I'm going to kill it in insurance. And I guarantee you that if both of you guys were doing real estate, you guys would be doing the same fucking shit that we are doing.
We would
It's the same
annihilate
shit, bro.
everybody, bro.
Why? Because it's the work ethic, bro. It's not the product that you're selling. It's your fucking work ethic as a person, bro. 100%.
And that's like one of the first things that we tell anybody who's looking to get into the business, bro. It's like, if you put 100% in, you're going to get... You're going to expect to get 100%, if not more than that, back. If you put 20% in, you're going to get 20%, if not less than 20%. So it's the work.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro, but Alejandro, you know this shit too, bro. I've had a lot of people come from the insurance industry into the real estate industry, and they're like, oh, nah, that was whatever, you know, like it didn't work out for me over there. I think it's going to work for me here. Bro, it's not any different.
You seen them
It's
quit
not any
the year
different.
two.
Oh, no, they quit, bro. Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. Why? Because it's not any different. What's the difference?
It's them.
It's you as a fucking person, bro. It's your work ethic, bro. It doesn't have to do with the product that you're selling. It has to do with you as a fucking individual, as a person, whether you really want to truly make something of yourself or not. If you want to be successful, you have to have that work ethic. If not, then, bro, you're not going to make it regardless, bro. Regardless.
I seen a guy, I sent Alejandro the guy, third company. So supposedly with us, all this and this. Then he went to another insurance company. That was gonna be the best one. He's at a third one now.
Third one.
A third one. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. When are you gonna realize it's you?
Yeah.
When are you gonna realize it's here in town? It's the third insurance company he's with. I'm like, guy, it's you, bro. And you know what's funny? The guy that he's doing this marketing with the third insurance. Obviously, this guy's a small timer in insurance. To be even,
Little fish.
He's a little fish to even be putting this guy as an example, right? I'm like, bro, I know all that fucker's habits, bro.
Yeah.
You can fake, oh yeah, entrepreneurs y aquí empresarios y vienen para acá, y bah, 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 right? I hear all that bullshit on his stupid ass little Instagram post with the other guy that just got him. I'm like, damn, bro. Before you made him the face of your little ass company, you didn't think to yourself, damn, bro, you just came from 2 different companies?
Yeah.
That didn't cross your mind before you made him the face of your little fucking thing you got going on right now? So now I'm thinking to myself, that entrepreneur, the guy that started this little company, and I don't mean it in a bad way or derogatory.
No, absolutely.
You obviously don't know what the fuck you're doing if you're making a guy that just jumped from 2 companies the face of your guy. You're making this guy your example. Of course. You didn't do your fucking homework, bro, before you did that?
Right.
You didn't do your homework on this guy? Let me research. Hey, bro, how much did you sell before? Where did you come from? Who was mentoring you? Yeah. Like, in PHP, there are 7 of us make $1 million a year or more. 7 of us in the entire fucking country. Obviously, in the industry, there's a lot of us. But in PHP, there's 7 of us. 7 or 8 now? 7? I think it's 7 of us. But we have plenty of people making $500, $600, $700, $800, $900,000 a year. Yeah. I'm like, 1 out of the 7. You didn't make it with 1 out of the 7. By the way, I've been running the number 1 team for 5 years in the industry because we actually, it's public record. I've been running the number 1 team. You didn't ask yourself, how the fuck did you guys come from a millionaire and mentoring you directly and the guy been running the number 1 team for 5 years in the entire industry? And why you're not there anymore? Like this other guy that's making him the face. You didn't think about that, bro? Right. That didn't cross your mind to ask him, how did you come from the number 1 guy in the industry, making 7 figures already, and you are here with me now? That didn't like ring a bell in you? Like maybe you should ask a question? Yeah. Like, so I'm sorry to interrupt. The reason I say that is because even if they look successful, doesn't mean they know what the fuck they're doing.
Absolutely, bro.
You look at the commercial, it looks real good and professional until you realize, come on, my boy, you don't know what you're talking about. Right.
Absolutely.
Both of you motherfuckers don't know what you're talking about.
I don't want you not to mean to interrupt my brother. Guys, let me tell you something. Ricky, bro. Ricky got started in the business 2.5 years after I did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys this. If I make 40 grand a month, $50,000 a month, let's say I average about $60,000 a month. Ricky will make 90,000. He makes from, my brother, I'll tell you guys this straight up, Ricky makes 400 grand to 500 grand a year more than I do. Think about this.
That's crazy, bro.
I trained my brother for a few months, and for like about a year or so. Ricky makes, like let's say I'll make 60,000, Ricky will make 100 that month. Let's say I make 45,000, Ricky's like at 90, 100 something thousand. At the end of the year, my brother laps me by 400 grand to $450,000 a year. Crazy, right? Yeah. But let me tell you something though. Let me tell you as well. Why? On Wednesdays, I leave at 2:00 because I go to Bible study with my kids. Does that make sense? Yeah. Some things at this point now, I've decided to say, you know what? I can go, because think about this, 1 appointment for me, 2 appointments for me is $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Yeah. So there's days, bro, where I'm like, no, I gotta go be with my kids. I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna do that. And also the way Ricky has built his business as well. And plus he has his wife is in the business too, which is awesome. That's why that's power to
which I want to get into that right now.
We should talk about that. Yeah. And then my wife's more a supportive spouse at home. Yeah. So, I'm in a different phase of my life now. I got 3 kids. So who's decided not to put in the effort to become a millionaire? And cash flow at least, because my net worth's over. I'm a millionaire net worth, right? I wish it was all cash, right? But of course, but it would be stupid if it was cash, because then the assets and the value won't grow. So that's why I'd rather be a millionaire in the way I am, which is my net worth, right? Yeah. But what I'm getting at is, bro, my brother is making way more money than me because he's sacrificing more than I am. Yeah. He's working more than I am. He's going to other cities where I'm not going. He's going to other states and building the teams that I already did that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to leave my kids anymore. Yeah. So who's made a decision to probably not put in the work to make $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year? Yeah. I've made that decision. Who am I to blame that my brother's making more money than me? Who do I blame?
Yourself. Bro.
Myself.
Of course.
I made a decision. But for me to sit here and say it's because of this person, it's because of that person, it's because of this person, it's the most stupidest, most idiot thing for me to say. My brother makes 400 grand a year more than I do, and I trained him. Why? Because he sacrifices, he puts in more work. He does more than I do.
I kind of want to get into this, okay? A little bit off topic, but I know we had a conversation like a few weeks ago, and you mentioned that you were looking into possibly retiring And then you mentioned that your brother was going to keep going.
Oh yeah, because look, I'm not gonna keep developing new people anymore, not forever.
I just want to know why your perspective on why you
Oh,
want to
snap.
retire. Hold on, I just want to
snap.
know, bro. Hold on.
This is my people don't even know about this stuff yet, but let's go.
Okay,
Let's
well,
go.
if it's okay with you.
Yeah, let's go.
Why do you want to retire and why do you want to keep going, bro? I'm curious. I know you have
So
kids,
different, bro. So different.
And that's the best part, bro. This is what
Okay,
people want.
okay. Let me tell you guys why.
We're already, hold on. Our guy told us we're about, 2.5 hours in? I didn't even feel it, bro, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
neither do I.
So, if you guys are good with it.
I'll say
Okay,
it. So, I love PHP to death. I love the insurance industry. I love mentorship.
Of course.
But look, man, don't think this is an out. When somebody asked me, what does your ideal life look like? And guys, I'm gonna tell you guys this straight up. I'm so ambitious and I'm so driven and I'm such a hog that I can't control myself. And I know that if I don't put an end date to myself, I'll never stop. And I told myself that I was gonna give PHP 10 years and then that I was gonna dedicate my life to God. Yeah. So what I mean by dedicate my life to God, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm gonna go be a pastor. No. It means that I want to move to Mexico. I want to move maybe to somewhere. I'm gonna move to Mexico somewhere. I'm going to have a franchise of like small, like little restaurants, of like something easy, not like fast. And I don't want to say it because I don't be able to steal my idea yet. And because it's gonna be sick. Was you here with my idea of Mexico, bro? It's gonna be still like, dude, nobody. Like, why didn't we think about that? I'm telling you. So anyway, so I told myself, I said, look, man, I can't sacrifice for my kids anymore. I want my kids to see me preach. I want them to see me serve Jehovah. I want to show that my number one priority was not just making money, but was to put spiritual things first. I want my kids to see that, but at the same time, I want to also show them work ethic and I also want to have a business. But PHP is, I'm so driven because there's so many new people coming in that my desire is to help them and train them, but it takes a lot of energy and effort and sacrifice to develop people. And I know that I won't stop. And if I keep getting new people, I'm not ever gonna stop. So I tell myself, look, by October 2025, I'm done developing new people. I'm still gonna probably be in the top, overseeing everything, but I'm retiring from developing new agents. I'm retiring completely from. I'm still gonna keep selling insurance, but I can't keep doing it. And I know I'm gonna take a pay cut because I'm a
team leader role, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take that down now, and I'm just gonna focus on my top tier guys. But look, if I retire today, I'll be honest with you. If I retire today, I never step back a foot in the business again, never. And I never look back at insurance. Carnal, how much would the business pay me monthly or annually? Lowball it, please lowball it.
The first year it'll probably pay you about $350,000.
If I never step back into insurance.
Well, that's just the first year because it's not going to stop scaling. Within the second year, probably be about $500,000 passively with not putting a zero investment or time into it. And eventually, what I'm taking a guess of numbers and statistics. Within 5 to 6 years, it'll be $1 million a year without ever touching insurance again.
And would you say that would make you happy right there?
The thing is this, bro. I want to go to Puerto Vallarta, be there for a week, and then I'm like the beliefs I have as a Jehovah's Witnesses, man, straight up. And these guys preach, and so I do believe that that's my responsibility as a Christian to go preach. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be a pastor, but go preach. Introduce people to God. If I can introduce people to insurance and develop people, I'm like, well, what if I can bring them spiritual connection with God? A lot of people are just lost. You get me? So for me, it's like, I want to go to Puerto Vallarta, travel, enjoy, and preach there, whatever congregation is there, and then go back to my hometown, and then get to work, run the restaurant, whatever. Then probably about a month later, go to Huatulco, and then wherever we're at for a week, still preach, but still go visit on vacation. So I want to be doing that. I want to be involved with my kids. I want that. I heard this from Tom Hopkins, who was in real estate. He sold 365 homes in 1 year. He says, I worked every single day for 3 years straight. And I asked him, Tom Hopkins, I said, should I work do you suggest the same for me? He's like, look, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I will tell you that you have to have a lot of unbalance to have balance in the future. I have had a lot of unbalance for the last 10 years, working 16, 20 hours a day, right? Sleeping 4, 5, 3 hours a day. I've had so much imbalance now that I've put myself in a position now where I can retire. But I choose not to yet because I still have an obligation to still help my people develop. I made promises to my people. If it wasn't for those promises, I probably would have already stepped away. Not because my 10 year is already coming up. Okay. So for me, it's like, but if I don't stop, bro, if I don't stop, I'll go make you 10, 15, $20 million a year. See, my brother, guys, if my brother doesn't stop, by the next 10 years, he's making $20 million a year. If my brother doesn't stop. he'll be making $20 million a year, bro. I'm telling you. Like, if not more, just in the insurance business, not including the other.
The way that you believe in it is everything, bro. Because the fact that you know what the capability is of you being able to stick around and actually.
If I don't stop, bro.
Because there's people already doing that.
Right.
There's people in our industry that are making, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50 million a year. I mean, it's not like people are doing it.
Abnormal.
We have our Manny Koshpins too.
Yeah. Okay.
We have our Grant Cardones. They're just not as public as these guys, but we have plenty of them. Yeah. Of course.
So that's why I got to step away, bro, because if I don't put a stop to it, I won't ever stop. So I had to put an end, because if I retire today, bro, I'm still making $350,000 a year. I don't ever have to turn back to insurance again. Bro, I can close the door right now and just hang up my blazers and say my jersey's done. I'll still make $350,000 a year right now. So my thing is, like, the only reason that I'm not going to yet is because of promises I made to my team. But guys, I'm more committed to Jehovah, to God now. I've already had a lot of imbalance, now have balance, bro. And this is what I've been fighting for. Yeah. I never got into the insurance industry. This is one thing I promised. I never got into the insurance industry to just make money. I got into the industry because I wanted to help people become successful. And I said, I'm not leaving this industry until people make millions of dollars. And now that my brother did it, now that my people are doing it, and they're getting close to that $1 million mark, that's why I'm not done. But I'm telling you, bro, my promise was, you have to remember, but when I got started, it was a 600 square foot office. I was recording all kinds of people making promises that one day we're gonna be rich, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have houses, we're gonna have this. I'm casting a vision, bro, for years, and everybody's destroying. I'm on memes making fun of me on Facebook. People are making Instagram pages of my company. Imagine, bro, people were trolling me, making fun of me, going after me, making fun of my wife for working at Fast Trip when she was a gas station, making fun of my car, the way we dress. I mean, they were talking so much crap for 10 years for me, talking so much crap that in my head I said, watch, you're gonna know me.
You know what's funny, bro?
Know me, bro.
I used to work with your wife at Family Motors.
Yeah.
She used to be the receptionist in the front. I was washing cars at the time, bro. So I kind of want to get into that right now real quick, now that we're kind of like touching up on that subject. Obviously, your wife, is she in the business?
No.
Okay, your wife is in the business. Let me ask you this. Obviously, bro, you're like one of the main guys, which, again, mad respect to you, bro. But I've seen your wife, and I've seen like her page, and I've seen kind of like what she does. She's a boss lady, bro. She reminds me a lot of my wife, bro, Marisol.
Boss, bro.
How do you correlate with that, bro? And how's your relationship? I mean, obviously, I know she's your soulmate, bro. My wife is my soulmate. I got mad respect for her, bro. When I met her, she was a fucking waitress at Red Pepper, bro. And then seeing her to where she's at right now, bro, it's like the best feeling in the world. You know what I mean?
There's no price.
So obviously, I'm assuming you brought your wife in.
Yeah.
But right now that your wife is a boss, how's your guys' relationship? Do you guys ever bump heads? Cause bro, honestly, bro, when a girl makes money, bro, and they're independent, they got their shit, bro. They don't need a man. You know what I mean? It's like.
Let me tell you why. Erica, it's so funny, bro. When we're at home, Erica is my wife.
Of course.
Not my business partner.
Of course.
Okay. The second those back wheels hit the pavement from our house, she's a businesswoman. So she knows how to go in and out of her roles really, really fast. Like she switches. So because she's traditional too. She's a traditional woman. She was raised in a traditional family where you respect the husband. But my in-laws I couldn't have asked for better in-laws. My in-law, my suegro is a phenomenal person. So is my mother-in-law. My suegro's always been an example of a provider, a good gentleman. He knows my father-in-law. And he's a good, gentle, but strong man at the same time. That's what she saw. Yeah. So to her, the man can be strong, provider, the authority in the house, but still be loving.
Of course.
So, because by the way, that's what true masculinity is.
Right.
I'm the head of my house.
Of course.
But the head of my house doesn't give me the right to be a dick, to be arrogant, to be verbally abusive. The head of my house means I'm nurturing, I'm loving, I'm attentive, but I'm assertive and powerful at the same time. Yeah. So I don't impose my manhood on her. Of course. Right? So she's a boss, but she's a wife too. Of course. And so that's why it's so funny if you watch Fresh and Fit podcast, they talk about shit like that.
Yeah.
He talks, I don't know if you guys ever watched Fresh and Fit.
I haven't, bro.
You guys gotta watch Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit, and he says the reason, because of girls, he gets a bunch of girls on the panel.
Oh, that's right, Fresh and Fit.
And I'm a boss babe. I make 7 figures. Men don't get attracted to that.
No, they don't.
Absolutely, we don't give a shit about how much money you make.
Fuck about
we don't care how much money
that's
you
your
make.
money, bro.
We don't care how much. We don't. That's not what we're looking for.
We can make our own money.
We don't need you. Yeah. So a lot of women, I'm a boss babe. That's good, bro. Go be with the beta. Be with the little bitch. That's not us, right? Yeah. You'll attract a little bitch like that.
Yeah.
Because you want to be the boss babe. Yeah. And by the way, I don't know why a woman would want to take that role.
Yeah.
I would, if I'm a woman, I want to sit back. Hey, bro, you take the role.
It's hard. I'll make my money, but you take it.
It's the way that society has raised these fucking men to be, and of course, obviously, the women, they're teaching women to have their men be submissive to them. And
so let me ask you guys this, and I guess where I was going, my bad, bro. Yeah. Where I was going is like, what do you guys think about women that want equality, bro? They're like, no, I'm equal to my man.
No. But the thing is, here's the thing, though. I don't want. No, we're not equal. Let me tell you why. I can't give birth to another human.
Oh, dude.
I can't give birth to another human. I'll never be your equal. I can never be soft like that. I can't. So it's like we're not equal, and we're not supposed to be equal.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's equality.
Not a competition,
it's not a competition. Like there's no. My role is to protect, provide, and take care of. Your role is to nurture, take care of the family. Men buy the house. Women make it a home.
Yeah. Right.
It's a fucking teamwork. Yeah, bro. It's not equality. I can never give birth. Do you realize if all the women were to disappear right now, we're fucked?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What's equal about that? What's equal about that?
Yeah.
Humanity dies without them. What's equal about that? Is that fair? No. Is that equal? No. Bro, it's bullshit.
You mind if I step in?
No, of course.
So look, guys, my perspective is so different than my brother's. Let me tell you why. See, when you see these older men que eran bien machistas in the beginning, bien machistas, I talked about this in another podcast, bien machistas, yo soy el hombre, when they're young, then they get older, their health starts to decrease, they start going to the doctor, they don't know their health insurance number, they don't know who their doctor was, they don't know where the clinic is at, guess who knows all that?
The wife.
The wife. So then the wife shows up to the clinic, she takes the husband's like another kid. He's like, ¿qué dijo? ¿Cómo lo hizo? No, I got it, don't worry. So guess what happens? The man starts to become very dependent on the woman. And then as they get older, the woman starts really becoming more taking roles in the house, and the head is kind of like more submissive over the years. Watch it happen. Yeah. Facts. So I saw that early on. I said, well, if eventually the man becomes beta, not 100%, but the wife becomes a little bit like because remember, as we get older, we work less, we're more at home. Remember, that was been their business. Yeah. So now we're walking into their system. The way they wire things. Right. It's like when we walk into the office, bro, I can't tell you how to run your office. This is your office because you know your office. You can't tell me how to run my office. So imagine when we now go to the house. Like for example, my wife is 5'1". I'm 6'1". When I get home, by the way, I bring down that aggression because I'm like a switch, bro. When I'm with the client, I'm soft, bro, because I'm like, I don't want them to feel like a threat because I'm like, no, I'm here to help. Yeah. But when I go business, bro, this monster comes out. I can't control it. Like you'll see me slam my hand. There's a switch. But when I get home, there's another switch. See, when I walk home, bro, when I get home, I love my wife to death, bro. Of course. I love affection. For me, when I get home, bro, I already deal with a lot of crap, man. So when I get home, I just want her to hug me, bro.
You want love, bro. You want love, yeah.
I just want to hug. I just want, I want to be nurtured. And then I get home, and she's like, baby, the food's almost ready. And I sit down, bro, and there's like garden, there's food. And I'm like, cool. And then the house is smelling good. The kids are happy, bro. She's like, oh, I had a stressful day with the kids, but I got under control. Then it's like, hey, babe. And then I had a stressful day, and I'm like, okay, well, now the kids are asleep. Let's go up and have sex, right? So let's go upstairs and have sex. So I worked my ass off when I was a kid. I wanted to dress my wife. It wasn't because I wanted to impress my homeboys. I wanted to impress the girls. When we were in high school, we bought a car. It wasn't until I can drive my homeboys around. I was like, dude, so I can get laid with the girl in the car.
Of course.
Right? I never had a car in high school, but I'm assuming.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Like we go to the gym because we want to look for a wife. So literally, if you think about us men, we've catered all of our life for these women approval.
Of course.
Like everything's been for the woman's approval. For them now to say, we don't need a man. It's like, dude, why would you literally live for you guys? At this point, you know who's my inspiration? My kids are taken care of. Our parents are taken care of. My brother's good. My agents are making money. Who do you think is my inspiration now? I want to make sure I just impress my wife every day. So when I get home, imagine, why is the house like this? None of this. With the ugly attitude, bro. Now, guess what? She's not giving me the love I want. There's no respect as much now. She's mad. She's in a bad mood. I'm going to eat some food that she probably didn't even do with love. then she's definitely not gonna give me sex.
Yeah.
So it's like, I did all of this to come home. Yo soy machista, so no, bro. As soon as I get home, hey, babe, the shoes go where she wants them to go. I hang up my clothes like she wants me to hang them up. I probably don't do dishes. I don't probably clean around. I'm not right.
Yeah.
I don't do dishes.
I can't remember the last time I washed the dish,
I don't wash dishes, bro. I'm not. People are like, "Hey, machista, you can help every once." I'm like, yes, I can. I'm also a high caliber man, and my brain is going a thousand miles. I can't sit there and wash a dish, bro. I'm sorry. It's just like, I have a dishwasher. I have you, my love. So it's like, so I play my role. But at home, I always say this jokingly, but I'm not joking. At home, she's the boss. Yeah. But the moment I close that door and I walk out, she knows who's the boss. And she respects me. One day, last week, I was performing like crazy. And you know my wife said in a group text with brokers? And all my brokers said, good job, good job. You know what my wife said? She goes, see guys, when your king is at peace and his mind is clear and you pour belief into your king, he executes. That was a text message my wife said. And my wife never jumps into the group chat. You know, she's at home with the kids, but she said that. And I got emotional saying like, yeah, baby, you're right. Thank you for being my peace. And so a lot of us don't know how to appreciate, like the first years of my marriage, I didn't know how to appreciate a wife like that. And as I'm getting older now and there's other women that are attractive and I'm like, you're sexy, you're beautiful, but you know, I can respect you. You're beautiful, but I have no desire wanting to be with you. Of course. I don't even want to be intimate with you because of the simple fact that, dude, like I can't disrespect my wife like that anymore, ever.
There's a lot more to it.
There's more to it, bro. Absolutely. 100%.
Bro,
more than beauty, more than looks, more than, bro, it's a piece, man.
Like, I don't care how, like, even if you think we're attracted to you, I'm telling you, we don't want to be with you. We want to be with our wives. Of course. I want to come to Yanaeli, bro. You know, I love her. I tell her every day, like, baby, I tell her every day, I love you so freaking much. Because I kill myself for my wife, bro. Like, my kids are eventually grow up, get married, do their thing. They're not gonna go watch movies with me. They're not gonna be holding my hand, going on dates with me. My kids are gonna grow up and do their own life, bro. So the person who I'm investing everything, giving everything to is my wife, because when she's 45 years old, and I know she's gonna be looking hella fine because she's my wife, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But you can see a man's wife when the man that builds up his wife, you can see him glow. Look, go with your homeboys. Go look at their wives, bro. When they're not glowing, I'll tell you what type of man they have at home. Yep. When the doors are closed, bro, nobody's watching. That woman's not glowing. I promise you, that man is not as good a man as you think. Yeah. Because it's a reflection. The wife is a reflection of the man. Like, look at your lady, bro. Look at your Erica. My wife's not in business, but my wife is an amazing wife, bro. Yeah. And I know she glows. All these guys other guys in their inbox. You know what? I like messing around. I tell the guys, like, look, fool. When guys are like disrespectful as hell on Instagram, like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm like, idiot. When by the way, ladies and men, when you send me an Instagram message, my wife sees it because she's connected.
Of course.
Right? So I'm like, just letting you guys know, man. So, like, I tell you, if you send me a Facebook message, my wife gonna see it, ladies, right? So what I'm getting at is this, very, very simple. When I see these guys message my wife, because I see it too, I laugh. I'm like, these fools cannot even afford her, first of all. I'm like, but I say, look, I tell them two things, messing around. I said, first of all, two. One, I said, I'm 6'1", and I'm most likely gonna whoop your ass. I said, and two, if she also costs 10 grand a month. So one, if you can whoop my ass, and two, if you can afford, she costs about 10 grand a month. If you can do those two, by all means, man, you can keep her. Yeah. But I know that men are not gonna do what the caliber that we do. Because bro, they're not gonna do, like, we've already saw that of 100 men, we're the 1%. Yeah. We're the 1% economically. It takes mindset, guts, discipline, every ounce to be the 1%. Right? We're the 1%ers. So 99% of the men out there are not gonna love, cherish our wives, and protect them the way we are. Yeah. So I'm not saying because of the money, it's because of her mindset. So for me, it's like, I know that I'm giving my best to my wife, and guess what she does in return? She's a 1%er as a wife as well. Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, but once you walk in, just so back, you know, in a nutshell, once me and Erica walk into the house, bro, it's done. Shut off. You know, doesn't mean we're not dealing with business.
Yeah, of course.
But we're not. No, because
see,
you have
the thing,
to,
bro. Because when you're in the same business, it's like
no, you're dealing with business.
It's kind of hard to turn that shit off, bro. You come into the house.
Well. Let me explain to you what I mean. The way we interact with each other can be turned off. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you turn off everything else going on. Of course. So they're two different switches, right? So when we walk in the house, we turn off in the office, babe, this needs to get done. You know, you're gonna take care of it, I'm gonna take care of it. Right? Okay, well, no, I'll take care of it. Hey, babe, we gotta do this conference call. Hey, babe, I need you to call so-and-so. Hey, this client, hey, this broker, okay, that's the conversations in the office.
Yeah.
Once we get home, that shuts down. Yeah. So maybe she's taking her individual call with an individual broker of ours that needs help with something, and I'm taking my individual call, but the interaction between us changes now.
In what sense though? Like for the audience.
So in the like I said, in the office, I walk into office. Hey babe, so and so we got this event coming up. We need trainers. Who's gonna train? Right? This client. What's going on with this annuity? We got going on. What's going on with this IUL? Okay, babe, I'm on it. Let me go talk to the girls. Let me get you that answer. Right? So the business interaction of the transactions of dealing with our teams. Yeah. Hey, so and so just called me. He's having issues with this. Can you help him out? Yeah, I'll give him a call. Hey, babe, this is going on with this guy. Can you give him a call? Yeah, I'll give him a call right now. Give me that interaction.
Yeah.
Of business interactions, of how we deal with each other, right? Well, because her office is next to mine, so when I walk into her office, it's like, oh, hey, baby, right? No, it's, hey, babe, this needs to get take care of. You want me to take care of you? Or you got it? You want me to do it? Yeah. Okay, hey, what about this office? We got to train. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got a million things we got to do. We have a conference call. We have a VP call. We have a broker call. You want to address? What issues do you want to address? This and that. When we get home, it's, babe, what do you want to eat? My wife likes to cook. She loves to cook. I wanna, I don't know, babe, whatever you wanna. Okay, cool, sounds good. Then at that point, we're no longer talking about business. Yeah. It's now, if I get a phone call for business, then I'm dealing with that call right there with me right here. Of course. And if sometimes she gets hers too, and she's dealing with it, but it doesn't involve both of us anymore.
What's your tonality, bro, with each other?
No, it's like we're like little kids. We're like children.
I'm gonna validate something for my brother. My brother's a big guy, right? He's a strong guy.
Of course.
Bro, I see the way they are in the office. It's like cold, not cold, but like business, straight business.
No, yeah, and you know what? Me and my girl the same fucking way, bro. We're the same way. But when we get to the house, bro, I love my girl. She's independent, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, bro. Like, bro, she's a boss. You know what I mean? But when we get to the house, she's submissive. She knows, bro. She knows. You know what I mean? And
look. And here's the thing. Here's the one thing that all you fucking modern feminists with all your little bullshit, you're never gonna understand this, so you'll never be happy. And this is, I'm not even talking to you. If you're one of those, I'll never submit to a man. First of all, the man needs to be earned to be submitted to.
Thank you.
Okay? The man needs to earn that. But if you're one of those, I'll never do that, you're never going to be happy. You'll be miserable living with 50 fucking cats when you're 90 years old. Okay? Let's make that clear.
I sold houses with condos that have 50 cats, by the way.
Right, yes. Women. So you know because you've seen it. But now, you want to be successful and you want to be happy? Understand that God gave us our roles.
Of course.
When you could take in the spirituality of what God meant you to do, He blesses the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So when we get home, hey, I'm the man. She's a attentive, nurturing wife, because that's the roles that God gave us.
It doesn't make one less than another, bro. It's just roles.
By the way, you know who at the house takes care of washing the cars?
No.
Who do you think? I do. When we need to do an oil change on the cars, who takes care of it? I do. Whenever something breaks down, who do you think is taking care of it? I am. That's my fucking role. Right? My wife doesn't even know what
somebody breaks in.
She doesn't. It's me.
We had this conversation with our girls. We were having a faded conversation.
A conversation?
A faded conversation. We were drunk.
Oh, faded conversation.
So she was all like, we were like, if somebody breaks in, who are you gonna call? She goes, I'll hire someone. Motherfucker, who you gonna hire? A man, bro. You're gonna hire a fucking man, regardless of the fucking fact. You need a man in your life.
I can't do this whole. I'm sorry, bro. I'm telling you right now, and they've already done a study on this. I don't give a shit what Instagram tells you and Kim Kardashian tells you and all these fucking The View. I don't give a shit. They've already done scientific, psychological studies on this. The women that want to take on I'm independent, I don't fucking need a man, they're the most miserable.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree. I 100% agree.
Because you are going against,
100%
you're going against God's given roles.
Bro, it's in the Bible, dog.
It's in the Bible. So it's like, but again, what does the Bible teach men? Be loving, take care of her, help her grow, respect her, right? Love her, honor her. So a lot of women, they don't deal with men that understand that.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be submissive because they've been with a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah. Little kids, bro.
Yeah, it's what it comes down to. But when you can meet a man that's in his masculinity, strong, successful, determined, and that man, if he's in God's lineage, in God's way of thinking, he's also going to be loving, nurturing, take care of you, protective, kind, comprehensive, and patient.
I don't think a lot of people realize how powerful that is, bro. Like, a man has to be a fucking man, bro. Like. A woman is not gonna be submissive to any motherfucker out there, bro.
You have to earn that.
You have to earn it, bro.
You have to earn it.
Especially, bro, like, look, Erica's a boss, right? Marisol's a boss. Do you think they're gonna be submissive to just anybody?
No, hell no.
Fuck no, bro.
Especially not them.
It's just like the way that you said it.
No.
You need to have a certain standard for you to even try to fuck with my wife.
You have to earn the
Exactly,
You have to
exactly.
earn it. Yeah,
Bro, you have to be at a
earn.
fucking certain level for you to even talk to my girl.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
First you gotta go through me physically, and then you gotta go through my money. Like, what else more of a man do you want me to be? Does that make sense? And then, so the thing for me is like this, bro. When I get home, Ricky knows, in front of all my agents, Yanana's not my business partner. She's my wife. So when she calls me in front of all my agents, hey, baby, I could be like this, literally, bro, intense in the conversation right now. Then my wife, like, as you guys saw me, and then my wife, I see the ringing phone. You know what I tell my clients? I say this by the way, for people in sales, this is gonna work for you. I'm in front of a client, and I tell them this, look, during this presentation, during the time I'm talking to you, I'm not gonna answer a single phone call because I'm gonna respect you guys' time. However, the only person I will answer if it's my wife calling me.
Of course.
I said, because one, she's the boss, and two, I'm scared of her. I'm like, just kidding. But like, this is my wife, and I love her.
Kidding, but not kidding.
Like, and guess what the man's saying? Oh, he's already been married for 10 years. Like, yeah, ves? He's like, no, respect. So then my wife calls. I'm like, hey, baby, that one is mi esposa. And it's my wife, right? You have no idea how much respect I get from the clients. One. Two, I'm in front of agents having an aggressive conversation. My wife is calling me. I'm like, hey, baby, I'm with clients. I'll call you right back, my love. Is that okay with you, babe? Yeah, that's fine, baby. Okay, is it urgent? No, it's okay. All right, baby, love you, okay? Bye, princess. I hang up. All right, what was I saying? Because see, it doesn't matter how much of a boss I am at home, bro. I have to be soft. I have to watch my tonality.
That's real masculinity.
Of course, absolutely.
That's real
Because the Bible
masculinity.
says that a woman needs to be deeply loved. No, it needs to be loved deeply. But a man needs to be deeply respected.
Absolutely,
Now,
bro.
what's deep? There's wells that we worked on that are 15,000 feet deep. Like where the submarine went down for Titanic, that's 13,000 feet deep. Think about that. There's wells that deep, okay? So when the Bible says a man needs to be deeply respected, how much is respect to us? It's our
everything,
world.
bro. It's everything.
So when a woman's
It's
like, I don't need you,
everything,
I don't
bro.
need this, I don't that. Even when my wife, like there's times when my wife, not really, because she was raised by she has 6 sisters. Yeah. You know, there's no boys in her family besides the dad. So sometimes she'll like overtalk me, like, or challenge me in front of people, and I'll look at her and I said, okay. Now why? Because she disrespected me. And now she already saw me in my tonality, my body language. Guess what happened? I felt disrespected.
It changes, bro.
I don't
Of
care if
course.
she's my wife now. You disrespected me.
Of course.
So now I'm like, I'm infuriated. Right. So look what happens now. Then we get home. And I'm like, my nature is like, what the hell's wrong with you? My nature. But now as a man, am I gonna have to push my weight on her? I can't, because that's not respect.
Of course.
She disrespected me, hypothetically. And I'm like, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and I'm trying to do everything in my power to keep it together. I said, but I really would like to understand what made you think it was okay to speak to me like that in front of everybody? Now, remember, I'm infuriated, but I have to what? Keep myself under emotional
tonality,
control. Tonality is
emotional
like,
control,
look, I didn't mean to disrespect. And we have one rule with my wife. You know what the rule is? The moment she says I'm sorry, or the moment I say I'm sorry, we have to drop the subject. Of course. So she's like, look, babe, I'm so sorry. I thought it just blurred out. I shouldn't have done that. I just want to apologize. I said, okay. I said, baby, I love you. Please don't do that to me again. She's like, no, baby, I realize that. Okay, perfect, no problem. What are we gonna eat now? I have to be that person at home, bro, because if now I lose it as well, she's not gonna respect me, ever. So I need that respect because I live off of that, and she lives off of the love. That's why I gotta be even careful on how I treat her at home, because I have to be very loving.
I got you.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy, bro. And it's real shit, because at the end of the day, you got to make sure that, you know, both of you guys are happy, because obviously that's going to affect your performance at your job, right? It just always works out like that.
You want to be
Drop
right?
that that whole machismo crap and be a masculine man, but drop that machismo. Where's my drink? Right. You know, that Proverbs 31 is crazy for all the men out there that need to learn how to find a wife. I had to be on the phone yesterday with one guy. You guys know King Solomon, right? King Solomon was the wealthiest man ever existed. They say if he existed today, like he was the wealthiest man ever existed because God was blessed him. And God asked him, he's like, hey, what do you want? I'll give you whatever you want, because he saw favor in his eyes. That's King Solomon's, King David's son. He says, give me wisdom. So King Solomon was like, give me wisdom. So much wisdom that this guy acquired so much wealth that he wrote all of Proverbs. And then Proverbs 31 is a queen instructing her son. I'm assuming that dad died. The king died, assuming her son, who's a king, on how to choose a wife. Do you know that it talks about that she's an entrepreneur? That she's a hard worker? That she wakes up early? That she works out? Like, read all the Proverbs, guys. If you want to find a wife, go read Proverbs. And you know what's crazy as well when I read Proverbs as well, guys? And the second verse it says, it's not for kings, it's not for kings to give their vigor to a woman. Yeah. To not give their vigor. What's vigor? Vigor is strength. And then it defines the word. stamina, strength, health, power. It says, do not give your power to a woman, nor is not for ways, it also says, it's not for kings to say, where's my drink? Because those are ways that destroy kings. Yeah. So what is it saying? It's saying, hey, don't give your power to a woman, but also it's not for kings to say, where's my drink? Yeah. That's the machismo. That's a perfect balance of saying, hey, look, you can keep your strength without having to be a what? Machista. Yeah. Facts. That's what the Bible says.
We're going to do a part 2, but I'm going to get into the immigration part right now just because I want to kind of touch up on the subject before we end it off. It's been dope, by the way. I had a really good time with these guys so far. But let's talk about Florida. Let's talk about the immigration. Obviously, one of the reasons why I brought you guys along to is because we're raza, right? You know, and I told you over the phone, you know, I truly admire you guys for the fact that you guys came up regardless of the industry that you guys are in, regardless of the industry that we're in. The work ethic has been the same. And to be honest with you guys, there's a lot of people out there in Florida, bro, that are fucking working their asses off. You know what I mean? And I know that right now they just passed this bill, 1718, right? SB 1718. And there's a lot of people right now that are hurting from that bill. What are your guys' thoughts? What are your perspective on that? And basically, what do you guys have to say about what's going on in Florida right now? Like, just to kind of pick up off of that, and then we'll kind of dive into that topic, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
I'm a conservative Republican.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not a Democrat?
No.
So you're not you're a Republican. All right.
No.
Power to the people.
By the way, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not nothing.
No,
right?
no.
But my brother,
I would never.
Straight Republican. Okay.
The Democrat Party is the devil. Is the devil's party. Okay.
All right.
They're pro-abortion. Okay. I believe in God. I believe in life.
Absolutely.
They're pro-propaganda. Okay. Indoctrinating children. This is all the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's go back into their history. What party owned the slaves?
Democratic Party.
What party was formed to get rid of slave owners?
Democratic Party.
No, to get rid of them.
Oh, to get a Republican.
The Republican Party. Okay. What people say, the party switched sides. There's no proven fact. Okay. What the fuck happened? They just woke up one day. Hey, we're gonna be Democrat now, and you're gonna be Republican. I'm gonna be Democrat. Yeah. So they fought a war, and then they switched sides because that's a theory that some of these, you know, little liberal idiots that are probably going to be watching this will say they switch sides. Why? Because your stupid ass liberal college professor told you that. Yeah. The parties never switch sides. There's no proven fact to prove that. Okay, there's nothing ever to prove that the parties switch sides. Okay, yeah. It's a very common thing in colleges, and there's no proof for it. Okay, but I guess if you, what does Hitler say when he was convincing people to kill the Jews? Say the lie, repeat the lie, they'll believe the lie. That's the way Hitler convinced people. Say the lie, repeat the lie, they'll believe the lie. So if you keep being told every single day by your stupid ass liberal professor that the party switched sides, you hear that for 40 years, you're going to believe it. But there's no proof for it. Okay? All right. But let's go into the 1900s. What party was known, and it was documented known, to support the KKK?
Republic?
No. The Democrat Party.
The Democrat Party. Yeah.
What party supported Jim Crow laws?
The Democrat
Party.
The
Democrat Party.
Yeah.
What party fought to keep segregation?
Democrat Party.
The Democrat Party. Mm-hmm. This is in our era. Okay? Okay. That's the Democrat Party for you. By the way, Malcolm X, they interviewed Malcolm X. And he said, what's the difference between liberal? He says, be careful with liberals.
Yeah.
And because they're sheep's and wolf's clothing. They're pretending to be your friend. But they're really there to deceive you. Now, why are so many people voting Democrat or voting for Democrats? Very simple. People are easily brainwashed. Say the lie, repeat the lie, they'll believe the lie. Yeah. So they've always said the Republican Party is the racist party. Ironically, it's the one that's been fighting racism. During the civil rights, the ones that fought to keep segregation were the Democrats. During the time that our grandparents and parents were alive, our grandparents were alive, during our lifetime. Because people, when we go back to slavery, the parties switched sides. Even if that was true, then why the fuck in our generation did they still fight to keep segregation? Okay. Yeah. LBJ, when JFK was murdered, Lyndon Johnson said, I'm going to have these ants voting Democrat for 200 years. So what happened is that when the TVs came in, and it started becoming a global thing, the world was frowning upon racism in America. So the Democrat Party had to switch. It was no longer cool to be racist. Now they needed to switch the message because the world was watching.
Of course, perspective.
Yes. Yeah. So now they switched. So Lyndon Johnson, the Great Society Act, which made single mothers marry the system.
Yeah.
So now you have, by the way, the single motherhood in the 1940s and 50s for the blacks, single motherhood was only 20%. Yeah. Now it's 85%. Yeah. If you take the men out of the household, you control the families.
Of course.
Who created that? The Democrat Party.
Democrat.
Okay? Now, when you start to understand these concepts, like for example, CNN, the head of CNN hated Trump. And it was, you can look all this shit up and you can see the video where he says they're intentionally going to go after Trump. So you start believing all these lies. Univision, by the way, fuck Jorge Ramos, okay? And by the way, do you know who his daughter?
No, I know
Paola, but you know his daughter's name is Paola Ramos. Do you know whose campaign she was on during the 2016 election?
Who's?
Hillary Clinton. She's a Democrat.
Democrat.
So Hillary Clinton, if she would have won the position, Paola Ramos would have had a high position within the White House. She was in the campaign. So that's why Jorge Ramos was also bashing on Trump, because he wanted Hillary to win because his daughter was going to get into politics. Yeah. If his daughter gets into the White House, who has more access to the White House? Yeah. Jorge Ramos does. Okay? There's a lot of shit that people don't know. There's a lot of shit that people don't know.
My dad hated Trump without even knowing all these facts.
By the way, you know what party's the party the most immigrants in American history? The Democrat Party. You know what president did it? Barack Obama. 3 million immigrants were deported by Barack Obama. Do you know who created the cages in 2014? Barack Obama did. Okay? So I can do this all day, bro. Yeah. By the way, this is not CNN and Fox. For all you idiots that don't know, there's something called C-SPAN, where you can actually look at Congress go back and forth live, uninterrupted. They're live recordings. People, oh, you watch CNN, you watch Fox. If you watch either or, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. Okay? It's called C-SPAN on YouTube, and you can actually watch Congress go back and forth.
YouTube University, baby.
You know, and as a matter of fact, let me just, and I'm gonna answer your question. I have to do all this in order to answer your question. Okay, I have to do.
No, go for it, bro.
But in order to answer your question, so watch what my last video was. Watch what was my last video.
Senator Hawley, you're recognized for your questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to the witnesses.
That was my last video on my YouTube.
Director Ray, let me
you can watch Congress go back on this shit.
Put the link to this video.
You can go watch. You can go watch this shit. I don't need CNN. This is Congress questioning the FBI on why they were interfering with Trump's campaign in 2016. They already have the documents to show that they were doing a propaganda.
So let me ask you this.
So watch this. Ready? Let me finish with this one. I'll let you continue. Do you know the whole Russia thing?
Yeah.
Do you know who paid to fund that?
Who?
Hillary Clinton. They already proved it. And by the way, you know who was ended up being colluded with Russia?
Who?
Hillary Clinton. Why? Because Putin knew that if Trump got in office, he was not going to allow him to take over Ukraine. Biden becomes president, who takes over Ukraine? Russia didn't want Trump in office. They wanted Democrats in office because they could get away with whatever. How do we know this? Because in Russia and in China, Hunter Biden, which they already indicted with federal charges, literally already got convicted, was in bed with companies inside of Russia, and he sat at the board of directors. They already have proof through LLCs that Hunter Biden was getting paid from Russian and Chinese companies. So guess what? When your son is the head of the director of those companies in Russia and China, the presidents are also your friends. So you're going to let them do whatever hey, here's some money, and you do whatever the fuck you want. There's already documents to prove all this. This is not a conspiracy theory.
No, for sure. Sure.
So now let me go back to answer your question. Oh, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
No. Finish.
Florida. Listen. Why am I conservative Republican? The Conservative Party, Republican Party believes in God. It's pro-life, not pro-choice. Yeah. Okay? No, it's not your body. Okay? No, you don't get to kill somebody else just because you're inconvenience to your life. Okay? Yeah. Okay. By the way, what does the Bible say? I knew you before you were born. Well, the body starts at 6, the heartbeat starts at 6 weeks. No, fuck that. God says that he knew you before you were born. Yeah. Okay? He knew every hair on your head before you were born. Bible says this. Yeah. They believe in country, honor, respect, right? All these. Okay. And ironically, as a criminal, I should be against all of that.
No, yeah.
Okay? As an ex-con. Now, DeSantis, the whole law in Florida, he fucked up. Let me explain to you what I mean.
He's a Republican.
I'm for the border. 100%. Well, how can you be that? Your dad. No. We need laws.
Of course, absolutely.
We need laws, okay? You wouldn't let anybody inside your house, right? Why would we have terrorists coming in through the southern border? They've already caught, you know how many people the FBI has caught that's on the terrorist list through the southern border? They already have 350 people on the terrorist list that has tried to cross the border. Yeah. So we have to secure the border, not because we don't want to let our people in, it's because we need to make sure the people that want to bomb us are not coming in here. Of course. Okay, that's why. Yeah. Now,
Asians are now migrating to borders.
Right. Asians a lot
like,
Chinese.
No kids, just nothing but men.
Nothing but men.
Chinese
war-aged men. Okay? Yeah. So now let's go back, let's go to this Florida thing. Let's go to this Florida thing. DeSantis took it too far. Okay? I love DeSantis. I've been to Florida. How many times I go to Florida a year? 10 times is poquito. I'm in Florida probably every month. Okay? Beautiful. He fucked up. Let me explain to you why. He kicked out he told anybody, if you hire illegal immigrants, we're gonna shut you down.
You're gonna get penalized.
You're gonna get penalized. Mm-hmm. Now, what's gonna happen to the cost of having to hire people with 401ks, benefits, all that shit? What's gonna happen to the cost of living in Florida? Yeah. It's gonna go up, but he was trying to cater to his voters. Well, he fucked up. Here's what I would have done. Listen, are you working in America? Yes. Do you have your I-10? Which means, you know what an I-10 is.
Of course, of course.
Prove to me that you've been paying taxes for 2 years, that you filed taxes with your I-10. You get your residency right now. Stay here, keep the cost of living low, and I'll give you papers right now. I will give you a permit to work in Florida right now. That's what I would have done. Yeah. But this fucking idiot, and I'm a supporter of DeSantis, told everybody, you're all screwed. That was a stupid ass move.
Oh,
they haven't felt it yet.
Absolutely.
They're gonna feel it. They haven't felt it yet. They're gonna feel
the
it.
Farmers are feeling it.
No,
I think they are, bro.
It's the rebellion.
I think they are.
Rebellion.
There's no truckers going to fucking Florida,
forget
bro.
About the rebellion. Forget about the rebellion.
What are you talking about?
Bro, it's the cost of living is gonna skyrocket. So now if you hired somebody at $20 an hour with no benefits, somebody that has papers is gonna want $25 an hour with a 401k, with their breaks, with their pensions and their benefits.
And they'll sue your ass if you don't do it.
Yeah, so that $20 an hour just became $50 an hour. Because if you don't have employees, you don't understand what I'm talking about. Like a $20, if you pay an employee $20 an hour, they don't understand.
It's double that
shit. It's double that.
Yep.
Okay? It's double that. So you just doubled the cost of living. What's going to happen to a $500,000 house? It just went to 1.5 to be able to make. He's going to raise the cost of living, and they're going to feel the effects of it. As of right now, obviously the fields are feeling it, and the constructions are feeling it, but they haven't felt it in their inflation yet. They're going to feel it. They got rid of their cheap labor. And by the way, in the end of the day, you know why America actually loves illegal immigration? It's cheap labor.
Of course.
America loves illegal immigration.
Of course, absolutely.
By the way, on both sides, they want illegal immigration.
Of course.
They want cheap labor. So the reality is that they make you get emotional. Oh, Republicans want a border wall because they're fucking racist, right? Bro, the Democrats want you here because they want to exploit you. Yeah. Because, by the way, who was the last president to give amnesty in 1988? Ronald Reagan. Yeah. He was a Republican, gave amnesty. That's how my grandpa became a citizen, a resident. The last president to ever give amnesty in an 8-year term was Ronald Reagan. If Obama loved all of us, why the fuck didn't he do it?
Yeah.
Why did he do it? He had the House of Representatives and the Senate for 4 years. How come you didn't give amnesty, bro? Because they really don't give a fuck about you. They need. Yes, but the House flipped after the second term, and he can't get his laws pushed. But what ends up happening? He kept DACA going. Why did you keep DACA going, bro? How come you didn't just give amnesty? Because illegal immigration only works because it's illegal. Yep. You can only exploit people that cannot fully take benefit of the rights they have of living in this country.
No tax returns.
By the way, they don't get taxes. They don't get taxes. So what happens? You exploit them. The Democrat Party loves illegal immigration because you can exploit them. It's cheap labor.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro. I'm not a I'm a Jehovah's Witness. That's why I'm not that.
So you're not a Democrat or
I can't.
Republican?
I can't. I'm sorry.
There's a term for that though. What's the term for that?
Independent.
Independent.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, like I said,
So you're a Republican.
Yeah.
I'm a conservative Republican moderate.
So you would consider yourself a conservative Republican. You would consider yourself like
non-binary. Non-binary. He doesn't have any pronouns when it comes out to politics.
Not she, her.
No. He's a they. He has no pronouns. In politics,
I feel the category.
In politics, he's non-binary.
I got you, bro. Hey, respect.
Bro, respect my pronouns.
All political pronouns. He's a they when it comes to political pronouns. He doesn't identify with either pronoun.
Check this out, bro. So look, man. I believe the Bible says the blind will lead the blind. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
I
agree.
believe that's. I have a whole different perspective because of my spiritual concepts, right?
course.
But I will tell you guys this: I'm also not stupid. I also know that when that the news channels they're controlled by what's that one guy? That
George Soros.
George Soros was a Jew who that the Nazis used as a kid to go and tell them find Jews. So they actually turned this Jew into his own people to go and say, hey, I'm a Jew, and then he would go tell them, and then the Nazis would go and kill them. Yeah. And so when the Nazi party was losing everything, they said, well, we could put it in the name under who? A Jew. So George Soros received a lot of the wealth from the Nazis. And so much so that now George Soros controls the media. So when you see a lot of like things on the news and stuff like that, and I'm watching this, I'm 100% aware, doesn't matter what party, Republican or Democrat, I'm aware that these people control the media saying, well, women have to be strong now, and that's gonna mean, and men can be women, and the news protecting other kids' sexuality, like so when I'm seeing all that stuff, it's an agenda, and I'm thinking to myself, well, regardless of what party it is, the question is which one aligns the most with what I believe in. And so for me, it's like I believe in principles and morals, working hard, not taking handouts, and that. So regardless of so I can't say anything, but when I see my brother's perspective, it's like, dude, these people are manipulating. So what happens then is that now that a lot of people are saying, well, look at this idiot, he's Mexican, he's a Republican. So these guys are being attacked for their beliefs. I'm like, but bro, all it is like your mom wants you to work hard. Your traditional parents who jumped the border and came to America, believe it or not, is actually pretty much aligned with a lot of the Republicans, right? And I'm saying them, right? I'm excluding myself. So I'm here just an observant person, and I'm watching. I'm saying, look, man, like my dad hated Trump, and because I'm like, but papi le dije, papá, your dad, usted piensa que nomás porque what they're saying, I'm like, Dad, he's when I'm like, Dad, do you want us to be lazy? He's like, no. Do you believe in business rules? Yeah. Do you believe in abortion? He goes, no. Dad, do you believe? I'm like, look, Dad, that's what I'm saying. Trump is fighting against those things. So you're hating a man because you're watching the news channel. Stop watching the news and believing what you're seeing. So it's the same thing with people. Stop watching all the Instagram motivation. Just because they have a headset on and that little speaker on, it doesn't mean that they actually have their life together. Does that make sense? Like people can just put a portrait on Instagram, social media, on the news.
That's what Instagram is about, bro. It's just portraying what you want.
It's an image.
Right.
But people take it as reality.
So it's just an image, bro. That's it. That's all my perspective on politics like that, bro. That's why I respect my brother on his point of view, because he's gonna say some things that I biblically won't feel like I'm in a position to say, but my brother does. Like I said, we're two different, and I respect the way my brother does.
But I put before, I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother. I put years.
If we don't change the game,
Right,
bro. Hey, look, bro. Look, at the end of the day, bro,
and age, bro.
if it's not men like us leading the way, bro. Like, look, I'm 33 years old.
I'm 28.
28, bro.
25.
He's 34 or 35. So, if there's not men like us, bro, to go out there and kind of shake. Look, I could be aggressive. I could be whatever. You know, there's a lot of things I got to work on myself as well, like anybody else. But I will say one thing, man. My intentions, and I think our intentions overall, is to really help. Like the guys that are out there that have nobody. For me, that's the way I look at life. Like, man, we just gotta be a better example for everybody, man. But at the same time, life is tough. So with this, the last thing I want to tell people is like, look, man, don't be a victim to your circumstances. You can't. Doesn't matter if your mom tells you, hey, you know what, you're so special, but you haven't done anything special. Like, you cannot be a victim of this because nobody will ever win. Like, for example, you'll never win being bitter. You'll never win being a hater. You'll never win being a victim, and you'll never win when you talk crap about people's success. Yeah. So for any people out there, if you want to become successful, I'm gonna say, man, you got to be praising success to attract success. Of course. So, but at the same time, to attract and praise success, you can't be a victim. You cannot fall into the category of like a man shouldn't be a man, like equal rights. You can't, man. You got to stick to what we were designed biblically to do. Yeah. So that's my perspective on that stuff, man.
Damn. Well, you know what? How long are we in this podcast right now? We're about what? 3.5 hours in. How do you guys feel right now, by the way?
I feel good, man.
You guys good? Can you guys keep going?
If you want us to keep going, we'll keep going. I mean, it's
all,
up to you,
all
bro.
I'm gonna say is Patrick but David did a 5-hour podcast with Andrew Tate. I got both of them. I got both right here. So we gotta go.
What's up?
We're back after the break, guys. So we were talking a little bit about the whole Republican Democrat side of things. We were talking about Florida immigration. Actually, we didn't even dive into that topic right now. But so, what's your just to kind of pick up off of that, and then we'll kind of go off of that. What's your perspective on what's going on in Florida right now?
Me?
Both of you guys.
My perspective is this, man. I just think idiots. I think it's idiots with like Ricky said there. He's an idiot. He messed up because, man, I'm sorry to say this. I've worked and I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be prejudiced. Let me be fair. I'm prejudiced to everybody equally. Let me tell you what I mean by prejudice. If you're lazy, I don't care if you're white, black, Indian, Chinese, I don't like you. Yeah. Because I don't appreciate that you don't put effort into things. That makes sense? So I'm gonna tell you something what I've noticed. Yeah. Respect. Not all, because I know a lot of I have some partners that are white that are freaking hard workers, but the moment you grab a different nationality to go do the jobs that our people are used to doing, they move slower, they want more and put in less work. They can't take it. So you grab those those people and you put them into those positions, then you know what happens, bro? I have a guy named, I'm not gonna say his name, he's my friend. He's in wholesale real estate. And he was training some guy, right? The guy is suing him now for $150,000. Now, when I saw the guy, this white boy, guy walked into my office. Remember, my boy looks good. The guy who was training, the white boy, looks like crap. You know, just not cleaned up, hair not clean. I'm like, bro, you're in real estate, act like it, right? Or even if you're in wholesaling, doesn't matter, freaking, you're in business, have some respect. He's trained him for a few months. This guy turns around and says, I'm gonna sue you now. So right now he's fighting a $100,000 lawsuit because that guy says, you maybe put a bunch of work in, you promised me a bunch of things that didn't come through, emotional damage. My boy is barely making $400,000 a year, bro. Yeah. And it's only him making it. So imagine this white boy now is suing him for that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's take out all the paisas that work endless hours, that don't complain, that do this, that make the job work, and then you replace it with a bunch of people who are even pochos, who are no sabo kids, right? You replace them with a bunch of white people, blacks, all these other people. Let's just say that I'm not saying they can't handle the work, but a lot of these people have been programmed to the law says this and the law says that. And you know in business, bro, when your staff sometimes has to work 17 hours with you in one day, right? But you also know when she wants to take a day for herself, we're not giving her crap. Where's the laws in that? So does that make sense? So even us, we have to adjust, bro. You know how it is. Paisas are flexible. Yeah. And then you grab another nationality, you take the role first they can, and then guess what happens if they don't like it? Emotional damage, suing. Imagine right now, I'm gonna tell you guys this, Frank. Some people try to sue me. People that I developed and trained, and my brother. Yeah. I'm like, what? And when you read the paperwork, it's like right now your agent's trying to sue you because you train them too much. Bro,
it's not.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Because
you're not getting sued, you're not doing something right, bro.
Because you train them too much. And then they complain about that we train them too much. Yeah. And I'm like, you're 1099, fool. I'm not supposed to be paying you hourly, right? My point is this. They sue me. You know how much my retainer was to get a good lawyer? Just a retainer.
Like $5,000?
8,000.
Okay, I was close.
And then they wanted me another retainer. You know how much I put down? 4,000. My brother's like, I'm not doing none of that. I'm like, bro, Ricky was different. He was like, screw them. And I was like, bro, I'm going to get my lawyer then. I got a lawyer. And then the judge we went back and forth for about a year. They tried charging me another 4,000. I told her, that's enough. Like, you know what, just get me off, right? So it's funny because it cost me about $12,000. And then guess what happens when the judge finally saw everything, went through everything? You know what the judge did? He said, this is stupid, and dropped the case. Yeah. You know how much it cost me, bro? 12 G's just to defend my rights. And now if I want to go out there, bro, and countersue them, now I have to get another lawyer. Because it cost me another, $4,000 or $5,000. So, and then the energy is going to take, my mindset. You know how much energy it takes when you're trying to do everything, and then you know you have to pay a lot, and then you have to talk to a lawyer. So, bro.
I have an idea.
Bro, that's that cherry on top right there.
On top of all the stress, on top of all the things that we're trying to do, and then you got some crybabies. So think about now all of these white people that they're taught to what? Sue.
That's America for you.
And then you put them in that position to do farm labor work. What do you think they're about to do to all these big companies, bro? Sue them and you think it's just gonna be one? Hell no. They're gonna be getting sued right and left because I'm sorry. These people don't work the same. They're not designed the same. They're not wired the same. They don't have the past trauma like us. There's so much things, bro. So at the end of the day, I feel like Florida is not just going to lose as far as what you're talking about inflation, but they're going to lose on every aspect. You're going to see lawsuits rising like crazy because these white people are going to finally take the positions of the paisas. They're not going to like the way it makes them feel, and they're going to attack. How? By law, and that's how they're going to depend on making their money. Yeah. Does that make sense? Some people, not all of them, but watch a big majority of the people do that. I have some white boys that are my partners, like, and they're monsters, work ethic, incredible. But it's like, the culture, we're known for being paisas and being workers. And the Indians are known for working together. Jews are known for, so every culture has their thing. Of course. Right? So the white people's culture for me, they're smart with numbers, investments. That's why the financial industry is their world, bro. We just paisas, we just learned it. But now, the farm workers, that's where we come from originally. So I just see a whole catastrophic of bad situations taking place in Florida.
Yeah.
By the way, we won the lawsuit because the judge was like, he's like, this is stupid. I'm like, I know. So I lost 12 G's over idiots that literally had no reason to even sue me. Yeah. Right, bro? Like there was no reason, bro, for us to even.
Kudos to those lawyers, though, huh?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd be surprised, bro, how similar we have experiences, bro.
Right.
I just went through that, bro.
There's a lot of similarities.
I just went through a lawsuit, bro, and I just got done, 2 weeks ago?
It was in April when he had that lawsuit, right? Late April, May, early May?
I just got done last month.
Yep.
So, over some bullshit, and to be honest with you, it has a lot to do with...
It just takes effort, bro, for nothing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So
that's what I see happening to Florida, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, man, that's crazy. I know we talked a little bit about, you know, that obviously whatever's going on in Florida, right? And I know we had a little bit of a conversation as to the Republican versus Democrat Party. As what do you guys have in mind when it comes to? And I'm just curious, right?
You want to say, bro, there's no filter, man. We're oil field workers, bro. We're blue collar, bro.
I'm just trying to say it as respectable as possible, right?
Look, bro, you can't say a thing to hurt our feelings, bro.
Let me ask you guys this then. I'll say it in a better way. Okay. What do you guys think is going to happen to the rest of the country if it continues to be that way in Florida?
No, the rest of the country's not going to pick up on that.
You don't think so? So it's just going to stay in Florida, and it's just going to be something that's just going to happen
in Georgia? They did that a few years. Everything collapsed. Yeah. It didn't work out for them.
No, it's not going to. A lot of people are not going to.
Follow.
They're not going to follow that. No, look, whoever was in the look, a lot of people don't realize that when people are running for man, there's so much that goes on because I'm involved in it now heavily. Yeah. I've been to the Mar-a-Lago when Trump was president. I got invited directly by the president. Yeah. I've been on calls with the White House. You know, all these people are getting their opinions from their stupid ass tia at a barbecue. Nah, bro, I'm involved. I'm directly involved with it. Yeah. I know what happens behind the scenes. Yeah. Okay. DeSantis has they're called camps, right? He has a camp with advisors on telling him what to do. His camp is a fucking idiot, right? Because this was a bad move, not for racist reasons. It's because economically it didn't make sense.
Economically, it was a bad move. It
was not a good. It was not a good bit. No, but a lot of people they're not going to follow suit with it. They're not going to follow suit with it because it's not going to. It's not financially. It doesn't financially make sense. I think that DeSantis did this to try to prove a point to the Republican Party. But what he doesn't realize is that trying to prove that point, whoever convinced him in his camp to do that, his advisors to do that, he's going to regret it.
Absolutely.
He's going to regret it, not because of racism. No. It's economically, he's going to regret it. Yeah, he's going to regret it. He's going to regret it big time. So, you know, but I like him. I think he's a good governor, obviously. People are moving over there. Even the people that hate him moved to his state, ironically. Yeah. But yeah, it was a bad move, man. But, you know, we'll see what happens. So we talked about it a little bit earlier about, you know, how all that shit goes down, but it's not. But no, the rest of the states are not going to follow suit with it. No. Yeah, he'll be the only one to do that because everybody knows you. The rest of the states, I would hope that would understand. But here's another thing you got to think about. He's going to run for president. Yeah. So if he did some shit like that, he really thinks he's going to win. Yeah. And so if it affects Florida, is he going to care? He's not going to be there. He's not going to be there.
So would you vote for somebody like that as a president?
No, because not because of racism. It's because economically it didn't make sense.
Economically, it doesn't make sense.
He made a bad move.
He made a bad move. That was a stupid move.
You can't make bad financial moves for countries.
It's financial,
states, bro. That's why Trump won.
Yeah, you're getting rid of the labor.
Right. Trump was a businessman, though.
Yes. Brother, and by the way, just so you know, during the Trump being president, regardless of what your stupid ass tea at the barbecue told you, Lowest unemployment in 50 years for America. Lowest unemployment for Hispanics in our history. Lowest unemployment for blacks. Highest stock market in history. I'm not talking about, because you took over after Obama. No. History. So what 44 of the presidents couldn't do, he did it, okay? On top of that, we won the trade war with China. China was paying us for us importing shit into them. Told Russia to calm the fuck down, and they did. Right. Only president to ever step foot into North Korean territory. You can hate Trump all you want and say, he's a racist. Then motherfucker, we were and by the way, if you can't see it right now, you're a fucking idiot. That we were way better under Trump. But everybody, why? He wasn't part of the group. What happened?
Wasn't nice about it, Ricky.
He was
not nice.
By the way, you couldn't buy him. You can buy all these politicians.
Yeah.
So that's why, by the way, just so you know, the Lincoln Party within the Republican Party formed to go against Trump. Even traditional Republicans didn't want him because they knew that chair is for sale.
Right.
That chair's for sale. Understand that. That chair is a business move. All the lobbying, people want that chair, or they want their party. Because even if I'm not president, if you're my homeboy, I'm going to make laws to help you. But if you can't buy me, who benefits?
Right.
Nobody, both sides.
Ain't nobody buy that.
You can't buy a billionaire. Well, you can. But what are you going to offer him?
He didn't need it.
What do you offer him? 10 million? The guy's worth $4 billion, bro.
Yeah, of course.
You're not going to bribe him with 10 million.
You can't. Yeah.
So when both sides could for 4 years, nobody was making money. Because you can't. Because if I'm president and you live in Delaware, right? I'm president. You live in Delaware, right? And I have a contract. I'm gonna build a stadium. If you're my homeboy and you own the company, who am I gonna hire? You. Even if you charge me more than him, because you're my homeboy. Yeah. That's the way this works. People don't understand that. Yeah. It's a fucking mafia up there. Yeah. People don't get it.
That's a legitimate mafia.
But that's why when you can't buy the president, nobody else wins. Because now you're going to give contracts to whoever gives you the cheapest bid, not to your homeboy because you're your homeboy. Yeah. That's the way it works. But people go, televisión, they went Telemundo like little pendejos and think they know it all. They don't know shit.
So, guys, I'm sorry. If you guys see my brother being real intense and me laughing, I'm not laughing at my brother. I'm laughing because I get a kick. He gets to say some things that I don't feel like I can ever say publicly. You know what I mean? This is the realest shit. Oh, bro, I'm on stage sometimes, and because we compete with other brokers in other countries, and we go to conventions, and my brother's up there going in on them, and everybody's like frightened in their chair, and I'm dying of laughter because like, damn, bro, I can't believe Ricky said that on stage. So I laugh because he like call your dad an idiot on a barbecue.
I don't give a damn,
I'm sorry,
bro.
For me, this is hilarious, bro. I'm sorry. I'm like Tristan, bro. You know, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. I'm like, bro, let loose, bro. Do your thing.
So you would compare yourself a little bit to Andrew and Tristan Tate in the sense where
what's your guys' take on their whole fucking
situation
right now? They're getting they just got fucking accounted for on being a human trafficking.
They got charged. They got charged for fucking.
Bro. Yeah. Look, man. Let me tell you something. Anybody, if you can let like Lil Nas dance on the devil and let that be an idol, or that song WAP be an influence, you get me? Look, man. Let me tell you something. I don't agree. Like I said, and I'm saying this in public and for everything. I don't agree with. I agree with 80% to 85% what my brother says. There's 15% of the things I'm like, oh, that's not me, right? That's not something that's correlating with who I am. But for the most part, I agree with the things with my brother. However, when I watch the Andrew Tate brothers and I see what they're trying to do, I respect it. I love it, and I respect what they're doing. The only thing I'm not for is threesomes that he talks about. You know what I mean? Having multiple women. Yeah, you know that because I went through that. I had multiple women at a point, like when I was being sexual with a lot of different women, and I know that in marriage it makes it more challenging when you've tasted too much. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
What do you mean? Explain.
Yeah.
I actually want to hear that.
You're corrupted, bro. You're corrupted.
You've had too many bodies.
Prior to your marriage.
Prior to my marriage.
Okay, so if you've experienced too many women prior to your marriage,
it's not good for you. It's not good for you. Yes.
You're corrupted.
Yeah, look, you see where both
what sense though? In what sense?
Like
explain.
Man, it's so I don't want to disrespect my wife
devil,
anyway.
No.
Right? But like devil-wise. Like devil-wise. Like, let me give you an example. When you have too many bodies, and you know that you can get these women, now being married, marriage is the hardest thing in the world, bro.
Of course.
So when the marriage is weak at times, because marriages get weak at times, and then they get strong. There's phases in marriage.
Right.
So when, like for example, when you're having sex with a woman and you've had multiple women, multiple bodies, multiple legs, multiple feet, multiple everything, multiple breasts, multiple everything.
It becomes dispensable.
It becomes like, well, now when you have your woman, if you don't appreciate who she is
As a person, right?
And love her with all your heart, your desire of having other women while being with her and having sex with them, it's a drug, it's a need, it's something that it's like somebody who's addicted to crack. You know, like me, I was a big pothead. I smoked weed a lot, 24/7. I was the biggest pothead. You guys wouldn't believe me. My brother didn't. I don't know if he even knew, but I was a train smoker. I would go through a blunt a day, plus a pen, and plus a gummy, bro, throughout the day. And like, I was crazy. So now that I'm not smoking weed anymore, it's always in the back of my head, the desire of wanting to go back to that. But I know it's not good for me or my kids. So when you've had so many women, and now you have your wife, it's always in the back saying, man, the desire of having
This is here.
And so it's like knowing that you can have it, knowing what it felt like, knowing that the sensation of it, it's like a drug. So I'm like, so it's an addiction that I'm like, okay, I can't. So I've struggled with that because I had too many bodies. Does that make sense? And what happens now being married is that I have to honor and respect my wife. And even having the desire of wanting to be another woman it's already not good for the soul and for the health. So having that challenge that you don't need to have, but the only way you don't actually start feeling those craziness if you don't have sex with so many women, because you don't really, like when
you don't have the desire to go out.
There's no desire of having so much of it.
Well, because
what's your translation?
No, everything you said is 100% correct. But because what happens is that now you treat sex as a transaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you no longer see it for the unifying, holy
God created to be
thing that it is. So when sex becomes transactional, it loses its value.
So what do you mean by transaction?
It's currency.
There's a difference, and that's what a lot of people talk about. There's a difference between having sex and making love.
No. No, but hold on. No. I understand what you're saying, but no. There's no in the sense, yes, but
yes
no. Yes and no. Let me explain.
I'm curious.
Because the act is the same. Okay? So it's the act of. I'll give you an example. You have a Urus, I have a Urus, right? This is my second Lamborghini. I've already owned the Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Bentley, 2 Bentleys, okay? My G-Wagon, every fucking car I've wanted, okay? Okay. When I trade in my car to the dealership, do they give a shit if I drove 26, 27, 28, 30,000 miles on the freeway, on the road, on the dirt, in the street?
They don't care.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're still ran through, okay? So it doesn't matter how the miles come.
Right.
They're still miles.
Yeah.
When the act of sex, just like the act of driving a car, it's still the same act. So it loses its meaning.
Yeah.
So
can see that.
It starts to when you have a lot of it with different people, the meaning of it starts to dissolve.
Okay.
You don't connect as much.
Because you're no longer having sex for connection. You're having sex for pleasure only.
Right.
And to tell yourself, oh yeah, but it's different when I just with this girl, but when my wife, no. Maybe in your mind it might be like that, and maybe eventually you can get back to that sanctity, but it takes a lot to go back to this is something that God created only for me and one other person.
Yeah.
And so when you go through a lot of bodies, then it starts to lose the value. It's just like a car.
Of your woman, though, right?
Of the way you view it.
Okay.
I'm a manager of a car. You bring in your Lamborghini. And you already know you can't put a lot of miles on a Lamborghini. You can't do that. You bring it to me with 50,000 miles, but it's a Lamborghini. Yeah, bro, but it's ran through. It loses the value.
Right.
The action itself loses the value.
It's not even the car.
It's not the car, it's the value. So now whenever the next person that buys that car, which in this case is going to be your wife, she's buying a ran-through Lamborghini. You might be successful, you might be good-looking, you may take care of yourself.
It's a Lamborghini.
It's a Lamborghini, but it's ran through.
Right.
So it has miles on it.
There's damages that come with miles.
So now its ability to break down just goes through the roof.
So would you say that's the same perspective for a man and a woman?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So
women is even worse though. Because
yes, it's emotional. Sex is
women's
emotional for them.
Let me tell you why women.
For women, And I'm gonna
this is the
agree. I'm gonna
crazy-
agree. Hold on, I'm gonna agree to
This is
disagree.
crazy. Me and him actually talked about.
We
some
just talked
shit like
about
this.
this shit.
And,
Okay,
it's
so-
not kind
so-
of personal, right? But
Obviously, yeah, it is a little bit more personal, but I agree and disagree at the same time because I feel like for a man, it's a little bit different for a woman because when a woman obviously does something like that, you know, they have sex, it's a little bit more emotional.
100%.
A man can just, and respectfully to the audience, a man can just fuck just to fuck, bro. They can.
Have you hooked up with women you didn't like? I have.
Of course.
I've hooked up with a girl I couldn't stand. I'm like, this is so annoying because it's for us. It's just a transaction.
I want to hear.
No, but like, look, right? I have a, you know, $20,000 Rolex, right? I don't give
for
a.
you, Junior.
But let me tell you why. Because I could buy another one.
Yeah.
It's no longer the value. I could buy another one.
Yeah.
So when you can have more and more and more and more, you buy your first Rolex, you're like, oh, you don't
Yeah,
want nobody to
hell yeah.
scratch it. When I'm like, bro, I could buy 50 of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same value anymore. It doesn't matter how badass and this is my second Lamborghini. I don't treat it like I treated my first one.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like I don't get me wrong, I do, but I'm like, I see a little scratch and I fucking me. Before I would die, if I saw my Huracan, I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Buff it out.
Yeah.
Because I can afford another one.
Of course.
That's the same thing with sex. When you've had it too many times, it loses its value. Anything that's ran through loses its value. Or if you have a lot of it, it loses its value.
So-
It's
so-
no longer the same,
But-
the same, like, that same excitement, excitement.
like a purpose.
Purpose, love, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's not there. You can get it back.
You can.
But it takes
It took me
time.
years, bro, to get it back with my wife, where it wasn't just like, where now it's like, my wife told me one thing one day. She's like, babe, I would tell my wife, babe, I want to have sex. She's like, why can't you just tell me I want to make love? I'm like, right? I didn't know because for me it was just
Transactional.
right? And so for example, for women though, the reason why, like for example, let me tell you for the women that are I was told this to I have a little cuñadita and I love her to death. She's my little cuñada and I tell this to other women. I said, keep your body count as a woman low because that way your stock can be high. Absolutely. See, from women, so for us men, see King Solomon, they had multiple wives.
Of course.
Right? Like kings.
And that's what I was getting to now. Yeah.
Because a man can love a woman. Like for example, I can be in love with my wife and have sex with a girl who has a nice body and feel absolutely nothing for her. And I don't even have to make out with her to have sex with her, just, you know. So I literally just do a transaction and then go back to my wife. But see, principle and morals wise and biblically, that's not correct. God even says, that's like what Rick is saying, there's a reason for why God says it. However, women though, when they have sex, they're allowing themselves to be dominated by that man.
It's different. It is different.
Which
It is
is
different.
100% different.
Yes,
They don't
100%.
recover as easily. Like for
Absolutely.
example, when you break up with the girl that you've been with for 4 years, Ricky knows. I saw the women that were in love with Ricky for 4 or 5 years. That Ricky was like, they knew Ricky was gone already. They knew he was with other women already. Like Ricky would break, and they were sprung. Same thing with me. Mine would come, like they were sprung because they bonded different through sex. But once they have that too many times with guys, they can't bond with the same man because they've already been hurt so much time that they can't. Plus two.
To them, it ain't shit.
It's nothing no more. Now it's like, doesn't
It's
matter.
transactional.
It's
Yeah.
transactional. Now they're acting like men, and that's not healthy for them. Now, two, does that make sense? Two, you have to remember two. Let's just say we're all together, right? We're all together. And let's just say let's say homeboy, I've never met none of his girlfriends, right? Let's say he brings a beautiful girl. And he doesn't know that I've hooked up with her, okay? And my homeboy hooked up with her. But now she's changed her way because she's pure now and she's going to church and she's this and she's that and she's pure.
We've met a couple of those.
Right? We've made a couple of those too as brothers, right? So it's like, so we look at them and then we're like, I'll look at you and you're like catering to her and being this. For me, automatically, bro, the level of respect to you just went down to like
Oh
here.
yeah, no doubt.
Like I'll respect you, but I'm like, I had your woman. If I can have her, anybody can have her. Yeah.
And that's real shit.
So the thing
because
is
the woman is a reflection of the man,
of
bro.
course. Yeah. So if
Every
we go to
way.
a place and that woman's been ran through, I'm like, why are you spending money on her? Does that make sense? Like, why? Why would you invest in something? Because one, she's not gonna bond with you. It was lame. Two, who wants to be married to a woman that says, "Damn, that everybody had her"?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
So you're 25 right now, huh?
25.
My best advice to you, bro, is chill the fuck out. That's the best advice. I'm telling you because you will be affected by it later on.
In which way though? In which way?
And the fact that if you're gonna, one thing is having a girlfriend and having her and being with her for a while, and that's who you're gonna be with.
Right.
right? And that's who you're gonna sleep with and give. Because my goal for you at 25 years old is for every time that you're in the action of having sex, for it to be with the person that you love, not just that they're attracted to her.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck what anybody tells you, man. The way I look right now, I've been looking like this since I was a teenager, bro. And I don't say this with pride, man, but even before I got married, if you saw some of the women, you'd be like, God damn, right. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling you, and I don't say that with pride whatsoever.
Like the Instagram models and all these
bro. I don't say that. I don't say that with pride, bro. But neck breakers, and so I tell you that because that will cause damage going into your marriage, because you will see it as transactional, and then you have a hard time bonding, and then that act will no longer be an act of love. It'll be an act of transaction, and you'll have to work your way out of it, and you're just hoping that your girl will stick around long enough for that to happen, because maybe they can feel it from you, and then they can leave your ass, and then the woman of your dreams walks out of your life. And when I say the woman of your dreams, I don't mean the woman of your dreams because she's look good, she's beautiful, and she's nice, and no, it's because she's only for you. She's not ran through. She supports you. She has your back. She's there for your good times and your bad times. That's the woman of a dream, right? So I would hate for you to walk into your marriage having to learn to bond with your wife while you're being with her sexually, because it's very tough.
Wow, bro. I didn't know you had the same struggle.
It's different, bro.
I didn't know he was the same struggle.
So if I could go back to, by the way, when I was 25 years old, bro, how did I look when I was 26? Bro, stupid.
Bro, I gotta see some pictures now.
No, bro. I had a 50-inch back, 32-inch waist, driving a Hummer, Beamer. I had my own pad. Bro, I was this close to start competing with. But I'm telling you, man.
You had it.
I had it going, and it's like, wherever I pointed the finger, it's coming. And that's the way I lived my life during that time.
Right.
And it's very, now that I'm
25.
35, I'm 10 years older than you.
Okay.
And now at 25 years old, at 35 years old, I just turned 35 in April, I could tell you how damaging that is. It's taken me years.
When's your birthday? Hold on. When's your birthday? April what?
April
7th.
He's April 27th.
I'm an April baby.
What are you?
Aries.
Aries, okay.
So it took years to revert, and I was just very blessed that my wife's been patient with me.
Same, bro.
Because if not, I couldn't imagine myself being with anybody outside of my wife. The woman that God designed for me could have walked out of my life.
Absolutely.
And then what do you do then? So if there's an advice that I would give, to young men that are, even as a man, like, not because it'll decrease your value, because in the market our body count doesn't matter. That's just a fact.
Yeah, right.
It'll decrease the way you look at it. Okay. And you won't understand the effects of it until you get older. And then you're trying to connect, because sex is a bonding act in a marriage. It is bonding.
That's how we bond with our women.
Spiritually bonding. And when you cannot, it's almost like you're trying to turn on a car that won't start.
Right.
It's the same. You can't bond, and eventually your wife feels it, and they bounce. Yeah. By the way, Erica's my second marriage. Erica's my second wife. I've been married. I've already done this shit twice. I was divorced by the time I was your age on my first marriage. Yeah. So I've already been through this journey of understanding that when you're trying to crank that engine and you can't get it to crank because it's misfiring. It's because you've already fucking ran through this fucking car so much, which is your car, that it won't latch. It won't latch, and it takes time for you to press the gas, and you're doing this,
bro,
and you're just hoping that your soulmate sticks around long enough to deal with it.
Yeah, bro. And respectfully to my brother and to us, we're married, and we know our wife's gonna be watching this, so we're also being very careful on saying publicly the damages is done to us. Like, I can't say,
bro, it's the mental health that people don't fucking understand. Bro, people nowadays, now is just coming up. But what about the last couple years that mental health has been a thing? It's always been a thing, but nobody gives a fuck about a man's mental health.
Well, not only that, I don't think there's been men to sit down and actually have conversations like this that are very real. Yeah. Because everybody has to be strong and macho and badass.
Yeah,
and,
you know what?
It's the perspective of a fucking man in today's
it's funny
world.
because a lot of people make jokes like, hey, instead of men like fucking going to therapy, they start a podcast,
But you know what though?
That's a good one.
But it's true. But you know what though? I think that's a good thing.
I think so too.
Because then other men that are sitting behind this
Behind the screen.
behind the screen are sitting there like, dude, if they're going through that and they're successful, I'm going through that shit. I'm like, man, if they're going, okay, that's their battle. That's more therapeutic than going and talking to a fucking counselor that you don't
absolutely,
know.
bro. And it's free, by the way.
Yeah, we're not, yeah. We should put our
We
cash up
appreciate
at the
you
end.
guys, yeah. Please,
Cash out
donations if you
those
choose to, right? If you find it fit.
My
Yeah.
Venmo, by the way.
For $5 an hour.
No, but that's cool, man. And I'm glad we talked about some views. And by the way, wife, if you're watching this, Janelle, I love you, mama. Right?
Marisol, I love you.
I
gotta go.
Baby princess, right?
No, but you know what? Another thing, like I have these conversations in front of my wife because we're trying to change the world in a positive way, and you can't change the world if you're not ready to talk about real things.
No, for sure.
And my
bro.
wife never has an issue with me talking about it because she knows that I'm coming from a place of trying to educate, you know. Because I have a lot of guys, bro, that are younger and older than me that I have to have real conversations with.
40, 50-year-olds have conversations.
Yeah,
we have to mentor people that are in the 40s, bro.
Bro, absolutely.
50s.
Same with us.
Yeah.
We have people here that are 18 all the way up to fucking 50 plus
Yeah,
years
bro.
old.
Same.
Age just doesn't matter, bro. It's your mentality. Absolutely, 100%, bro.
So
Experience, life.
These conversations are needed every so often, so that everybody knows that you're not the only one dealing with whatever you're dealing with. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, guys, look, I can keep this going. Honestly, we've already been probably about almost 4 hours in. It's been a great podcast. I think I can keep going with these guys forever.
We're going to do a part 2, man.
We're going to do a part 2 one of these days. But for right now, guys, all I'm going to say is I really appreciate these guys for being on our podcast today. It took me a little while, but
Hopefully you guys learned some shit today.
Yeah.
Right?
hopefully you guys learned some shit today. The real estate versus insurance industry. I think the overall perspective on everything is work ethic, regardless of the industry that you're in. We talked a little about Florida, the immigration, the politics. We talked a little bit about everything. At the end of the day, guys, all I can tell you guys is, we come from very similar backgrounds, regardless of the industry that we decided to choose. And I can tell you guys this. I appreciate you guys for being on here today, by the way. I really do. No, like real shit.
It gives everybody, including ourselves, a different perspective to life. Although you guys live very similar lifestyles in terms of where you guys come from, but it's just gives everybody else, the viewers and ourselves, an opportunity to see what else is out there.
Yeah, of course. For
You know, because you guys are definitely at different levels in life, and we're not afraid to go and realize, okay, these guys are where they need to be.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Obviously, you guys, if you guys like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, make any suggestions you guys want. Again, we're going to put their Instagrams right here, hopefully in the video somewhere in the link below. But yeah, guys, I mean, before we end this podcast, is there anything you guys want to say to the audience?
No, man, just like, I do want to say one last thing. Look, guys, meeting with a group of people who are like-minded, like I go to the Jehovah's Witness congregation, right? And even though I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, I go to the meetings. Why? Why do I go to the meetings? Because the mindset needs to be helped. Yeah. So I go to Bible study on Wednesdays and Sundays, and that brotherhood right there is a protection. It protects your mind, it protects your spirit, your soul, and your actions.
But physically, Ricky's here.
Physically, so that brotherhood is good, right? And then, and if you think about this though, like me and Ricky, we meet with our agents on Tuesdays and Saturdays, right? And we have meetings with them. We have constant meetings with our people because people need like-minded. I don't care if you're in car sales, if you're a taquero, if you just work at the factory, you work on a forklift. I don't care if you have a normal job. It doesn't matter if you're getting paid $10 an hour right now. It does not matter, guys. What you need to do is just find a group of people that are going places. Like, you have to remember, guys, when I was your age, bro, I was broke. Yeah. When I was your age, I was broke. I was literally broke. Me and Yanali had nothing at 25 years old. We were renting a little room off for Ricky. And just so you know, just because he's my older brother, I still respected my brother and I paid my rent. Mm-hmm. Right, bro? I don't think, nunca te quedé mal. And what I'm getting at is because even though I had a brother who I can, like me hubiera pasado un mes, I was with like-minded people who, even though of us were broke, some of our friends were actually more successful in PHP. And that brotherhood, that mindset shifted. Like, his wife doesn't have an ego as well, not just because, like, at home, because it's Erica. No, you have to understand, she's also with another like-minded group of women. Mm-hmm. like Shina
course.
Sapala, Marlene
Of
Gaetan,
course,
like
of course.
all these other women, right? Ceci Vargas, and then me as well. Like all these different people were mentors in my life that allowed me to elevate my way of thinking. So if you're driving a forklift right now, you're working at Dryer's Ice Cream, you're working here, bro, you can get out. You're not stuck. You just have to hang out with people who are think bigger and get connected to a community. Like, for example, if I'm in real estate, if I really want to dive into real estate, I would love to learn from you guys. Because I know that mindset's gonna help me. If I'm looking about getting into the financial industry and learning about money and really be educated, I would love for you guys to be part of our brotherhood, right? And what happens now is that this right here is now there's like a brotherhood here now, where I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing. When I'm gonna want to go buy a house, because we buy residential, we buy investment properties, but not like, hey, we wanna, So I know if I want advice on what's my next moves on real estate, I know who to go to now. Does that make sense? So there's so much advantages of,
And vice versa, bro.
Yeah.
We know who to go to right now.
yeah,
for
bro.
insurance
It's just
and-
that we need each other more, guys. We need each other more than one. Like, we're not meant to be alone.
Yeah.
When
People need people.
Hunters, they go what together,
Yep.
right? So
Well, what does PHP stand for? First
People
of all,
helping people, man.
helping fucking people, bro.
Yeah,
There's
bro.
a reason why the CEO came up with that name, and I think that applies to everybody, bro, regardless of the industry that you're in. I think people need people, and I think that's something that the audience needs to really understand is that you can never be. I mean, you'll get to a certain level in life, but you'll stop.
Yeah.
Right? Because you need people.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate Ricky, before we end off, do you have anything else to say, bro?
No, just like what Alejandro said, just find the group of people that are like-minded, that want to grow, that don't have their egos get in the way, they're not arrogant, and collaborate with them. Just like what we're doing right now, we're just collaborating and get to know other people, learn other perspectives that'll help you grow as a person. Stop looking at other people that are not in your industry as your competition, they are not your competition, and start looking at them as people that you could associate with and grow.
Absolutely. There you go, guys. So 100%, I agree, and I like that. I love that, to be honest with you guys. I know a lot of you guys were expecting like some kind of debate, which, I mean, we threw some stats out there to begin with, but the reality is, in the insurance industry, the real estate industry is directly correlated in some aspect, and I feel like one needs the other.
100%.
100%. And, I'm really grateful to have you guys on the podcast today. So hopefully one of these days we'll have a part 2. But for right now, guys, this is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, again, subscribe, comment. If you guys have any suggestions or any questions for these guys, we're going to put their Instagram links on the bio. But for right now, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. So
My pleasure.
let's do it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.